What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, warriors of all ages? We are back, the most electrifying duo in the FGC. You already know, No Frillz Podcast, episode 43. We in the building. I am the people's commentator, one of the hosts, Chris Matrix, and to the far, far left of me, you know him well.
You already know, man. One half of the Road Dogs, IFCYipeS, a.k.a. Yipes, a.k.a. Michael Mendoza, a.k.a. Man Bun Mendoza, a.k.a. whatever you like. We here, another episode, No Frillz Podcast, number 43. And right here in the middle, in the Road Dog sandwich, pause, for those out there,
The cream and the Oreo, the cheese and the sandwich.
Ultimizer. The Ultimizer. Now, you're wondering why a guy like Ultimizers here.
That sounds like a porn name, right?
No. This is the joke. I call Ultimizer a battery. Like, yo, he's like, hey, your Walkman's low. Get yourself a pair of Ultimizers. Oh no, what I say? Get yourself a set of Ultimizers. Whatever the case is, it's probably gonna be jokes all around the world with this one. But you guys are wondering why this man is here. In the No Frillz Podcast, we don't believe in no Hollywood shit, none of that shit, because I'm pretty sure you guys see a lot of the same guys, and y'all expecting, high names, or whatever the case is. That's not what it is about the No Frillz Podcast. This ain't taking nothing away from him. We like to have everybody here that is our homie. That's just bottom line, okay?
Yes.
That's it. So that's why Ultimizers is here. Yes. I literally hit him with a call. I said, yo, man, can you pull up for one of these episodes? And he said he would love to. So here we are, man. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing fucking fantastic.
That's what I like. Yeah, he's fantastic.
Fantastic.
So check this out, right? I haven't seen Ultimizers since 2020, literally in person. We've been playing, we meet up on a Discord. We'll play freaking shit like Monopoly. We'll go to Verdansk for the Call of Duty Warzone heads out there that know what I'm talking about. And that's pretty much how me and him kept in touch. So literally since 2020, I haven't seen
It's been 2020. The last time I seen you was
D-Cave.
Yeah. That was the last time I seen you, actually. Yeah, it was D-Cave.
That was in February.
Full circle. I literally opened the door for him downstairs. We gave a big ass hug and shit. Shit was fucking love, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's just good to see familiar faces now that everything is calming down with COVID and all that. It's just beautiful, man. Ultimate, what you been up to, man?
Man, a whole bunch of shit, but it's yes.
Cheers.
Salute. Salute to you, brothers.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure.
You already.
It's always a pleasure to rock it out with you guys. But as far as me goes, I've been working, back to work. Finally, it opened up back up a second time. My job closed temporarily like twice during the whole COVID thing, and then during the time off, I've been playing Warzone with you, been playing as many video games as possible, and that has like relit my like fire for video games again, because it's like before COVID, I was just so caught up at work. I was working 2 jobs and just trying to support people on the side. And
that's a fact, because I'm gonna keep it a stack, because this is No Frillz. This man is harder to reach than the president. And it's crazy because other people told me, he was like, oh yeah, he's tough to reach. I'm like, bro.
I'm like that.
I felt like a stalker. I got him. You know what I mean? Eventually I got him. And it was popping. So, yeah, you're a hard man to reach.
Yeah, I'm very incognito when it comes to like people trying to find me and people trying to message me, because I'm very to myself. I'm just like, I've learned to protect my energy.
That's
very
important.
Early
That's
on.
important.
You can touch that up. Please speak your mind.
Yes.
And I know Chris is getting out with this, because
right. Very early on, I've been learning to like protect myself from a lot of people, even if it comes to like family and friends, that the ones I care for. I'm very hard to reach, and I'm just like, I'm always doing something. When it comes to work, when it comes to dancing, when it comes to DJing, when it comes to video games, when it comes to anything, I'm always doing something. And it's just like, if I get back to you, I get back to you. But I've been working on it a lot. And so a lot of times recently, a lot of people would hit me up and I answer right back, because it is important to be available and to communicate with those that that want to hear from you. Right. So I definitely took a lot of time back trying to find myself, trying to work on that. And then just like, man, I'm bad with communication. I'm just bad with it, because that was just my nature from back in the day.
Introvert?
To now. Yeah. In a way, I'm an introvert, and then in a way, I'm an extrovert.
But when you're dancing, you're an extrovert and all that shit.
When I'm with people, I'm just extra, right?
You know what I'm saying?
But when I'm by myself, I'm literally by myself. Like, it's just the way I am. So I am working on that, and I'm just glad to have this opportunity to like chop it up with you guys. for sure, because this is something that the FGC needs. This is something that the world needs. Just forget about the FGC part. This is what the world needs. The world needs to hear about these stories from the FGC side that are just fascinating to me. Like, I always tune in. I've listened to every episode, and I follow you guys on Spotify, and I follow you guys on YouTube. Like, no matter what, like, I'm always keeping up with this because the world needs more of this, for sure. And they need to hear our stories, and they need to hear what we have to offer the world.
Man, look, damn, shit. You a host of the show? The fuck? Damn.
You know,
okay,
I've always wanted to do something like this.
Well,
you know that.
Well, you know what, man? Look, well, first and foremost, I appreciate that, my brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This guy's a bit of an unsung hero, and I say it in this case because a lot of the East Coast events, especially Big E's events, you know, DTN and stuff like that. One of the guys that actually keep this shit smooth and running when it comes to the bracket side of things or just keeping things in order is my man David, aka the Ultimizer. You know what I'm saying? There's been plenty of times where I be fucking knocked the fuck out from the day before drinking. This man hit my phone. Yo, you ready for your pools? I'm like, shit. But you know what I'm saying? He holds it down, and I bring my ass. I don't wash my ass. Yeah. But I go there, play my matches, get out the pool, go back, and then I wash my ass. But just long story short, he keeps everything tidy in FGC, and he does a bit of a house emceeing for Big E events as well, just for a couple events, just to keep the hype crowd and shit like the crowd hype and shit like that. If you've been to events before and you heard a guy go yeah on the microphone, that's this guy right here. Okay, so you know what I mean. We appreciate your hard work, my brother. Obviously, me and Chris, we scheming to do events down the line, so we definitely gonna need your help for that. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So to piggyback on that, when I did D-Cave, right, the first person I had in mind was I was like, okay, you know, let me get Ultimizers. That's why I was stalking this man. You know what I mean? I was like, let me have him pull up. You know what I mean? And like Yipes said, like he makes sure things are running smoothly and on time. I was coming to this man. I was like, yo, listen, I need this done by this time. You know what I mean? Can you make it happen? My man David hit me. He said, yo, we good. We good. I was scrambling. I'm like, yo. I'm like, yo. It's 4 o'clock. We good? We good? You know what I mean? Because I want everything to go smooth. He was like, yo. I got it. We all right.
You drinking on the job?
He put me at ease.
What's up?
You drinking on the job?
No, not at all.
Nah, he was shut up. He had everything under control, and then like, listen, he didn't got me more time, so he got me more stream matches, and we had time to spare. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
You know what I mean? He put me at ease because from the TO side of things, you know, all you're thinking about is just things going smoothly. You want things to run on time, and you want to be within the time parameters that you're allocated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, like, he did a great job of making sure that happened. There's a lot of intangibles and things that go on at tournaments that seem like, oh, okay, automatic, you know what I mean? But there's people that are on it, you know what I mean, that you need to pay homage to. And this man is wonderful. So, on that, I give you 2 of these. I give that Bill Cosby.
Yo, that's pretty much been the trend.
Yo, that's crazy.
I actually had to play that shit for the stream 2 days ago.
Yo, that shit was crazy. Yo.
So what I want to know is, I'm assuming he did it. For those that know what happened to Bill Cosby, you already know. I'm not going to get into detail. Y'all do your homework. We don't talk about that type of shit here on the stream. But it's just funny that he was on camera. I guess he was walking out with his lawyer, whatever the case is, and he literally just hit you with the stutter stuff. He did this shit. So I don't know if he was trolling. He knew media was on him. I don't know if he used that as a trending tool. You know what I'm saying? Not how the world of social media works. I mean, you do something real wild and crazy and out of the ordinary on social media, and you'll be trending for a hot minute. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if Bill's scheming to release a book or some shit, but hey, that shit was random as fuck, and I would love to know why he did it.
Yo, I think he was doing that to troll.
Yeah, hey, man,
I really
fuck it.
Hit him with the,
Listen, if you get out on those charges that he was being accused of, I just might do that shit too, bro.
Oh, he was expected to die in jail.
I thought he had COVID and it was over for him. It was type shit. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Like, they were expecting him to live the rest of his life in jail. And I was like, yo, I didn't even think that they were going to reopen the case or like anything like that. But I'm like, yo, Bill Cosby's going to die in jail.
Pudding.
He's going to spend his...
the pudding. The jello pudding pop.
Enough of that shit, man. You know what I'm saying?
But no, D-Cave was such an eye-opener because, man, like, Chris... hit me up, and I was just like, oh, that's random. Oh, Chris hit me up. He found me. He hit me up, and he presented an opportunity, and I was like, oh, okay.
I pay attention to the cogs that makes the wheels turn.
Right.
You do?
And he does.
You do?
as the tactician.
Yeah, he does. Hey,
right?
There you go.
He is the tactician, so for sure. And so, I looked over the contract. They sent over the contract. I looked it over, and I was like, oh, these guys are really serious about this. And I was like, okay, I'm with it. And from, going to the day prior before, the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 event and, DBFZ, before our main events, I went there for the Fortnite event. The Fortnite and the FIFA event, and I was like, yo, these guys are serious. They had a prime time venue at Canal Street, and I was just like, yo, how much
money
bread did they have to spend? And then I talked to a couple of the owners and the guys who what would you say invested into Deep Cave, and they're incorporated with FaZe Clan, and I'm like, oh, they know FaZe Clan.
Yeah, which, by the way, not to cut you off, so DK pretty much was ran by Diesel, the company Diesel. If you know who they are, then now you know. If you don't, check it out. But those guys definitely put in some chicken just to organize a great event, and it was hosted by Chris Matrix. You know what I'm saying? So this is pretty. That was pretty dope. But go ahead.
Yeah, and so as soon as I walk in, I go to their merch section, and they have the Battle of the Strongest right there on the T-shirt, and I was just like, yo, this is dope. They are for real. And
I ain't get one, by the way, but it's all right. Let's fuck that side, Chris. I'm gonna talk to you. I didn't even get one. I get you t-shirts though.
I didn't even get one.
I did get one hat.
That's cool.
Out of that, but all in all, the experience was great. And so going into there, the FIFA event, got to see some prominent FIFA players do the thing. And then just looking at the atmosphere of the event, I was like, yo, this is going to be so dope for us. And this is such a good look for the FGC in New York. Yeah. And so next day comes, and, business as usual. You know what I'm saying? We got to do signups. We got to do last minute signups. We got to make the bracket, and we got to get the bracket going. Some people were late, some people were not, but all in all, I did my best to try to keep it on time.
And you do.
Yeah, you did.
That's my job.
Yes.
To keep everything on time, make sure the integrity of the tournament is 100% grade A. And I think we did that. And I enjoyed myself not only as a TO, but as a spectator, because, me getting into the fighting games, I was a spectator first. And one of the games that I really got into and spectated a lot was Marvel vs. Capcom 2. So seeing all these old school players come back, seeing my dude VDO, shout out to VDO, that is my dude right there.
Man,
shout out to my man Juan. Seeing him doing so well that day, seeing my man Tone, Roundhouse, all these other guys, and then on top of you guys getting to play casuals, you guys getting to play. I just had a fun time.
Yeah, man.
I had a great time. I had a great time top to bottom, running to the event and just spectating the event. I loved it 100%. And I hope, DK, if you're watching this, please do it again. Do it again.
Amen.
Have these two guys as your forerunners right here, and you can go no wrong. I'm telling you right now.
But you talking about how you started as a spectator. Let's dig a little deeper, man. How exactly did you get involved in the world of the FGC, man?
A lot.
Go ahead.
Now it's funny because so many people, as many people I know in the FGC, they don't know where I started.
I know the story about how I met you. I'll put it on blast. I ain't gonna say no names though, but I'll put it on blast. I remember how I met you.
Okay.
We'll go there.
Okay.
Let me know when you want me to talk about it.
I got you. We'll get there. So, 14-year-old David Tyson. Yeah, I'll put my government out here.
It is.
14-year-old, where I lived in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, because, going back, I was born in a military household. Both my parents were born in the Navy.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, they were in the Navy, sorry. And then they had me. So I was born in California.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So me and you have kind of like...
Yo,
Chris looked at me. He said, no, hold up though. Now, was you born in California? You was raised there a little bit, or you just popped out and did?
A little bit.
Okay.
So I was born in Oakland.
I gotta hit you with the Andy. What?
Word, I know. Andy knows, so I don't know why. Like he tried to press you on
You
that.
smell
I was
like the
just
Bronx to me.
Come on, man.
Fuck that. You smell like the Bronx to me. I seen you in CF mad. I seen you in the Empire Arcadia house mad times.
Crazy,
You're
right?
alone though, Chris.
So, born around the Oakland area, East Bay, California. You already know, NorCal, all day, every day. And so, I was born there. So we moved to Hawaii
Okay.
when I was 4 years old.
Hawaii.
Yeah, man.
Oh, he was on the move.
Yeah, Pearl City, around Pearl Harbor, and was there for like 3 or 4 years. Moved back to California, this time around Fresno, so that's around the Central California.
Right.
And then I moved to Japan. Then I moved to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. Then I moved to New Orleans, and then I straight out of high school I moved here, New York City.
And been here ever since.
Yeah. Actually, June 19th, 2010 is my day of moving here. So Juneteenth is my anniversary of being in New York. So I have 2 ways of celebrating.
And how about that?
Love,
How
love,
about
love. Yeah, yeah.
So
How
I was
about
going
that?
nuts like 16 days ago.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
going
yeah,
absolutely
man.
nuts. And I was like, and I love the fact that I live here. So how I got into the FGC, you guys are going to laugh at this. I was in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, and then I moved to New Orleans at 16, and then MTV had a thing called Gamers Week 2.0, and the one thing that got me into FGC was the Empire Arcadia miniseries, and I saw Triforce, Compton, Red, all of them.
Damn, that's the one missing.
And I looked at it, and was like, yo, there's people out there like me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's people out there like me that want to compete in these games and take it to a new level. And I was just like, yo, I got to find a way to join these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And so I joined the Empire Arcadia online community on MySpace.
Oof.
You know that's a throwback when I say MySpace. And then I got in touch with Triforce, and then it's been that ever since. And
The Triforce Game Master?
the Triforce Game Master. And I had a thing to like prove the Triforce because we both play Tetris. So
He's a monster.
and what I wanted to do
was
was
got
like,
exposed though, but I ain't gonna say nothing.
the one thing I wanted to do was take his, gaming glove away from him. But, that's never happened. Obviously, I'm gloveless right now, but
I'm
So
not
if you
gonna
did
lie.
beat him, all right, did you beat him? Yes or no?
1D straight up?
nah.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Now, if you did, you ought to actually rock the glove.
If you were to give me the glove to say like I'm passing it on to new generation, I would definitely take it. But that's probably not gonna happen.
Now, real shit. Triforce used to be in the Ark, and he used to play 1v3s on in and beat us.
Yo,
Unless Nightmare was involved, because Nightmare was nice.
no,
Nightmare
so
was nice.
PK though.
Nightmare was
PK,
nice.
right? See, I'm gonna piggyback on that. Yo, we used to be in the Ark, and Triforce used to be on the stage, be like, guys, I need a challenge. Right?
Yeah.
It'll be me, Kev, Dominion. Sometimes Nightmare will jump in the fray, and we'll just jump Triforce. But we were Nightmare, we win all the time, most of the time though.
Yeah.
But fucking, I remember specifically, yo, Kramer was talking mad shit. He said,
Kramer's nice too.
He said, yeah, keep dumping on her, put all the trash on her. He was like, yeah, he can't handle all this pressure. He was talking mad shit, yo, and I'm there fucking dying. You know when I be dying, like I'm be like. And I'm just dropping all shit on him.
Let him fight the
He
Munson.
be like, hold on to the lines. Craig be like, hold on to the lines. Dump him now. He was really on the shit.
Yo.
But nah, that's ill, man. Good times. Go ahead.
Yo, that's crazy because like, I used to watch those videos all the time. When I lived in New Orleans, I used to watch all the Empire videos. You guys are just, either you guys just talking shit, whether it comes to, tournament footage and whatnot. That's how I knew about Flight.
Oh,
like-
Flight.
Oh, the bootleg
Fake
Sprite.
Sprite.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
the-
was just like,
the Tropical
Flight.
Fantasy.
yo, you guys used to diss the West Coast and call them a can of Flight. And I was just like, Flight?
Yo,
What is
Street Fighter
that?
4 day. This is Rashawn, boy.
Yeah.
Oh
Flight.
my god. The one guy that was drinking Flights a shit ton in the Ark. It was Evil Rashawn, aka Huggy Bay. You've seen him on this show before. Man, we was in poor times. If he wasn't entering those tournaments, we was in some poor times. You know what I'm saying? So like, with his money, whatever it is that he wanted. It was either sardines in the house. It was sardines, fucking ramen, and Flight.
Oh my God.
Literally Flight. They wanted some Frillz and they face Sprite. They got the Flight, guys. Look that up.
Oh Lord. And seriously, it looks like it literally looks like Sprite, but I tried it when I first moved here because that was like the first thing. I was like, oh, look, let me try Flight. Let me see what these guys are talking about. My God, that shit sucks.
Yeah, B. Hey, when you don't got it, you don't got it, B. We don't got it for the Sprite.
It's
we got
trash.
it for the Flight, man.
Tropical Fantasy, I'm glad you guys dropped Flight because that was horrible.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
hey.
But talking about Evil Rashad is funny because I didn't meet him here first. I met him in Louisiana because he has family in Louisiana.
Right?
Yeah, he's from Louisiana. Yes,
So
he is.
at 16, I started to, Street Fighter 4 came out. I started to play. I went to my very first tournament. It's called Battle for the South. All the people from Louisiana, you already know what that tournament is. So Battle for the South, I've been there. That was my very first tournament. I went 0-2, of course.
What were you playing?
I was playing Street Fighter 4 and Smash Brothers Brawl. And Brawl is trash.
What
Who's your character in Street Fighter 4?
Ken.
Yeah, that's how you know he's from the hood.
Come on.
He got.
I've been playing Ken since whenever.
Mm-hmm.
So I play Ken in every game, even Marvel 2, even though,
He's actually the best Shoto in Marvel 2.
This is pretty fun, not to cut you up, but the last guest that we had before this show, we're not gonna say no names, obviously. I mean, they're probably gonna know. Actually, yeah, that was gonna drop. Yeah, Norman. You know Norman?
Of course.
So Norman,
Harlem, yeah.
OG Harlem Hero.
OG
Harlem Hero.
This dude was literally here last week, right?
Oh,
Talking
man.
about, I hate Ken players.
Yeah. Because everybody in the hood, everybody both niggas.
He said everybody in the hood, everybody. I just hate Ken players.
It's funny.
And you heard Ruby in the background. Yeah, Ruby hates Ken players. He just got exposed to the Street Fighter 5 online,
man.
so he bumped into a lot of those.
Damn.
So I could only imagine the man's pain. Yeah, it's okay. And you play Kage, so I'm pretty sure you.
Oh,
he was bleeding.
no.
So
Ruby, Ruby, I don't play Ken like most Ken players. He can contest to that.
Like that ain't gonna change. She hate Ken anyway.
I know, but Ken is just that dude.
It could be dirty clean. He gonna hate Ken.
I can play Ken like Ryu, but it's Ken though, because Ryu is just not in the same limelight as me. And it's funny because me and Harlem Hero, and shout outs to my brother, old man Glitch. Glitch.
Glitch, I see you.
What's up, man? Shout outs to him. Yeah, we used to play Super Street Fighter 4 before I moved out here a lot.
Glitch was nice too.
Yeah,
which was nice.
And for those times, it was me, Harlem Hero, Zero Ace Customs.
Throwback.
Yeah, Zero Ace Customs and Glitch. It would be all four of us in a lobby, just training up together. And they were showing me the ropes because, of course, I'm the least experienced out of all four of them. Yeah. But they were, telling me tips and whatnot. And so, still to this day, I take those tips and I still try to incorporate it in my game. So I would never forget those days. Zero Ace and Harlem Hero, those guys was definitely looking out for a young brother like me. And it's crazy how it's just such a small circle. Because when I started out in New Orleans, I ran into Evil Rashad when he was playing Gen. His Gen was crazy.
Throwback, yeah.
Yeah, he
crazy.
was a Gen monster.
But then
that's when Gen had a short jump.
Right. And then there was Vegeta X. Then there was Ramasama. And then there was Happy Medicine.
Throwbacks.
I met all those dudes. And shout out to my man Majin Obama. My man Jazz. That's how I know him. Jazz.
Damn.
I'm not even calling him Obama. I'm calling him Jazz because every time I see him in person now, I call him Jazz. I don't even call him Obama. But I met him before, I think 13 years ago. And it's crazy to see the growth of all these players and where they're at now.
Just people and just individually, right?
It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy. Man. And like I said, I got to see Happy Medicine rise through the ranks. I got to see Toy rise through the ranks. Shout out to my man Toy, RIP to my man Crucia B because he did move here from New Orleans, and we got to hang out quite a bit before his passing. And so shout outs to him, and I got to meet all those players before I got here, and They was like, yo, good luck. New York is tough. New York is this. New York is that. I was like, yeah, I know my history. I know what I'm getting into. And I was like, the first thing I'm going to go to when I get here, we're going to Chinatown Fair.
Oh, you did it right for the culture.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
And you say you came in 2010, right?
2010.
And that was the last year of Chinatown. Look at that,
Yeah,
man. Came right
man.
on time. Look at that.
And the people I got to meet, literally the first night I got to meet at Chinatown Fair, shout out to my man A-Easy Remix.
Yes.
I got to meet him.
Rest in peace, my G.
I met him.
Nelson Reyes.
Yep.
I got bopped by his fucking bison right here.
Oh, this is when we had the cabinets in that motherfucker. Yeah. Well, super. That was super.
It was
super. Yeah.
It was super. So that's how I got to play you. I saw you on the Marvel 2 cabs. I saw Sanford in a blazer, just walking around. And then, I eventually got to meet up with Triforce. I went with my man Glitch, and then we all went to I think it was Noodletown.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they took you there.
Yes, sir.
We went to Noodletown, and that was my first experience in there, and I was just like, yo, this shit is
What they
lit
blessed
right
you with,
now.
Chow Su Fan?
I don't know.
It was the pork with the white rice, wasn't it?
The glistening
I think
pork
so.
over the rice.
That is the chow-
I was
fine,
eating.
that's fine.
I was eating everything at that point because
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a young boy. I'm 18 years old. I'm like,
Coming
I
in,
can
they
eat
coming
anything.
on. Yeah. Facts.
And so that was my first experience at Chinatown Fair. And I was like, yo, this is heaven. Like, yo, for 09er like me, like technically 09er, I was like, yo, this is it. Like, this is where I need to train. This is where I need to be, like, every Friday, Saturday night, because Friday, Saturday nights was popping. You go every other day, that shit is not,
Right.
it's not that great. But Friday and Saturday nights was always popping, and I always got to see everybody. I was like, yo, so used to seeing on YouTube and just be like, yo, Yipes is right there. Yo, Chris Matrix right there. Yo, Sanford right there. Yo, Executioner right there. Yo, and I'm just like, and everybody was cool. Everybody was with it. Everybody was about the games. And I was like, all right, let's play some games. And I will never forget that. Never forget that first experience that I had there. Never.
That's so fucking fire. Look at that, man. I remember you telling me you did move to New York, but I forgot exactly what was the year. But that was
2010.
That was the year that I see you. You know why? All right, so now I'm gonna piggyback on how
right,
I
here we
got
go.
cool with Ultimizer. The people, I'm not saying no names because at the time I wanted to punch the dude in his face. And Ultimizer know who it is, but I'm not gonna say nothing. But if you watching, fuck you, bitch. All right, I'm gonna throw that out right now. So anyway, there was a tournament. And I think Triforce borrowed your Xbox 360 memory card, correct?
Correct.
Or some shit like that. It was something like they borrowed your Xbox 360, whatever. Somebody robbed it. Now, what's crazy is this sucker right here that said that robbed it literally said that it was Empire Arcadia. Right? Now, this is literally around the time when I'm gonna say, Chris, you know this story. When I was asleep and somebody took $100 from my wallet, that's the same guy. Now, mind you, I seen this guy plenty of times in tournaments. I wanted to break his fucking shit. But because I actually care about, as you said, your energy, you know what I'm saying? My energy, I cared for it to the point where I was like, it's not even worth it cracking this guy. You know what I mean? So, but that's how I met Ultimizer, because we came together and I was like, oh, this guy stole your shit? Well, check this out. This guy stole $100 from me. And we literally, I think we went to Noodletown, or was it Wohat right after? It was some shit. We went somewhere to eat right there. And then that's how I actually got to know Ultimizer. And from there, I just steadily keep seeing him in events. I seen him like, yo, man, come grab a drink. You know what I'm saying? Or some shit. And I just noticed, because you know what it is that attracts me like to good people? It's good energy, obviously, but it's just the way they carry themselves. You know what I'm saying? But Ultimizer, the way he carried himself, you're a goofball, number one. Number two, you humble. And number three, you play the games whether you're good or you're not. You know what I mean? And then I seen how little by little, as you grew with the FGC with us, because at the time when you came in, that's when like shit started to take off. Yeah. Because before you came in, we was in the dark ages for a hot minute. I mean, we don't got to get into that, but we were stuck with the same games for 10 years, but blah, all that shit, you know what I'm saying? So you came in at a good time where everything was growing, from the venues to more streaming to stuff like that. So you literally was in the golden age, like coming up in FG, which is pretty fucking dope. You know what I'm saying?
Wait. I'm sorry. Did you refer to that as the Dark Ages?
I mean, that's what everyone says.
No. Dark ages in terms of pushing the FGC.
because all you had was Marvel 2,
like before
Third Strike,
streaming and
This
everything.
is before streaming. Yeah, that's
Oh,
dog
okay,
ages.
okay,
That's what I'm
okay,
saying.
okay.
What the fuck? What you thought I was saying?
I mean, to me, that's the goal. That's the golden.
No, that's
age
to
and everything.
us.
Yeah.
But I'm saying what is classified
Okay.
of it now. Yeah,
Right,
to
right,
us,
right,
duh.
right.
And
Okay,
to be
before the
honest,
stream.
I
Okay.
classify that also as the golden age too.
Hell
Yeah, no, that's a golden age to me. That's why I
Yeah.
said dog ages. That wasn't us.
For a lot of
That wasn't us.
09ers, they classify that as
Yeah,
dark ages.
that's what I'm throwing out. I'm trying to relate to the people that's catching up with all this shit now. You know what I mean?
It's crazy that they say that though, because if it wasn't for the dark ages, there would be no 09ers and stuff.
right.
True, but all right. So check this out, right? So I think people classify it with so quick is because now we're in an era where games just switch up so fast every year, right? So now I'm pretty sure people are more spoiled, like either expecting a new game or expecting a patch or whatever the case is. Now people classified that as the dark ages because not only we were stuck with the game for 10 years, but we were stuck with some cheap shit for 10 years and we ain't had to worry about no buffs or no nerfs, none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they call it that. Chris, I'm sorry if I offended you, my brother. I promise you.
I mean, we wasn't stuck with it. Like that was a benefit. That's how people actually got good in a game.
Honestly,
I'm classifying what people are calling the dark ages.
I know.
And truth be told, right? Truth be told, I wish I actually came up in that era because we are so privileged now and we're so spoiled now that we take the so littlest things for granted, right? Because
I don't even look at Twitter no more.
right? Because
I don't even look at Twitter no more.
you go into a game right here and you're expecting to have a good online. You're expecting to have good gameplay. You're supposed to learn every matchup through online, through your home. When you guys came up, you had to travel. You had to travel. Not only to travel, you had to pay to play.
Yes.
You had to pay to play.
Yes.
Whether it be 25 cents, 50 cents to $1. When Street Fighter 4 came out, you had to pay $1 for per game. That's why people went hard every time. Yes.
And you only had a certain amount of. I think you get to like 5 and you get kicked. 6. There you go.
And
Right.
And it's game over.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, okay, I learned. Truth be told, if I played 6 games, if I won all 6 games, I might be playing, same kind of matchups, maybe two out of the 6 times, 3 out of the 6 times. What matchups am I really learning? What am I really taking away from all this? It's hard. You gotta adapt. Like right then and there. It's 2 out of 3 rounds. You gotta adapt. And if I get bopped 2 rounds, 2 rounds straight, well, that's another $1 I gotta put in. Facts. If I go there with the $20, I only have 20 tries. Well, some people are less fortunate. If I go there with $10, I only have 10 tries. So I have to try my best. And then even with games that just have quarters, FGC is known to have, be the poverty like type genre, shit, whatnot. Some people go there with $5, right? I play games only that require quarters. There's Third Strike, there's Marvel 2, but there's multiple cabinets for the same game, but some of the cabinets have broken buttons. Some cabs are not as good as the other cabs. So it's like you got to take that into account. It takes a lot of work to keep up an arcade, but at the same time, it takes a lot of work to adapt and to learn under the circumstances of paying to play a game. That's why we are privileged now, because we pay $60, 65 with tax, of course. We pay $65. We go online and we can just learn right then and there. I can go on Twitter, I can go to YouTube, I can go on Facebook, I can go on Instagram and be like, oh, they're posting tech all the time. I don't even have to play. I can just learn from X, Y, and Z, and then I can just, build my game around that. People didn't have that back then. They had to literally build their game on how many times they actually play the game. And only the best players come out Friday or Saturday. They ain't coming out all these other random days. You might catch them in a random day, but most than likely they're gonna be there Friday and Saturday. And those are long lines. You gotta wait to play somebody. God. You see how many quarters they put up just to get one game, and then you lose, and then you gotta wait another 30 to 45 minutes to play again.
Yes.
We were talking about that with Norman last week, and funny enough, I told Norman, I was like, yeah, man, Remember those guys that just used to like fucking put their quarter up, but they was really in the back of the line, but they cut the line? Yeah, I was one of those guys. I did that shit. Fuck, I ain't want to wait. You know what I'm saying?
That's why some guys got nice at DDR because they didn't want to wait.
That is
Shout out
true.
to my man. Shout out to my man Chris.
Yeah,
Chris
that's
G.
facts. Yo.
He got nice at freaking DDR, yo.
Let me touch up on No, but yeah, no. Just to touch up on what you did, what you said, Ultimizer. Yeah, people are privileged when it comes to the world of the fighting game community now. Obviously, with you know, the text that's explained, you know, just everything that's out there for people to actually just see and learn from. Because yeah, back in the day, we did start everything from scratch. Not to say that it wasn't like that with the new games now, but it's just far more easier to learn and get stronger in fighting games. Now, mind you, I can appreciate both eras. You know what I'm saying? In terms of what used to be and what's now. Right? So obviously back then we had to struggle with some of the information. Now you don't really have to struggle with that information because it's out there. Now when I say in terms of I could appreciate, it's because I wish I knew that level of knowledge now then. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just got frame data from Marvel 2. Right? Like, not just got it, like it didn't just come out, but we stumbled upon that. Yeah, we finally get some frame data. So like we know what's 2 frames, we know what's 1 frame, we know what's faster. We actually got hitboxes now and shit like that. I wish we actually had that I wish we had that information back in the day. We didn't.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, as my man Norman said, we would call it priority. We wouldn't call it frames. We didn't know if it was 1 or 2. We just said, yo, I know this Crouch's short for Magneto has priority over Cables, whatever, at the beginning of the match, or Sentinel, or Storms, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But like again, I can appreciate what's going on now. Just more so. Because a lot that I can add in terms of information, I can add it now to my Marvel 2 game. You know what I mean? And that's not even to say data. Like in terms of the fundamentally and fundamental improvements as me as a fighting game player from learning games now, I could take it back to Marvel 2 and actually play a little more patient, play a little more neutral, see things for what it is, see certain things that I'm looking for that I could get an actual proper punish or like really condition somebody. Like, it has its perks, you know what I mean? But I understand when people say people are too privileged in a good and a bad way, because obviously now if you give everything to them in a silver platter and then they don't like it, they're gonna go on Twitter and they're gonna just talk smack about this shit every single time. Like, obviously, you know this. I mean, I've said this before. Oh, we good? Okay. So I said this before, right? I just joined the this when MKX came out, I joined the NRS community, right? And they welcomed me with open arms. You know what I'm saying? Big shout outs to the Britos, of course, CD Manny, Max the Robin. You know what I'm saying? They lovely mother for blessing us with that beautiful ass cooking. You know what I'm saying? To make me feel comfortable at home, especially since I was Dominican. You feel me? So, but pretty much because I was with them, people showed me a little more respect. Like, okay, Yipes is taking it serious because he's playing with them, right? And they welcome me with open arms, all of these guys. You know what I'm saying? But I did notice people was complaining every now and then. You know, I never say every now and then. It was pretty consistent. And I look at Twitter and I just see, you know, their cases and all this shit. But I'm just like, bro, I mean, you should expect shit like this from a cheap ass character, bro. You should expect this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should have just complained about it. Just step your shit up. You know what I mean? So you mean to tell me they take one thing of your character that's just going to just dethrone you of whatever it is that you was doing, is going to just throw you away, whatever the hell you was going to do it? Because in fighting games, see, this is what I think about fighting games, right? It's an art, right? Like any other thing, like, you know, from making music to writing to drawing to dancing. I feel like fighting games at a high level, it's an art. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to master that art, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just hold crutches on certain characters and what they have, you know what I mean? Because you have to learn the whole spectrum and the fundamental side of things of fighting games, you know what I mean? Like, for example, in basketball, I'm not going to be a good center unless I have somebody to post up with, you know what I mean, to practice my left and right, you know what I mean? To practice my post-up game, you know what I mean? You just in general, just to have a bag. That's what it is about fighting games. You need to have a bag. You just can't be one-dimensional. You know what I mean? So, like, when something gets nerfed for my character, I'm like, well, okay, well, I'll make something work then. You know what I'm saying? I'll find another answer. But that's not the case nowadays, because people just be bitching. I mean, we've seen that shit before. We said that shit before in past No Frillz episodes.
Right.
But, you know, but it's a subject to touch up on sometimes, especially just piggyback at what you're saying in terms of people being privileged now. You know what I'm saying? It's just a thing that just keeps happening.
Right.
know?
And I think it's a perspective thing, because you're coming from a perspective where you're playing games from companies that only updated the game once or every often.
Right.
Like, Street Fighter 3 came out, new generation. You had your characters, right? You had some characters. Then you had Second Impact. Second Impact, Ibuki and Sean were the best characters in the game, and Akuma, right? And then Third Strike comes out. Sean got nerfed to hell. He was one of the worst characters in the game. Akuma still kind of like stayed the same. Ibuki was solid, but then you know what I'm saying, that was a course of 8 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got 3 games in 8 years. Those were literally the updates. Mind you, MK11 comes out. We get updates every 2-3 months.
Yeah.
And you know, NRS is, you know, closely paying attention to the complaints that certain top players are playing. And honestly, they got it good, because like if they were to complain like that back in the era where you only had literally games to be the update, well, you're not gonna last long.
Fact.
Right.
You know, and you guys have
that too.
Right. You guys have the beauty of being in both eras.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I think that's why I'm like envious of not being part of the, you know, quote unquote dark ages, what I think is the golden ages, because you take what you get and you run with it. Because VDO, you know, like I said, shout out to VDO. VDO did not have to play with Rogue, did not have to play with Ken, did not have to play with Colossus, but he stuck with them and he worked with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He played what he played with, you know? In itself, you know, those characters have some cheap stuff, but, you know, he had to work 10 times harder than, you know, let's say someone who picked up Team Scrub.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he had to work 10 times. That's why he is the rushdown god. You know what I'm saying? The RTG. He is the rushdown god because he had to work on his offensive game to get in. And once he got in, he tried to make it count. And that's what it is. If players took that, if players today took that perspective of what they don't have and what they do have, and not take the smallest things for granted, then I think they will have a better mentality going into fighting games. Because like fighting games is just like, to me, fighting games is like the hardest genre to get better at, because not only,
Preach.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, you know, we play multiple genres. I play puzzles, I play shooters, I play MOBAs, I play them all, right? And fighting games is just hard because not only you have to get better on your own, but you have to get better with a community. It's like you can play the computer at the highest max level, but you're not gonna know instincts. You're not gonna know reads. You're not gonna know this, and that. The computers are not gonna do certain things that's gonna level your game up. It's not. It's like somebody, like, you can run it. Everybody has a demon when it comes to fighting games. Everybody has a demon. That one person you just can't beat, right? Even my favorite fighting game of all time, Takedo, has that guy. And that's Daigo. Daigo always beats Takedo. That's always the lore. You know what I'm saying? That's it is what it is. The greatest fighting game players always have their demons, right?
Thanks.
And this is why it's always hard to get better at fighting games, because you have to keep constantly running into that person to learn the matchup. Sometimes they might not even, if you have beef with that person, you might not even not play that person in casuals. They might not even take you serious in casuals. They might pick another character. If they take you serious, they'll pick their main character. But that's probably in tournament when money's on the line. Or a money match. It's just like these little things matter. And it's just like no other genre in video games has these elements. There are no money matches in shooter games. There's no money matches in League of Legends or MOBAs. There's no money matches in puzzle games. There is no money matches.
I actually never put that together, funny enough. I never thought about that. Imagine like a team and Call of Duty, like, y'all like my team over yours for like $100 a man or some shit. I never heard. Actually, that's the first time I even thought about that, for real, bro. That's how you know it's just a fighting game thing.
And so also piggyback on something you said earlier, right? When you were talking about,
you do? You say y'all do? Yeah, there's money matches. Like people will meet up like in LANs and be like, "Yo, man."
You never heard of Money Eights?
That's what that's called. Yeah. Money Eights. So explain that.
4v4.
Money Eights. Oh, so they're literally just all chipping. Each team put a bag in the front. Whoever wins it takes it.
Or wages.
They do have wages. I'm sorry, but
Wages. That's
see,
right.
okay,
You're right. You're right.
Okay. So for people that don't know wages, for example, in Warzone, they'll put some money up and they'll pretty much have a kill race. Whoever has the most kills at the end of it gets the wager. Okay, yeah, you know what? I see that.
But that's a new concept.
That's always been.
All that shit.
I can believe that.
But no, but
I can believe that.
I would say that no other genre has taken it to the highest degree than fighting games.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I couldn't agree with that. We've had $50,000 match.
Tone versus Fnatic
was $50,000.
Crazy.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that.
No
Okay.
other genre has went to the highest degree
that we know of for
that
right
we
now.
know of.
For right now, yeah.
If there's anybody in the comments that want to school me on that,
yeah, let's
school
me.
on that.
School us, because I never heard some shit like that.
I'll learn.
Right.
I'm open to learning about anything gaming.
No.
But as far as I know, no one puts it more on the line than fighting game players.
Right.
I just had to say that.
Yeah. So like I was saying, so something you mentioned earlier about how with NRS, you know, like they'll patch a game like every 2-3 months, you know, and it'd be a lot based on like what top players are complaining about,
right,
talking about, mentioning, stuff like that, you know. Like now I'm all for like correcting things that need to be corrected in fighting games, because things are so mainstream now. People are sponsored, you know what I mean, and you want to try to create as equal and level a playing field as possible, being that people are, you know, trying to represent their teams and they're so mainstream now, you know what I mean. So you want people to have a fair shake,
right?
You don't want it to be like, you know, just completely imbalanced, right? But that poses the question, is like, okay, back in the day, you know, and I'm not that back in the day versus new age guy, you know what I mean? But back in the day, you know, like, okay, it took people a nice amount of time to really flesh out a matchup. You know what I mean? To really say like, okay, yeah, something's cheap, but people really took the time and from experience and stuff to really, really figure it out.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that takes time. It takes trial and error. It takes the development of new strategies and things like that. So the only thing is like within 2 to 3 months, like, are they complaining because they literally tried every option and they've developed, you know, their knowledge and their character in that particular matchup to the peak in which they can really say, okay, this is a bad matchup, you know, it's unwinnable, or this is something that's stupid? Or is it like, oh, you know what, well, I can't find my niche to win right now, so it's bad, you know what I mean? So it's hard to decipher whether like something was that broken where it needed to be changed right then and there within a 2 to 3 month span, which I think is also attributes to the importance of having very astute game testers. And I say this all the time. Yipes should absolutely be a game tester.
100%.
Companies. He is very, 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 very proficient at fleshing out a character's strengths and weaknesses and understanding that. And he can definitely figure out like what's cheap and what's not cheap, and based on the meta of the game. You know what I mean? So
thank you.
I think absolutely. I think that's extremely important, and it's hard to decipher, you know, over 2 to 3 months whether something actually needs to be nerfed or buffed, or whether, you know, people just had some unexplored situations, some characters that can potentially overcome that, you know. So there has to be like a balance, you know. NRS is known for patching too frequently, too early,
right,
too much, whereas, you know, like Capcom is known for probably not
let it
patching,
marinate.
you know what I mean? So I think if you could find something comfortable in the middle,
okay,
and then like, you know, trying to have a nice balance so that when you nerf something, you don't nerf a player at the same time. You know what I mean? Because that person that put in that 2-3 months into that character and is achieving a certain result, sometimes you change that one little thing and their character can really go to the pits. So it's like, okay, yeah, I can be a great fighting game player, but like now, like, you just flushed down the toilet like 3 months of hard work that I put into a character. You know what I mean?
And so you're not gonna get that time back.
Right, exactly. And that to me, that's not fair. That's not fair. And if something is clearly broken, like yeah, it has to be fixed. You know what I mean?
Facts.
But you gotta have a good eye to note those things out and stuff like that. So like I just feel like the forging of the iron back then was better because yo, if you got some cheap shit, like you gotta figure it out. And then like that was back in the days when sandbagging was a thing. You know what I mean? You go to a tournament, dudes is not picking a real shit.
Yeah.
In team tournaments, none of that. You know what I mean? They playing their secondaries. You not and casuals, forget it. You're not seeing a person's main shit until you run into them in tournaments.
Save it for nationals, man. That's how that was the mentality. That was the mentality back in the day.
Yeah.
So you know what? And just to touch up on, piggyback
That's
on more
funny.
of this on this subject. Interesting, we all talking about this right now. So
Right.
shout out to Majin Obama, Jazz. Right? Shout out to Majin Obama.
My man.
Please follow him on his YouTube. This dude speaks a lot of what we're thinking about in the FGC. You know what I'm saying? I would love Majin Obama. Majin, if you hear this, man, if we need to bring you out here, just let us know. And we would love you as a guest on the No Frills podcast because I'm pretty sure
I would
that'll
love
last.
to see that live.
That would be like 2 hours, 3 hours max. 'Cause there's a lot to
Seriously.
talk about. But this is a subject he was talking about. And we've been talking about this for a while, actually, Chris, when it comes to online play. So, Guilty Gear just came out, right? Beautiful game. Very pretty. Anybody that's into animation or cartoons or whatever the case is, you would actually enjoy that game. And I'm not even here shilling. I play the game a lot. I've actually found a lot of fun playing Milia, you know what I'm saying? Because I can express myself. As IFCYipeS, a rushdown guy, I can express myself with that character. So that's a big thing when it comes to fighting games is how can you express yourself?
Yes.
That's why Street Fighter V was a bit lackluster at first because you really couldn't represent yourself. But now characters are fleshed out. There's more options. People can rush down, mix, etc., etc. You can actually connect yourself with a certain character. But that's just for another subject. So he brings up about online play and delays and the differences between console and PC, right? So obviously right now Guilty Gear came out. It's on PS4, PS5, and then we have and PC, right? Hands down, PC is the best version of the game, right? I'm talking about it's 1 frame lag. It's literally perfect at this point.
100% agree.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Now in PS4, PS5, I don't know if they're the same, but I keep hearing that this is he said it in his YouTube, but I don't know if he said it for PS5 as well. But I know for the console versions,
I play with PS4.
yeah, it's 4 frames of lag. Right.
And I can agree with that.
So it's like now we have to wonder, okay, where do we take our career? This is and let me not even say career. Where do we take our fighting game prowess to take this serious and level up? Do we do it on consoles or we do it at PC? Now there's a benefit to both, but now it's more so as well as a demographic, what type of fighting game community we're dealing with.
Right.
So in America, we're pretty heavy on PC. EU as well. You know what I mean? Japan, however, they're heavily invested in console. You know what I'm saying? Because they like staying connected and all that. Not everyone in Japan has a PC. Not to say that like they're poor or nothing, but they just choose console over PC. Now me being in the FGC, I'm all about quality. I fucking hate lag. It's actually one of the reasons why I don't play online. You know what I mean? But Strive has some good online, so it's very doable. Especially on where do you play? Like, you know what I mean? Like from New York to Texas is great. New York to any Eastern region is great. You know what I'm saying? Hell, there's some matches over in EU. It is actually run smooth. Like it's actually a good rollback. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, it's all about quality nowadays in terms of what you want to play and what you want to represent. Like I feel like it's a benefit if the FGC moves to PC. Obviously there's a lot of situations where maybe the controller might not read, maybe something will crash or some shit and they'll delay the tournament. So there's a lot of things that you have to take in consideration, right? Obviously console's very easy. You get an update, you update your shit 2 days before the event, bada bing bada boom, everybody's on there, everybody's connected, everybody's happy. You know what I'm saying? But there's gonna be obvious complaints. You're gonna be like, yo, listen, man, I play on PC, but I play on PS4. And obviously, the creators ain't really going to be hearing that shit right off the rip. Because right now, the main concern when it comes to game development is the online. You know what I mean? When it comes to the rollback. But that's for another topic. But it's pretty concerning considering the fact that a lot of people are playing on PC. And then when they have to go to a main tournament, they have to be forcefully switched to the PS4 to PS5. So that's the tough part. You know what I mean? And I agree with that with Majin Obama because I'm a PC guy. I'm all about quality. Hell, when fucking Street Fighter 4 came out, and this is right around the time Monitors came out, we was like, yo, why this shit feel so lagging? We was playing on Xbox, me, Matrix, and the old Empire crew. We was playing on Xbox, and it was fine.
CRT.
On a CRT.
Yeah.
That's how we had to make the
CRT.
game
That's how I started out too.
less laggy.
Yep.
Like in tournaments, right? they had their monitors and shit and all that shit. But you know, real dudes know when they play like, yo, bro, something's up with this shit. This shit is weird. You know what I mean? Especially the guys that are heavy on execution. You know what I mean? So there's some IFCYipeS players that was like, yo, bro, I can't do my shit here. You know what I mean? So we literally, yo, shout outs to Joe, man. So much respect to Joe. He listens to the players all the time. And so Johnny Cage. I remember we was running monitors, right? And there was just complaints about lag all over the place. These dudes went out and got CRTs. They got the big backs. They put them shits on the stream station. They put it in the back for like semis and all that shit because it was a real thing. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate you guys for that. And the tournament was running smooth. It was still on PS3, but hell, it made it so everybody was happy. You feel me? And you know, this is around the time when people was. I'm not gonna speak on every tournament organizer, but you know, they was fishing for like sponsors and shit like that. Maybe Sony would get involved when they see people rocking the PS3s and stuff like that. Right. But that wasn't the case at the time, you know. But yeah, man, it's just interesting how the quality of competition can literally change because of latency. You know what I'm saying? So, which is crazy. And then the topic that we was talking about is the online, right? Right now, I feel like so remember we was talking about how like the MK community, the NRS community, they're complaining about, you know, broken shit, whatever the case is. But they barely not really bugging on the online. There's a big portion of it. They're like, yo, man, we would love rollback, and this is in the third. But you know what? Even though their games always restart and stuff like that, at least they show support to their community no matter what, right? Now, the thing with Dragon Ball right now, from what I'm seeing is, right, the Dragon Ball scene is literally sitting back and relaxing, right? And they're watching all these other games get rolled back, and they're getting pissed off. They're like, yo, dude, like, especially with the situation we in with COVID and everything, like, what the hell is it with Dragon Ball that it's not getting rolled back?
And they've been very, like, communicative when it comes to, like, be on Twitter and be like, we want rollback. Like, all of them, all the top players, everybody was like, yo, we want rollback for this game. And then they was expecting it during the Nationals.
Yeah, it's the announcement.
The finals said, yo, oh man, it's gonna come. They're gonna announce rollback. We're gonna get it. And it was like nothing. You get another Kakarot game, but nothing when it comes to DBFC.
Type shit. Now, mind you, yo, shout outs to the Dragon Ball Fighters community. You know what I'm saying? Just Toei, Bandai. These guys have showed some love. They showed a lot of love to the FGC when it comes to events and just getting involved with us, right? But one thing that you guys have to take in consideration is this rollback, because I'm gonna tell you right now, Dragon Ball Fighters is one of the best communities I've seen grow in terms of just hype. Because remember, there was a point in time where I was kind of complaining early on. Chris, you can attest to this. I was complaining about how, like, yo, there's no real rivalries, and this is in the third. Dragon Ball Fighters bring all those fucking rivalries back. You know what I'm saying? So obviously, it's unfortunate that we ended up in a pandemic and people had to be in the house and at home, and then we had to run tours on it. And we already know what it is when it comes to the online. I'm not dissing the game, but the online, it's not the best shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna just call it how I see it. I'm pretty much speaking on behalf of the community when it comes to that. People just got to pay attention to that, man, because right now, and at the end of the day, when it comes to growing the FGCs, not only sharing that knowledge and pretty much explaining it to the best of our abilities so people know what's going on, but the quality of these games, whether it's online or offline, have to be at its best, man, because I'm telling you guys, little things like lag can literally fuck it up for your end game at the end of the day. And then people wonder, hey man, what happened to the community? What's popping? This is the third. It's because the quality of the game ain't meeting to their expectations. A lot of people just are hard-headed. You know what I'm saying? They see something face value, and they're like, man, I can't fuck with this shit. You know what I'm saying? But then there's some people that be like, yo, I can fuck with this shit. But then as the shit move along and progresses, they see little things like, man, why didn't they implement this off the rip? Why I gotta play like this? Why I gotta play like that? You know what I mean? Like, it just kind of sucks seeing it. And I'm on the Twitter side, and me, I'm a dusty motherfucker. I come from the CRT time, from TRT times. We ain't had privileges of going online, as you said, privilege. We ain't had the privileges going online and shit like that. We just enjoyed it for what it was, for the offline. But I see your cry for help, FGC, and you know, as No Frillz Podcast, one of the representatives of the FGC, just the world in general, we feel you on that. You know what I mean? So we always talk about these situations just to bring up that awareness, and hopefully, who knows, maybe they're listening. You know?
And that's what I've always wanted to do, was create a platform of just like of gamers and educate them about FGC and what the FGC goes through, like those little things like that, right? Because we talk about, you said, the quality of the game, correct? And so let's talk about it. Dragon Ball Z had the highest numbers of Evo of all time. When Dragon Ball first came out, it had the highest numbers of Evo. It outbeat Street Fighter V.
I didn't think that would happen, to be honest.
and I didn't think it was gonna happen too. But I was like,
But
you know what?
But that is a testament to the growth of FGC, though.
Right.
Big testament.
And I was like, you know what? If there's a game that's gonna like outgrow Street Fighter V, it's gonna be Dragon Ball.
Right.
I'm like, everybody knows Dragon Ball. We essentially most fighting game players are anime watchers. We all know Dragon Ball, and we all want to be nice in that game. And then the rivalries came. We had Sonic Fox versus Goichi. We want to see who's gonna win out of these two.
Yeah.
And that rivalry alone just like sparked the numbers of viewership and just like participants and just like, yo, we want to know who's going to be the best in this game. And that was a magical time. I loved that those finals for Sonic Fox versus Goichi. That was a great top 8, the first Dragon Ball Z finals.
Yeah,
I loved it. And so piggybacking on what you're saying is just like little things like that when it comes to quality of playing the game. Only the FGC kind of like goes through that. We want to talk about like we want more players to play the game. When it comes to accessibility, FGC kind of lacks because let's take a game for League of Legends per se. It's a free to play game. You can play that game for free.
Right.
Sure, you might not have all the legends like right off the bat, but you can play the game for free. If you grind it out, if you put the time in the game, you're going to get access to those legends, right? When it comes to fighting games, right? It's not a free to play game. You have to spend $60, right? And like I said, going back into the day, you had to pay 25 cents to play one character. You had to pay, 50 cents to play one character. You had to pay $1. Pay one character. There's no training mode. There's no this. There's no that. If you play the console version, you get a training mode. Great. And then you go to online. Great. But you notice that if you go to online to offline, there's a big difference. Lag. Right? And you know what I'm saying? This man hit the nail on the head like 100% of the time. It's like, yo, we have to deal with these things. And then League of Legends came out online. It's played online. Even when they have offline events, they still have to connect online. That's like going to Halo. When you played Halo and you wanted to play 8 players, you had to do a system link, right?
LAN, yeah.
But it's still LAN at the end of the day. It's just like little things like that you have to consider. Why it's hard to get better in fighting games because let's take Street Fighter for example, right? I'm a Ken player, right? He's a Bison player. He's another Ken player. All right. I know the matchup with Ken, right? I play Ken all the time. So I know the mirror matchup. It comes down to like person versus person. I play him all the time. He plays Bison. I play Ken. All right. I'm really good in a matchup. Let's just say 100% of the time he plays Abel, which he does. He plays Abel. And I just get my shit mixed and I'm just like, yo, how do I block this? He knocks me down one time and I have to guess 50-50. I wouldn't have known that if I played level 9 Able computer.
Right.
Because they don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do that cheap shit. They just play to play. Right? They don't do the cheap ambiguous 50-50 like mix up shit that we do. We come up with that. And it's just like, okay, if I don't have access to play the player, right, I'm in a deficit, right? And that's why I prioritize like New York City and in the West Coast because we have the 2 most prominent locals in the world. We have Next Level Battle Circuit, used to be Big 2, used to be Guard Crush, it used to be a whole bunch of shit, right? But, that leniency is still, going on to this day. And then you had Wednesday Night Fights, right? Super Arcade. And then now the esports arena, right? But other than those 2 locals, what locals do you really hear from the rest of the U.S.?
Yeah, man. And
you might have TNS, you might have Xanadu.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Maryland, they're in North Florida. Yeah,
but
sure.
a part of that is like they're bi-weeklies and they're monthlies. We have it every week. We have access to the best players every week.
That's true.
Somebody in Montana might not even have that like that access. Some players from Philly, you have to travel from 3 hours, 2-3 hours to get to the city just to play for 3 to 4 hours, and they have to go back to another 2 or 3 trip just to go back home. It's like we take a lot of things for granted, and it's just like fighting games is just hard, because I know back in the day, Henry Sen and Eddie Lee traveled everywhere just to play the best of the best, and they were beating everyone, right? And I would see them on my Tips and Tricks magazines, be like, yo, tournament results, tips and tricks. I still have these magazines to this day, and it's just like I would see these names: Justin Wong, Michael Mendoza, you know what I'm saying, Christian Ellis, you know what I'm saying. Shout out to my man, shout out to my dad who used to buy these things every month so I can see these tips and tricks and be like, yo, these guys are nice in this game, and then be like, yo, I want to play in the tournament. And a young guy like me to be like, man, I can hang with these guys. No, you have no idea what you're getting into. None. So if you're a new fighting game player and you want to get into this, do your research, learn your history, because you're going to get a slice of humble pie real quick. I was one of those kids that thought, yeah, I play the computer all the time. I'm nice. I know what I should do. I know what I should push.
I was that guy, Ultimizer. Listen, man, I pulled up the CF. That shit was a humbling experience. I was the guy in Dykeman smoking everybody that came to CF. I was like, holy shit.
Right.
I am trash. Like, that's the first thing I said. I was like, I am trash. I stepped my shit up. I was on a small cabinet for 2 months before I started seeing these guys on the fucking big stage. This is real shit. I was playing on the small cabinet. That's where all the noobs went. And then all the professionals had the big stage and shit. Matrix with the do-rag, collecting money. That you see making chicken, huh? How much you make? Yo, let me ask you a question.
I seen him wear that do-rag one time.
Yeah. Oh, no, I seen it all the time, baby. That time. Like, hey, hold up. How much money you made in a night in CF? In a night. On syndicate style. In a night. Throw a number.
Oh,
I always left with at least $100 back then.
But what was the boy?
At least, what was the what?
What was the boy? Like, what was the big number? Like, do you remember any like legendary? Like, you was like, yo, I came up. You know what? Fuck it. It don't gotta be CF. We talking old school. Right? It could be the break.
Just in general.
It could be the break.
Oh no. At tournaments like majors, yeah, that was the bag, because you betting on everything, and when especially the top 8s.
All right, so you being a hustler. So look,
being a tactician himself.
Shout outs to Chris Matrix.
He is the tactician.
You guys have no idea, you know what I mean?
Crazy.
How much of a hustler this guy was. I'm talking about, like, he'll get the matches he want. He'll get it, right? Like, all right, so for example, I'll give you an example. CF, I pull up, right? I barely knew the guy, and he knew that I was stepping my shit up, blah, 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 blah. He was like, yo, you like yourself over Javier? I said, yeah. I think I'm gonna smoke him though. I play MSP. He kind of gets fucked up by that shit. He was like, what if I told you we gotta play this match and you can't play MSP? And I was like, okay. So I can't play like MSP, or I can't play Magneto. Yeah, you can't play Magneto. I was like, all right, I'll just play Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? And then he was like, are you gonna be around? I was like, yeah. So I'm literally outside chilling, right? Matrix pull up, I was like, yo, come play Javier. Yo, if you win, I'm gonna cut you something. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, I bet. So I get there, I play Javier. Now, mind you, let me tell you how much of a hustler he is. It wasn't even a first to 10. Javier already has 7 games. And I ain't even know this in my line, Chris.
No, sir.
He already has 7. So I didn't know what was the stipulation, but I guess he didn't tell me just so I could focus on the game. But I found out after the fucking game. So basically, he told me, he's like, yeah, so all he had to do was win 10 games. All he had to do was win 3 games. You have to win 10. I didn't know that till after the game. That's how his hustling was so good, right? So I was just in the zone. To me, it was just another day. I was like, okay, if I win, you know what I'm saying? But I was smoking Javier. Like, it was bad, right? And then the final score was literally 10-8, right? 10-8. And then he cut me off and shit. And then he told me, he was like, yo, so you played him in the first to 10, but really he only had to win 3 games. You had to win 10. And mind you, this is without Magneto. This is how his hustling mentality is really serious. Like, my man had to set that shit up. He had to talk to him and shit. Had to talk, bribe him and shit. I'm outside chilling. And at the time, I was a heavy cigarette smoker. So I'm outside smoking my bogeys and shit. He comes into us like, yo, you cool to play? I was like, yeah, what's up? Went in, and then that's how it went down. Be just a little loyalty, you guys. Yeah. Chris was thirsty about bread.
Yo,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, he didn't tell me that shit till after the bet.
Nah, because
He didn't tell me that shit.
a lot of people know if you go to tournaments, you bet, right? If someone is always second guessing, right? It's so hard to convince them. Then you got to say odds. Oh, okay, odds, and it's just like, yo, to get someone to to agree, yeah, he's gonna play you first to 10, but you already have 7 games,
bro. And it's crazy because
and you can't tell him that.
Right, yeah.
Because I'm sure if you had told him that, it's like, nah.
No, you know what it was? It wasn't that if you would have told me. Maybe the mentality would have crossed, damn, I have to play super perfect. It's his money on the line. Little factors like that come in when you're like, damn, like I really. But I was literally just playing.
But you
for
treated
fun.
it like regular shit.
This is
so
regular
it's just
shit. I
like-
was smoking this shit. You know what I'm saying? I just had fun. You know what I mean?
So he only got 1 game. Well, you.
Yeah,
had
and then
10.
I just smoked this shit.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
So like, it's just. There was a lot of situations like that, but long story short, like that's how I knew that Chris had that hustler's mentality.
That's-
you could just tell when somebody really about their cash. You know
That's
what I mean?
fascinating.
I'm not saying that Chris doing anything illegal. He's not.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Thank goodness. But he cares about his chicken.
If
really
there's an
does.
agreement, there's an agreement.
He really does
Grown
care
man,
about his
grown
chicken.
man.
I've seen Matrix run around CS smelling $100 bills. Talking about woo. He run around with the door. He be like, woo, who wants some of this?
It's always $100 to be made. You just gotta find it. You
Yeah,
just
man.
have to find it.
And it's crazy, bro. I remember those bets he used to do with fucking Eddie Lee and Justin. Eddie had to play shit like Sakura. He had to play like Sakura. What was he had? He had Sakura something trombone.
Yeah, the best ones though was Eddie's 5-bar cable against like Justin's set sight. Those are the most fun.
And of course, Eddie took him. Degenerate gambler.
Yeah. I mean, that Cable's his best character, so like that was his thing.
He was like, okay, I'll take it.
We gave him a real favorable matchup, and Justin used to always come out on top.
Damn.
Shout out to Jay.
Just the wall. You know, he did make a couple of bucks for me back in the day. I don't know, because them West Coast dudes, they really thought Justin wasn't really shit. You know what I'm saying? So every time a new guy stepped up, you know what I mean? A new sheriff in town on the West Coast, I'm like, that's cool and all, but that's Justin Wong. And I think you guys don't know about patience like this guy. You know what I'm saying?
I think the funniest joint that I heard was the Rotron story where Rotron played Justin for the first time. He's like, yeah, he runs.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, yo.
Break it down, Chris. What you talking about?
In the interview, yo.
It's like Rotron was like, yeah, he runs.
He runs.
And I'm like, yo.
Oh, those Seattle motherfuckers getting lame.
like-
Shout out to Seattle.
He was like, yeah, East Coast guys are good. You know what I mean? He has some good stuff to say about everybody. You know what I mean? So Justin, he runs. He runs.
Fuck saying defensive play. No, he runs.
Yo, I watched Justin run from this guy for 8 games in the grand finals, bro. It was actually more than that because I think Ro did get 1 game.
I think Rick Mears did him more dirty than Justin, B.
Yo.
Rick Mears ain't do shit but hell. At least Justin was floating in the air, throwing buttons. My man Rick Mears. Yo, shout out to Rick Mears, Philly's finest. Let me tell you something, B.
Ro was getting frustrated.
It was an ECC. I think it was EC9. That was 9?
That was no. Well, Rick.
Rick played Ro.
Yes,
That
that
was
was
EC9.
9. That was 9.
That was my first ECC, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, this is when I'm getting a
Shout
piss.
out to Rick Mears.
This Rick Mears with the braids, mind you. This Rick Mears with the braids. You know what I'm saying? Brahim talking a hell of a lot of shit. Julian Cheese in. I'm pretty sure he got a bet in. Sporty's in there talking shit.
Julian
Man, people are
Robinson.
just talking shit. Big E was there talking shit. Shit was crazy, right?
Of course.
Right.
What Philly players
I'm
do.
seeing Ro, like Ro stepped up, you know, Ro, and mind you, at the time, he was like ahead of his time with a lot of shit that he was doing. You know what I mean?
And Seattle came up. pulled
Yeah,
up.
Seattle came, right? So, pretty overly aggressive the way they played, you know what I mean? But Rick Mears, literally, he played Storm State Cable.
No, Storm Set Commando.
No, but there was one that he played Storm State Cable. Who was that against?
On point. He had Storm Set Commando against Ro on point.
But who did he play that had Storm State Cable?
I don't
He
know.
played Storm State Cable one match. I forgot
Prob-
what.
yeah,
but he did play. But he, no, you're right. He did it on Ro. Yeah, he played
Yeah,
Cat.
he was out.
He literally, all you heard, literally, was ho 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 ho. Literally the whole match.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Justin will literally be like, ha ha ha, set you up. You know what I mean? Set you up for the air dash. Then he'll like counter attack you or some shit. Rick Mears ain't do none of that. He literally, ha ha
Yeah.
ha ha ha. One
Jay
more
kept
typhoon.
Jay
Hail.
kept
Right back at
sniping
it.
Ro with the lightning attacks.
Drones, typhoon, hail. That's literally all he did.
Yeah.
And I was there
okay.
watching. I was like, man, interesting. Ro can't do shit about this, huh?
Yeah.
And you know, and I've been watching Ro on the tapes. He hit a
Right.
motherfucker, kill you. He do some flashy shit. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And then he had the 5-ball cable coming in after the Magneto put it on the work of the center point. I was like, damn, motherfuckers. Ro looked like clueless. Like he had no idea that Runaway was that cheap. And it's funny because obviously moving forward into the meta of Marvel 2, you play Team Rose Sentinel first. Runaway ain't that bad.
Right.
It's not. But at that time, he didn't know that. He was just that frustrated.
Yeah.
So for that interview, for him to say, yeah, Justin runs, that was just pretty much letting you know that he couldn't do shit against Runaway. Like, literally, he just pretty much let himself know what was the matchup going to be like.
And that's where that iconic line came from. Hold him down, Rick. Don't let him go to work.
And he ran. And he didn't let him go to work.
Yo, Rick was on his
I've heard
shit.
that line
Yeah.
one time.
Hold him down,
Hold him down, Rick.
Don't let him go to work. Man, that bull can't do shit to you, Rick.
Was out.
That bull can't do shit to you, Rick.
Yeah.
You know,
But
man.
Ro did fight his way all the way back to top 3 and wound up losing to Justin. Because that's when Sanford
Sent
put Justin in the losers.
Right.
And Sanford went to Ro. He said, take him out. Take him out. And then Ro proceeded to get bodied by Justin. Justin picked Max Storm Psych.
Ooh, yeah, Seattle virus. They
And
get
then
smoked by
Sanford
Cyclops.
came back like,
Cyclops? Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
Seattle. At that time, Seattle, they was allergic to Psych, boy. Allergic.
So it's funny. I want to ask this question.
Go for it.
You know, we have a team named after this man, and
Right.
I know the lore between that, because when you pick Team Matrix, they look like the guys from the Matrix, because you picked all black,
It was
right?
the colors I picked, yeah.
It was
Yeah.
the colors,
was all
but
black.
they all had their
But
jobs, though.
Is it safe to say that MSP is Team Yipes? Can I say that?
I mean,
I can't claim it.
You can't, yeah.
I can't
Why?
claim it. All right,
Why
so
is that?
I'll step in.
Okay.
But you put your 2 cents in it a bit.
I will.
All right.
Okay.
So when I came on the scene,
Right.
I did play Magneto, but it was a random combination of teams. It was Mag sent Cyclops,
Okay.
Mag Cable Trombone. I was playing some bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So when I got into MSP, like I always had a pocket MSP, but I was just so scared of Rocket because, you know, I had to chase these fucking Sentinels and motherfuckers are so lame. And at the time, I didn't have a good storm. I could hit you with Magneto, smoke your shit, but my storm was trash. Like it was ass. You know what I'm saying? So if there's anything that I could connect with the team is I built the patient and the tech in terms of just to deal with Sentinel and certain matchups.
Okay.
But in terms of naming that team Yipes, no, because that team was already heavily picked in California, and it was actually originated by Alex Valle and Doug Doe.
Okay.
So like,
Heavily
so
played.
Shout out to the legends right there.
yeah, so Doug Doe, Alex Valle was pretty much the guys that pretty much build the meta on MSP. You get meter, you get that one fucking combo, roundhouse, A-dash down forward, light kick, jump, light kick, side blade, tempest, hail, dead. That was basically it. Or if it didn't kill, you just get into Storm DSC, just run away all day. That was the strategy. That's what Ricky Ortiz did for many fucking years. You know what I'm saying? So, and shout out to Ricky. But yeah, so no, I can't call it Team Yipes.
Right. Now,
Gotcha.
what he did do, 100%. So Yipes is and there's a few other players, not too many. He's what I call a meta changer. So before he changed the meta of MSP. At first, MSP was a main team. Then people started getting really good with Santhrax
All right.
and Sentinel Commando, and MSP stock dropped heavily. A lot of MSP players were starting to pick MSS for the longevity. You have more life, and the counter call Rocket Punch on the Commando.
Okay.
Right? So then MSP became more or less a counter team.
Oh, okay.
People were just like picking it as a counter team. It wasn't like MSP was not known to really win majors, or like you couldn't really go through all the way or go through a whole tournament with MSP, like a major tournament where everybody was there. So then Yipes came along and pretty much like revamped the team, like revamped the style of playing MSP. I mean, everybody pretty much played MSP like, you do a couple mix, a couple resets, stuff like that. But Yipes really took it to a whole nother level with something that we call layered mix-ups and layered offense.
Right.
People didn't have layered offense before with MSP at all.
I see.
I don't care what
Okay.
anybody's gonna say. You watch the footage, people weren't layered at all. He came with the layered offense, and then he actually, I think, was one of the people that really bring up Storm Psylocke. I will say this: people don't know, Justin Storm Psylocke was actually the first Storms beating set caps. There's footage.
There's facts. Yeah, there's facts.
There's
Yeah, I know
footage
my-
with him.
yeah, yeah.
He was like the only Storm Psylocke really beating set caps, and mainly Sanford. You know what I mean? But in terms of like just fighting against everybody, like Yipes MSP changed the meta. He started he had a season with MSS, but then that shit got deaded. Right.
Shout out to Justin.
So then he started playing MSP hard body against everything, and the answer was no longer, all right, let me just counter. Now let me just figure this shit out. And then he started beating Santhraxes consistently with MSP. And then that gave a whole bunch of MSPs confidence, hope. Then it was like, you know what? This matchup is bad, but you know what? Maybe it's not that bad. It still did take a while for MSPs to step their storms up, because that's a big component to playing MSP, having a good storm. But he changed the meta. He gave people confidence to pick MSP against Santhraxes, you know what I mean, against like Stratodooms, like anything. And then like he turned MSP into, instead of a counter team, into the second best team, arguably the first. You know what I mean? Like everybody has their opinion. Like it's very interchangeable. You know what I mean?
Wow.
They
So
consider
I made MSP the second
Santhrax
best
the
team in the
first,
game?
right?
Absolutely. What's up?
They consider Santhrax the first, right?
Yeah.
The
Well,
best team in the
and people have different opinions, and
didn't
they
know
have valid opinions, right?
Right.
But I myself do feel Santhrax is the best team in the game.
Right.
Okay, USA.
Right. But if someone says MSP, you know, like it's okay. Like I'm not gonna really argue them down like that.
But
you know,
it took this man
fair.
to
Yeah, he made
bring
MSP
them-
the second best team in the game.
Right.
Hands down.
Wow.
I didn't even think that. Wow. I just thought
Hands down.
Now mind you, I always thought theoretically it was just second best team in the game.
He
But
was-
I made the theory true.
He was the first person to win Evo with MSP.
Church.
You know what I mean? I want to say he won 2 seasons beatings with MSP.
Church.
Really
Schmidt
hard
won-
seasons
Chris
beatings,
Schmidt
by the
won
way.
the
One
one.
of the
Facts.
best Marvel 2 grand finals I ever seen in
Fuck
my
you,
life.
Schmidt, but I love you. Thank
Shout
you.
out to Chris Schmidt.
Thank you for whooping my ass.
And then like, so the thing is, right? And this is how you know it wasn't a gimmick, and this is why I say it was a meta changer, because once he changed the meta of MSP and where was that,
You saw
there's
all
no
these,
drop off.
Right. You saw all these MSP
Right.
players stepping
Like,
their
you know
shit
what I mean?
up.
Like teams will come up, then they'll have a little drop off. Like Team Scrub was on some shit, but it had a little drop off.
Major
People started
drop off.
picking it
Yeah,
up.
major. Yeah.
You know what I mean? MSS had its shit when it was beating the Santhraxes.
Dropped
But
off.
then Santhraxes start getting a little better with the matchup, so it kind of dropped off. It's still good, still solid, but it's not like, okay, I'm going to just pick MSS against Santhrax, that's the win. It's not like that no more. Right? But MSP, no drop off. Like that team just went up and up and up. And then, like, you know, you have a lot of people that try to X copy, rightfully so. Now, I mean, if you see somebody get results,
It's good shit. It's good shit. Take that shit.
Right,
exactly,
right.
exactly.
Right.
But that people have more confidence and they have more faith in the team. You know what I mean? The team was glass, but now they're like, okay, you know what? Some people would lose with MSP back in the day, switch their team. Nah. They losing with MSP, they picking it right back. They picking it right
Yo,
back.
that's crazy. Just to piggyback on what you're saying, Chris. So years later, and this is when I wasn't playing Marvel 2 at all, where like this when Marvel 3 was popping, I was streaming and shit. People would jump in my chat that was still playing Marvel 2. It's like, yo, dude, Yipes, I don't know how you did it against Santhrax.
Yeah.
That matchup is fucking annoying. Like what you did. And mind you, I'm like, y'all talking about Marvel 3, Marvel 2, like you don't see what I'm playing?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was already moved on. You know what I'm saying at the time. But for people that don't know, who brought me into Marvel 2 was that guy over there. You know what I'm saying? That's the really reason I started playing. He literally just brought me just like, yo, wanna play some Marvel 2? And I was just like, okay. And then ever since I did that, I just never let go. I just kept it in the repertoire after that, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, no, people was actually jumping the stream, and the first matchup they would mention is Santhrax. Like, yo, I can't get in. It's like when my Magneto dies, I can't do anything. This is in the third. And then it sucks because the only information I could give them is like, yo, you know what? Just watch some of my matches on ZachD.com. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it'll give you a little leeway and let you know, because mind you, this is to touch up on what I thought about in terms of privilege, right?
Yes.
In order for me to get good in that matchup, I had to deal with the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's been times I had dreams. I wake up like, Desmond, don't do that to my son. Don't do that to my Magneto. You know what I'm saying? Like it was bad. Like it was something like mind you, I used to work in a New York Stock Exchange as a porter. I used to strip and wax the floors, right? And while I'm stripping and wax the floor, I'm like, damn, why my Magneto keep getting clapped like that? Like, it was shit like that, yo, bro. On a daily on my job.
You're thinking about it at work, right?
I'm stripping and waxing and shit.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
man.
Fucking, the Caucasian folks are stepping over my floor, and I'm telling them, yo, please, can you step it over? It's like, oh, sorry. And then they fuck my whole shit up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they fucking and this is the racist folk. I'm not saying all Caucasian is racist, but I just had to share that shit. Mr. No Frills, but I talk about whatever the
No
fuck I like.
frills,
It's my
man.
show, our show.
Fucking
all right,
say it, shit.
BTM's fucking show. So if
Say
I say
that
about
shit.
Caucasian males, yeah, those guys is being racist. I will fucking strip and wax the floors, and I tell these guys, there was shit saying, please do not step on the wet floor, and they did it anyway. Fuck you guys and your crocodile shoes and your motherfucking crooked ass glasses. You guys can eat a fucking, you guys can eat a Lexington Steel for all I give a fuck, all right? Fuck you guys. But
Get
there
a
was the
pet.
nice guys, though. They would say, like, oh, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? But anyway, it is what it is. It is what it is. But while I was stripping and waxing those floors, I would think about it, I'm like, yo, why the fuck am I losing like that? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But and that was the turning point when I did go to MSS. I was like, yo, I'm going to MSS, fuck it. And it was working out, but then Justin will come into play. Fuck my shit up, boy. There's some footage. You could go watch that. What ECC was that? I was 10?
That was 10.
Go watch that.
That
Just go
was
watch
10.
ECC 10. Me, Justin Wall. Was it losers finals or that winners?
That was losers finals.
Losers
Sanford
final.
beat him in the winners finals.
Yeah, dog. The way he stomped the mud hole on my MSS because they didn't have a anti-air, that shit was right. And mind you, looking back at the first,
No, that might have been 11.
What, 11?
Justin won that tournament.
So that was
Justin won
11. That was
that
11.
tournament.
Yeah,
Yeah,
10,
'cause
10 Sanford, 110. Yeah,
Sanford
okay.
110. Yeah.
So,
And that was the first time Justin lost.
no. He lost at break point.
Yeah, Justin Wong.
Oh,
lost
the
at
break.
break
No,
point.
I'm
Yeah.
mixing that
It was
up.
it was in the same venue.
it was
but
in the same
this,
venue.
this was
It
a
was
a
a
regional.
break
He lost in
point.
a regional. Yeah.
Know your history because it's important.
That was
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
And that was the
shocked.
first
I
time-
saw God bleed for the first time.
Right.
I seen that, I was like,
that was
yo.
the first time Justin ever lost in the tournament
Now,
in
mind you-
forever, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he was 4 years undefeated.
Just to give you guys a little insight, that actually motivated me to say that I can beat Justin. Shout out to Sanford Kelly, because that guy at that time, guys, he didn't lose for 4 years straight. You tell me.
Yeah, Sanford finally did it. He did.
Imagine seeing a guy win for 4 years straight. You don't see that nowadays.
No,
No.
you don't.
You'll
You know,
never.
like Sonic, like Sonic, for example, he'll have his streaks, but then he'll get cut short. You know what I'm saying? Chris G will have his streaks in Marvel 3, get cut short. Justin, 4 years, dominance.
It took
Bust ass.
it took forever to Chris G to win a Marvel 3 Evo.
And I'm like, man, and mind you, it had us like, man,
Right?
Yeah.
if I can't catch this guy, there's like no winning. And then my stone sucked at the top. Stop. I'm not beating that guy.
That's
You know what I'm
crazy.
saying? But yeah, Sanford beating Justin that tournament.
Tell me how
Little fire.
tell me what was the feeling that you got that was so prominent to be like, yeah, I can beat this guy. Like, he can bleed. Like, not many times where like you see a top player be like, nowadays it's just expected, right? Because it's just like you see the game, you see like no top players is always dominant for some, like you get a small dominance for like 2 or 3 months, but you'll never get 4 years. So can you guys give me an insight of what it was like seeing that for the first time?
Alright, so
And you guys were there in person,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
I was in a break state when that was happening, man.
right? Because a lot of these guys see it on stream. No,
Yeah. We was
there
in
was
person.
no stream.
So-
you had to be there.
And I'll add a little to it too.
Right.
So when Sanford beat Justin, it was a combination of a lot of things, right?
Right.
And Chris couldn't agree with this. So this is around the time I was coming up and I was getting to become I was just a stick up kid. I was getting nice. You know what I'm saying? And then this was when Chris would set up the setups. You know what I mean? Shout outs to Blue Jays when we went over his crib. It was like me, Blue Jay. I think it was Eric there. I'm not too sure, but for sure I remember in the house it was me, Blue Jay, Matrix, and Sanford. This was literally after Sanford beat Justin, right? And I think it was like a month or 2 months left till Evo 05. Right? And we played this session, whatever the case is. That was like a turning point of me getting good, right? And mind you, I'm riding off of this mentality because I just seen Sanford dethrone God, right? I'm like, yo, Sanford did it. And nobody could tell me different. A lot of people have a lot of opinions about Sanford and his attitude, man. Fuck that. In terms of the hungriest I've ever seen somebody just to beat one man, Sanford was that guy. You know what I'm saying? So yes, I did use him as motivation because I'm like, wow. You know, and mind you, I'm not at the time where I'm trying to prove some shit to other people. I'm trying to prove it to myself because at that time, you know, I'm using my time to get good at that game. I had a job on the side, you know what I mean? And all I did, and I ain't had no girlfriends and shit at the time. I wasn't really responsible with anything other than just, you know, supplying food on the table for my family. You know what I mean? But in terms of what I had in a hobby was just getting nice in Marvel too. So when I seen Sanford do it, right, just to answer your question, I was like, holy shit, he could bleed. Then I thought about it. I was like, and mind you, we've seen Justin lose before, like in winners finals, but it's about who could put the nail in the coffin, who could finish the job. Right. You know what I mean?
And he always ended up winning the tournament.
Yeah.
Right.
So Sanford finished the job.
So many close calls too. Like
right?
him and Sanford consistently went down to the last fucking game.
Now, mind you,
it's sick.
And I'm not taking no credit for Sanford's win at all, whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? But that leeway, there was a point in time where he was just fighting nothing but Mag, Storm, Psylocke, and who was he playing? He was playing me. But this not to say that I had the same strategy as Justin. He just figured it out that MSP could do more. You know what I'm saying? And literally, I saw Sanford play with a different aggression against Justin Wong, only because he played me so much in the matchup, right? And we're not even talking about Storm 7 when they ended up with fighting those shits. We was talking about when they got to the MSP Chris. Remember, when they ended up in finals, that mirror match was happening a lot. You know what I'm saying? And he was super fucking, like, he was already good, but he just got better and sharper because I guess he just seen what MSP was really capable of.
I see.
You know what I mean? And he literally just stuck to his guns because I always picture, no, Breakpoint, he beat him with Thrax, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So, no, I'm talking about ECC. No, I'm just throwing my whole story out there. That's how you know there's so much history.
Breakpoint, like the
Breakpoint was Santhrax. He beat him with MSP at
Max
ECC.
Storm Commando. And then, like, it got down to, like...
See, I had my whole shit fucked up. Look at
the
that.
very last game was Santhrax mirror match.
I'm talking about ECC. Okay.
Wow,
See, I keep thinking... Yeah. So, all right. So, no, but basically just... So I got motivated by Sanford, right? Then leading to Evo, I was playing Sanford, Chris, and Blue Jay heavy, right? And it was a turning point for me because, remember, I used that win that Sanford did against Justin as motivation. There was a turning point where, like, that session is when I realized I was actually, like, pretty good. Right? Am I lying, right, Chris? So then fucking Sanford literally told me, he said, yo, I think you're getting second place at Evo. He didn't even say I was winning. He just said, yo, I think you're going to get second place. And I was like, really? Now, mind you, at the time, I didn't give a fuck about results. The result to me was getting better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if I pay attention to getting better, then the numbers don't even matter. Right? So I ended up going to that Evo, and I beat Justin, right? And I literally got second place. I lost to Duck Doe, sure, but that's how you know that's how much confidence Sanford had in me. So that gave me more confidence in myself. So it's like, you know, I can improve, you know? So that did wonders for me because it literally showed me that hard work goes a long way. Hard work and patience go a long way because I seen Sanford lose to Justin so many fucking times. I'm talking about for like 2 years straight. I came in the scene for 2 years straight. I saw, and this is, when I came in the scene, Justin was undefeated for 2 years, right? And then I seen his dominance for 2 more years. You feel me? So I'm like, damn, like this guy's that fucking good. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
So I was very fortunate to have a great backbone of players to get me to that level. Because I feel like if I didn't have those backbones of players, I would not be Justin. That's just real shit. So it's very fortunate that I ended up in the New York scene. Very fortunate. You know what I mean?
was the epitome of perseverance. You know what I mean? It was always like, damn, if anybody's gonna get him, it was gonna be Sanford. When I first came and I watched them both play, Sanford was always more flashy than Justin. So before I had an understanding of the game, like I would see Sanford creaming everybody, destroying everybody, bust ass, 30-win streaks on the cabinet, like at will. Damn. And looking good doing it too.
Real good.
Like clearly showing like he's better than everybody else and the ability that he had, right? And then I would see Justin with the same thing, right? Bust ass, but it wasn't as flashy. So I used to be like, I'm like, how was Justin better than this guy? So Desmond was like, yo, listen, trust me. He's like, Chris, all that is fine and dandy, but when he stands before this freaking kid, like all that shit is over. I'm like, all right. I just can't see it.
Can't see it.
I can't.
And mind you, this is Chris Matrix with no lick of experience.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
I'm like, I can't. I'm like, nah, he's better. Like this man is.
It's like an
eye
eye
test.
I'm not gonna lie.
It's like an eye test.
I'm not gonna lie. If I was in your shoes and I seen that, I probably would have said the same thing.
Yeah, I'm
See
like,
all that flash
I'm
shit.
like,
Like,
no way.
how the fuck is he losing to Justin,
I'm
right?
like, no way. Like he's beating people in style, right?
And it's crazy because the mentality you have, you come from ball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you see people that are clearly better than other people.
And then
Yeah.
it is in ball. There's an eye test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually the flashy player is the better player.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
sometimes
In terms of who has a bag, the
Right.
bag
Yeah.
of skills. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I see it from perspective. Like, yo, I'm looking at the eye test. I'm like, yo, he's doing way more shit than he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
And
but,
yeah, for
he's
sure.
winning.
but
So
the
you
win,
said-
but
when you
the
said-
wins are reflecting though. Like Sanford is on the game and outclassing everybody that's to the left of him.
Right.
But I never seen him play Justin yet. Because like it was that mutual like, all right, we're the best two dudes here. Like
Right.
when you doing your thing, I'm gonna leave you alone. When I'm doing my thing, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna interrupt your streak right now.
Right.
So everybody's good. Like when everybody's like whipping around the screen doing shit, but Sanford was just different. He's just different.
He was.
He was cooking dudes. I'm like, damn.
Bro,
I'm like,
I felt the damage of his gameplay and the combos.
yeah.
Like the way that Sanford played was so aggressive. I'm like, damn, I know if this fucker hits me, I'm going to lose man life.
And what added to it was the way he hit buttons. Anybody knows how Sanford like.
He'd be like,
So you know what I mean? So like all of that, I'm like, all right, like yo, there's no way.
There's
Like,
no way, right.
He could beat Justin. He's better than him, right? Des was like, Chris, listen to me. So they finally, Sanford was like, Justin's watching. He's like, yo, play. You know how Sanford, yo, play.
I'm playing.
So Justin's like, okay. So Justin walks to freaking Sam with the little Justin walk. He gets his token, right? So I see him put it in at the same time Sam was on the game. So I said, oh shit. The first time I seen him, I'm like, oh, he's gonna play him, right? So and Des was like, said. So I said, all right, boom, right? So boom. I forgot what teams they had. It might have been like a Team Row mirror match, right? So get ready to kick butt. Boom, Sanford hits him, right? Boom, got him in a rhyme infinite. Boom, Sanford doing Sanford shit. Resets him, dead. First character, dead. I'm like, see, I know, right? And Justin's like, all of a sudden, Jay got cable in it. Boom. For some strange reason, I'm just like this. I'm just stuck. I'm stuck, right? I'm stuck. And then Sanford, right that moment, Sanford turned mortal to me. Like, and that's not to take nothing away from him, but I was looking at him in some other
he was the guy. He was that guy.
Yeah.
He was that guy. Yeah.
And Justin won that game. I'm like, yo, how the fuck did he still win this game? Like, you know what I mean? Like, the thing about Marvel 2 is like, okay, you could be down a character, but it's still winnable.
Right.
But in my eyes, how fast he died, I felt like it was over, right? So him making that comeback and winning that game, I was like, what the fuck? So then you know, they play some more. And Justin stopped losing his character first. And then the shit just got lopsided. Next thing I know, it was 12-0. And then Sanford just like, I can't beat you. He started picking different teams, everything like that. And then he said, what am I doing wrong? That was always the end of the shit. Like, what am I doing wrong? Then
Did Justin actually answer? Okay.
Yeah. That was his protege. So I was like, yo. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, yo, what is this? Like, how is he beating him like this? How is he able to hit him in these situations? Like, how is he able to dominate this guy like this? So then freaking Des was like, listen, I told you, like, it's a difference.
Now, just to piggyback on what Matrix is saying, just to add a little more sauce to this, right?
That's
crazy. So it took me, no bullshit, 2010 to realize why Justin was so good. It took me to 2010. Like, this is when I got a chance to really see how he fleshed out his skills, to see what he played and all that shit. And then it finally hit me. I said, yo, this guy is just that much better fundamentally sound than all of us.
Yeah.
Right?
Sanford throws a lot of punches, right? Justice's punches land.
Mayweather shit.
Those punches
Mayweather
land.
shit.
That was and that was like the main difference.
He was
like,
Pacquiao. Sanford was Pacquiao.
No
real
wasted
efficient.
movement.
But in terms of
nothing.
who was the counter puncher,
Those
it was
punches
Mayweather.
landed.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And then like moving on, right? My first major tournament was ECC 8. And you know, like I'm engulfed in like top players and people from different regions. Like, shout out to
Right.
Michael Mix-Up, like, you know what I mean? He became
Different
my Marvel
styles.
hero, you know what I mean?
Different styles.
He was playing Magneto Super Cyclops. That he's the reason why I play that team also, right? So I'm like, okay, you know, like he's showing me that he can play something different, because to me it's just corny. Everybody picking the same shit. You know what I mean? So he's showing me that he can win with something. He can play something a little different, and he can win. So I'm like, damn. So like, and then his drive, like I like people that have like a sick drive, and you know what I mean, like really like to dive into games and shit like that. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, boom. So he's playing. Josh Wickford was on his shit. You know what I mean? He's playing, like, people were there, and like now I get to see like what makes Justin, right? Because now he's put to the test in my eyes. So boom. After seeing Justin dominate in casuals and things like that, now he's at a major, and there's some other killers. Boom, boom, boom. So I'm like, all right, you know, let me see like why he's so good and shit, like why he's always a favorite. Because people are going to tournaments and they're like, oh, Justin's here, he's probably gonna win. I'm like, what kind of shit is that? What you mean he's probably gonna win? Yeah,
Right.
I'm like, bro, you playing the same shit. You got hands, right? You breathe, right? You got a heart, right? It's like, so.
And mind you, again, this is no serious experience in fighting games, right?
Yeah. So
Right.
I'm like, yo, why are they thinking like that? So then I'm watching, and then he's beating everybody. I'm like, okay, damn, damn, how's he blocking that? How's he like avoiding these situations? Like, how's he overcoming this and that? And then like he finally gets put in a losers bracket by Josh Wickford, right? So then I'm like from whenever I seen him lose, he had Team Bro, Josh had MSP, of course. So I'm like, damn. I'm like, I think he's done. Like he's probably not gonna win this tournament. And then Des was like, he gets powered up when he goes to the losers bracket. So I'm like, all right. So I'm like, what up? So I'm just like, I'm shocked. I'm like, I don't think he could come back from this shit. He plays Mix-Up, and I've been seeing what Mix-Up was doing to people all weekend. Right. So I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I don't think he beat them. Then Desmond doesn't want Mix-Up to win. We're against Mix-Up because he's from Florida, and we're from New York. And listen, the shit.
I heard the story in one of the other podcasts. It was like Desmond was like, "Yo, Mix-Up cannot win, no matter what." And I was like,
if you watch that match, you can hit Desmond in the back.
This
like,
is serious.
I don't believe this shit. Like, he did not want somebody from Florida to freaking win, right?
Oh,
so
man.
I mean, Mix-Up got Justin in a freaking ROM, and he makes a bad decision.
Yeah.
Boom. And then after that, Justin just leaves Earth. I'm like, all right, boom. I'm like, damn, I can't believe he overcame that. So now he has to play Josh Wickford in the grand finals. So grand finals is 4 out of 7.
Right.
He got to win 2 sets. I'm like, I just watched Josh bust his ass. You know what I mean? But then now Justin picks his shit. So now I'm seeing like eight games of Justin picking Storm. So then I'm watching and I'm just in fucking awe, bro. You would think like it was a little kid like watching a superhero save somebody. You know what I mean? I'm like, I can't believe like he's this good. He's this good, and I mean, he's overcoming this, and he want to beat Josh 8-1. Bust ass.
It's 4 out of 7 finals, mind you.
And nigga Josh is just like, I can't be to do 8 games, man. I can't be to do 8 games. So I'm like, damn. So now from that point, I'm oh, okay. Now I get it. I get why people feel the way they feel about him.
And then you continue seeing his dominance afterwards,
yes.
right? He went an Evo. I'm sure you went an Evo after that tournament.
Yeah.
And won.
Yeah.
That was your first Evo, correct?
Yes.
Yes, 03.
Yes,
Yes.
03. Yes.
03.
So like it's just sick. Like when you start to have a real understanding of something and how like that revelation just comes to you. You know what I mean? So then like with that that's why I can see like how Yipes changed the meta, because how MSP was. You know what I mean? MSP was not winning shit. It just wasn't. Like it gets you past a little certain point, but then like at the end, it just wasn't nobody was cutting the mustard. It just wasn't winning.
Right. And you had to be in the game, you had to be in the community to understand why the meta's changed, right?
Right.
It's like back in the day, I'll equate this to NBA, right? Because, you know, I love the NBA. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, one of the greatest players, if not, I call him the greatest player of all time, you know, because he did something that most players don't do, is play the game so well that he changed the meta of the game during his time. They made the game harder for him to flourish, right? And I feel like that's something what you just said about him.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
The big man was overpowered.
Right.
And he won on all 3 levels: high school, college, and NBA.
Right.
That man is a winner.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the greatest basketball player of all time. I don't care what anyone says.
Damn.
I mean, I humbly disagree, but
Wow.
I respect it though. No. I respect.
I mean,
He got
I
the
know.
most, he got the most points in the NBA right now. It's true.
I respect
In
it.
terms
He's
of
the greatest
leading
high school.
scorer
He's
of
the
all
greatest
time,
high
yeah.
school player. He's the greatest college
yeah,
player.
yeah.
You're not
Kareem
gonna.
is the most accomplished.
The hook shot was cheap. The hook
Kareem
shot was
is the
cheap.
most accomplished.
Nobody could stop the hook shot. Shit was cheap.
Here we
Yeah.
go.
That shit was cheap.
Here we go. Yeah, I said it.
Listen. That's not a blasphemous
coming from-
statement, though.
It's not.
It's not.
Coming from a 29-year-old who's seen Kobe,
that's
Jordan,
fair.
and LeBron.
That is fair.
Okay, look at it like this. Okay. So on
Yeah, we
paper,
going there.
Kareem look like he's
We
that
going
guy, right? On paper, right? How many rings Kareem have?
6.
Same as Jordan.
And he
No,
has
no.
5.
He's
he has 6 rings.
more accomplished
5
than Michael Jordan. He
regular
is.
MVPs
Okay, no. It's true. All right.
and 2 Finals MVP.
He
was
won on
one
every-
we're
where
gonna dig
he was
into
He
it.
won
40
on
years
every
old.
level of basketball. Like, that's crazy. That is
So about
sick.
Kareem?
Yes.
So when the metas changed, he was on it.
Yeah.
Oh,
he
yeah.
won it. He won in high school, college,
And they banned the
NBA.
dunk.
Okay, yeah,
they
yeah.
banned the dunk in college because he was too dominant. You know that, right?
Yeah, it was kind of the same thing with Wilt. They did something similar to Wilt. Yeah.
Same thing with Wilt.
Yeah.
And that's why Wilt kind of like considers Kareem as his like successor,
Right.
right?
Right.
Because like if you want to be honest, I think Wilt's up there too.
Wilt. So the thing about Wilt is Wilt Chamberlain. They literally changed the rules of basketball because of what Wilt Chamberlain was doing. So
Right.
It was ridiculous.
yeah. It was pretty
It
bad.
wasn't
was
because of Bill, because Bill was the team player. He was sharing
Yeah.
the ball. This man had a 100-point game. This man has records that still to this day has
Damn.
not been beaten.
I can't see that record getting broken either. That's gonna be tough.
You said
100
what?
points.
Playing plumbers, it don't count.
He was playing
Oh
plumbers.
shit!
That's
I
crazy.
Shit, say that
I mean-
loud. He was playing plumbers.
Ruby says he was playing plumbers.
playing
Hey,
plumbers.
you know what? Hey, you know what? It
My
is
man
what it
younger than me,
is.
he knew that. I ain't know that.
It's crazy.
Footage out there.
I mean, but that's.
It's a,
Listen,
it is a
listen,
lot of
but
footage.
that-
It is
that's
a lot of
who was
footage out
there.
there.
That's who was there. That was the meta. I mean,
It was plumbers.
so like this is so look. I'm not mad at you for that statement, right?
Okay.
And I understand,
shit.
but this is why I humbly disagree.
Let's go.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
Jordan, I feel, survived. He thrives in every meta. You can put Jordan today. He's gonna average 40, 45 points a game, easy.
All right. I'm gonna say,
Kareem today.
okay.
He'll do his thing. The skyhook is still militant, but he's gonna get cooked by some of these big men. Real shit. He's gonna get cooked by some of these big.
I mean,
men.
he was a little scrawny at the time. They wasn't built like they was now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know what I mean?
100%. Okay.
He's gonna get.
I'll give you that.
and The
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
All right. So the fact that the game is different also is gonna kind of work
Oh, it's
against.
gonna get
it, you know what I mean?
interesting. Yeah, okay.
So now I'm not saying that.
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying that Kareem is not the type of player that won't be able to adjust, right?
Right.
But Michael Jordan, that man adjusts his game. No matter what the meta is, he will adjust his game. The 3 ball is prevalent now.
Mid range is so classic
Michael
though.
Jordan was not a bad 3-point shooter. He was an average 3-point shooter for what the percentage was back
For
then.
the percentages, yes.
You know what I mean? So
I agree with that.
And like
But that wasn't his go-to though.
everything, yeah. But everything
Yeah.
that Michael Jordan wasn't great at, he worked on it and became great at it.
Okay.
So if Jordan played now and he sees that, okay, this is what we doing, we shooting threes, Jordan
This
will
is
become
facts. This is
a
facts. This is
3-point
facts. This is
shooter.
facts.
All right. So I'm gonna say 2 things. So Kareem never
Hold on,
had.
just really quick before you say that, I respect the fact that LeBron James is not in this conversation. Continue.
I respect LeBron James.
Hold on,
I respect
hold on,
him.
hold on. Why do you respect that?
Because he doesn't belong in this conversation.
Okay.
Not now.
Not in terms
Not
of
now.
the GOAT.
Not right now.
Not until he's done. We'll wait till he's done,
we-
and
and
then we
then
can
we'll
have that
start talking about-
conversation.
To me, that ship
Yo.
has sailed.
Yeah.
That ship has sailed.
That's
Yo,
just.
are you
that's,
hearing this?
That's just being. That's just
Yo,
being
you hear
mature.
this?
That's just being mature and just saying, well, we'll see what his career ends with, and then we can work on that. But the 2 men that we're talking about already had their careers ended. So, and they already had their history made. They already had cemented like history, right? So the one thing I'll say about Jordan, right? Jordan never had rules pinned against him. Kareem did. Jordan had rules to make sure he had flourished more. Kareem never had that. Kareem had that twice in college and in the NBA.
The bad boy Pistons, the Jordan rules. Kareem didn't have to deal with that. Kareem had Magic Johnson and James Worthy.
You're right.
This is true.
But
The Jordan rules, those shits were brutal.
But then you're right.
For a little scrawny 205 pound,
Kareem
6'6"
won
guard.
his first year coming in with a lesser than Oscar Robertson though.
Yo, Ultimate, I'm sorry, B. The Pistons sent Jordan to the gym, B. Shit was different, bro. Jordan got his weight up, and all of a sudden, shit was a little. And Pippen just started getting, and Pippen got on his stride too.
For sure, you're right. But then Kareem
Jordan
was
had
going
straight
back to
bombs
back
on
with the
his team.
Celtics, who swept the Jordan with the Bulls.
But Kareem had a Hall of Fame team. Kareem didn't go back to back with them
Right,
Celtics
but
with nobody.
Kareem had to work for that because Kareem had 8 years of having no All-Star.
Hold on. Who
Other than Oscar Robertson.
Jordan was the same though. He had druggies in his team.
Who was on Jordan's team? His first.
All right,
I don't remember nobody that
You're
was on
right.
Jordan's rookie team.
You're right.
We know.
But the only reason why
feeding Johnny. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Remember
Nobody that was in the Bulls
Kareem's
besides
first
Jordan.
year in the Lakers? Remember Kareem's first year in the Lakers? The reason why they didn't make the playoffs is because of the regional rules. If the same rules that had applied today, Kareem would have been in the playoffs and he probably would have went to the finals.
Talking points.
Just
True.
saying.
But
Those rules was kind of obscure back then.
Hold on. But that's facts, right? That's facts. But let me say this though. Right?
Okay.
Right?
Oh, let me get my.
And Kareem, of course,
Pass it over here.
and of course,
Pass it over here, come on.
Kareem is still number one on the points.
I mean, that's a scoring thing.
I'm just saying.
I mean, I can't take that.
Okay.
It's on paper.
No.
It's on paper.
Defensively, Kareem was better too. Just saying.
It's debatable right there.
That's debatable.
That is
but
debatable. Jordan,
I still think
Jordan led the league in steals 3 times and has a Defensive Player of the Year
First
award
off,
and was all defense, I think, 9 times. So,
Yeah. I was just touch up on that. Yeah. No, this is you.
But hold
This is
on.
this Chris.
But what I was gonna say though, right? All right. So when Kareem was squatted up, right? Mm-hmm. Like you said, he was going back and forth with the Celtics, right?
Right.
Here you go. Before we go on, cheers to many years, guys.
Yes, sir.
Ultimizers, thank you for being an incredible fucking guest. This is amazing.
course. Yeah,
It's this type of shit we like to talk about, man. No frills,
I
baby.
love this shit.
All right, so go ahead.
Yeah.
Kareem was squatted up, like you said, going
Right.
back and forth with the Celtics, right?
Right.
Back and forth.
I'm learning something, shit.
Back and forth.
Right.
So you had other people eating
That's
when
true.
Kareem was squatted up.
Right.
Pistons there, Celtics there eating, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When Michael Jordan started winning, who else was eating?
Correct. You're right.
Nobody.
Right.
Nobody.
Johnny knows biscuits.
Nobody.
But
Nobody.
no
one. And then, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
All right. Hurry.
Finish
this for rebuttal.
My man Jordan started picking up
Host versus
picking up
guest.
baseball bats.
Right.
You know what I mean? Striking out,
Then-
rocking a
then
new number, different
Hakeem
training.
came along. Right.
You know what I mean?
He
Yeah.
won 2 years.
All
I got something about Hakeem.
All of
I
a
wanna
sudden,
say.
it was some food for some people, right?
As a
All
Knicks
of a
fan, right?
sudden.
No, we don't talk about that.
Oh, okay.
We don't
Yeah.
talk about that.
All of
I
a
was a
sudden,
Knicks
all
fan.
of a
Delay
sudden,
up.
there's food for people, right? Mm-hmm. Jordan comes back,
Yeah. Wins 3 more.
nothing. You get nothing. No rice, no soy sauce, no champagne. You get nothing till I finish eating.
Shouts to Pay the Fool.
You know what I mean? Kareem couldn't do that.
Okay.
And he
well,
had Showtime.
So here's one thing that Kareem did that Jordan will never do is win a Finals MVP at the age of 38.
I mean,
Michael Jordan will never do that because
what Jordan
you know
had
why?
when he was 36? But
Well,
you
was
seen
it
the
30s?
Last Dance. You know what happened.
Right. Yeah, we know what happened.
They coulda kept going.
The Wizard years, and he looked all washed
No,
up.
come on, my man.
He got
come
you
on,
there,
man.
bro. He got
my
you
man
there,
put
bro.
on. He put on about 20 pounds.
First off, management fucked up that theory. Let's put it like that.
Okay, for sure.
Management fucked that up.
All right.
We know, and then
Come
when
on.
hold on. When Kareem did that though, was he finals? Was he the main guy? He did his thing in the finals.
But who was passing him the rock though? Magic. He was feeding people. He was the one feeding. Who was delegating the matchups though when it came to the
Showtime,
Bulls?
James
It was
Worthy.
Jordan.
For sure. But here's the thing, though.
I don't know,
Even considering there was
I don't
one
know,
year, they won the championship and it should have went to Kareem and they gave it to Magic because let's be honest,
facilitated the game.
No,
man.
but Kareem wasn't that
when Kareem
media
didn't play
guy.
that game 7. When Kareem didn't play and Magic
Right. Exactly. But
If Michael
Kareem
Jordan
did.
didn't
But
play Game
Kareem
7,
did all
they
the
are
work
losing.
the first 6 games though.
Yeah, okay, but
He was
Mike,
dominant the first 6 games. He should have got the Finals MVP.
But if Michael
he's
Jordan
not
does
MVP
not play a
worthy.
game,
We got a laptop here. Let me look at
if
the
Michael
accolades.
Jordan
Let me see
doesn't
something.
play a Game 7,
look at the
the Bulls are not winning.
You're right.
All right.
You know why? When Michael Jordan didn't play, the Knicks beat them in Game 7.
Right.
We couldn't get over the hump, but when he wasn't there, we beat him. We got him.
Mm-hmm.
We got him.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jordan, 2 3-peats.
Hold on, I got you. Keep talking. Hold on.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna say. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, one of the best at keeping their bodies like at tip-top shape all the way till his 40s.
Wait. Hold on. We want to talk about Michael.
Longevity.
We want to talk about Michael Jordan, who
I mean, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is
he
like
played
the
80
pinnacle
games in
of
a
longevity.
season. I think at least 10 times and played all 82 games, at least like 5 or 6. All 82. Mike, Yipes, do me a favor. Just type in Michael Jordan versus Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in Google, and we're gonna go to Land of Basketball, and we're gonna compare the stats.
Okay. Michael Jordan.
Yes.
Michael Jordan.
yes.
Versus Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
So
Yes.
so your greatest of all time is Michael Jordan.
Clearly.
Clearly.
No debating.
All right, who's number 2 in your list?
Ooh.
Who's your wait? Better yet, who's
might
your
have-
top 5?
That's too hard.
I got you.
You got a top 5?
Go to
I have
see-
a top
You
5.
see something that said Land of Basketball or
Excuse me. Where?
landofbasketball.com? Let me
Oh,
see.
landofbasketball.com.
No. It should pop up there.
Let's see. I don't see shit.
The comparison.
I don't see nothing.
Okay. Hold on. I got you. Hold on.
No, hey, here.
Oh,
Hey.
reach?
Yeah. Okay. Here you go, buddy. Hold on. No, it'll come back.
We got the
Shout out to ASUS, of course.
yeah.
for
You're gonna
blessing
get
us
the
with
facts here.
This is why,
You're gonna
guys.
get the statistics.
This is why situations like this, we have the laptop. For shit like this. That's why you see it. Obviously,
Because
we
back
have
in
it
the
look
day, barbershops never had technology like this.
Yeah.
So they had to go
Go ahead.
about their own knowledge, right? We can just look up the stats.
All right, so before Chris cuts me on, because I know
Right.
he's gonna prove his point, because that guy's very militant when it comes to proving his point.
I
look,
respect that.
So look, no, that's healthy
respect
arguments.
that.
That's what it is. Healthy debates. Not
Healthy.
arguments.
Healthy.
Okay.
Yes.
So we could talk about this afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Hakeem Olajuwon is better than Shaquille O'Neal. Now you guys might think different, but we'll talk about it right afterwards. So let's talk about this first.
I agree.
Okay, but it's a reason why though. In terms of championship, cool, Shaq got it.
Nope.
We'll get there.
I'm not even going to talk about that.
We'll get there.
I just agree.
We'll get there.
I do agree.
Oh,
we'll get there,
that's
we'll get there. I got
fine.
you.
The dream?
I got you.
The
'cause I
dream,
fuck with
the
Hakeem.
dream was OD.
I got the. I
But
got
guess
you.
who's number 1 on the dreams plate on the list? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Some of the OGs they say Kareem and Will are better than Jordan. I've
Yo,
heard this. You know who
Kareem is
said,
OD.
You know who said that's better than who's better than Jordan? Isaiah Thomas. He was like, and obviously we're gonna look at it because
Come
of
on,
they
we know
beefs and shit.
Z-
We know. We
we
don't gotta talk
know.
about it. We don't have to jump on it. But he said that Will is the greatest basketball player of all time. That's what he said. He didn't even see Kareem.
I can't disagree. I'll say that.
Oh, I already see the point you're gonna touch. Look how many seasons Kareem had. Look how much Jordan has, and look how much he's accomplished. Yeah, you lost this, bro.
Okay, no. So
No,
look.
This is
We're
really
gonna
bad.
we're gonna break it down logically and scientifically.
But
right?
Okay.
all right, but look,
Now look.
just seeing that. That's just,
Okay.
that's everything.
Now look.
Go ahead.
Listen. Now, when it comes to the category of longevity, Kareem's played 20 seasons. Michael's played 15. Okay. Kareem has the category of longevity, right? 6 championships each, right? Mm-hmm. All right. NBA seasons 20. Michael Jordan 15. Playoffs played 18 for Kareem, 13 for Jordan. Okay. Once again, Jordan has only 15 seasons where Kareem has 20. Right? All-Star games. These are all longevity stats. You know what I mean? Because he played more. 19 to 14, right?
Mm-hmm.
Season MVPs, Kareem does have the edge slightly, 6 to 5, right? Finals MVPs, Kareem has 2. Michael Jordan has 6. Meaning that the reason that they won the finals was always because of Michael Jordan. Where the reason that the Lakers won the finals was always because of Kareem.
Now,
That one
2
game,
of
though.
those finals MVP that Jordan won, it's
It's what?
What's was better on the team?
Wait, no, hold on. What?
I give one of those to Scottie Pippen
Stop.
and one of those
Stop.
to Dennis Rodman.
Stop.
No, I'm sorry, brother.
The blasphemy.
I'm sorry,
Stop.
brother.
Dennis
You lost me on
Rodman,
that one.
Dennis
You-
Rodman?
I was with you. You lost me on that one. You
I'm
lost
sorry,
me on
brother.
Do not.
Okay,
do not
okay.
compare any
We'll keep
bull
going. We keep
to
going.
Michael Jordan.
We'll keep going.
All right. Stop.
I was playing later.
That was kind of blasphemy.
I was
all-
playing. I was
All
explaining
NBA
later.
first teams, they both tied at 10, and Kareem has clearly played more seasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then let's keep in mind that Kareem is a big man, so he has big
Advantages.
Big men are always gonna have a job in the league because they're big. You know what I mean? They don't have to move much. Michael Jordan was a shooting guard, and he was only 6'6".
Correct.
All right.
Yeah.
So all NBA team selections 15-11. All defensive first teams, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar 5.
And that's a big man.
Michael Jeffrey Jordan 9.
He said the whole name.
Yeah, that's Jeffrey.
Defensive Player of the Year award, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar 0 because I believe they weren't doing it.
They weren't doing it at the time
Right.
when he came in.
Michael Jordan has 1 Defensive Player of the Year award.
They select like a lot of like the YouTubers, right?
all defense first team? 5.
Mm-hmm.
No, not.
Okay, so now let's
But
talk.
but that's the thing about the defense, right? Because they weren't collecting those stats when Kareem started.
Right.
So they were suspecting that Kareem would be Defensive Player of the Year like at least 3-4 times.
Possibility, yeah. I'll give them the benefit
Possibility,
of that, yeah.
right? They didn't start that stat, I think, until like
Scoring leader.
78, until the ABA, until the ABA.
So they merged. They merged.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Scoring leader. Now we know Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the all-time scoring leader. He has the most points, right? But the man's played 20 seasons. Jordan has played 15. So when you compare players, you want to talk about their peaks. Scoring leaders. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar led the league in scoring 2 times. Michael Jeffrey Jordan, 10.
I mean, well, so
10.
No, okay.
In
all right.
less seasons, he
Okay.
more. What is that?
So
What is that? A
maybe-
500%?
Shit.
Okay. So
See.
maybe that says something. Maybe Jordan was playing weaker competition compared to Kareem. We can argue that.
No, sir. No,
Oh.
no shot.
No?
No shot.
No?
No shot.
Okay.
Rebounds leader,
'Cause they had
obviously,
the
that's going to be
expansion teams at
Kareem.
that time. I'm just saying.
Kareem Abdul led the league in rebounds 1 time. Michael Jordan never. Okay, no, that's fine. That's fair.
That's not in his position.
Exactly.
We can't even count that.
Steals leader, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar 0, but there's an
count that
asterisk
neither.
there,
We
right?
can't count that.
It's an
either.
asterisk.
We can't count that. We can't count that.
I'm going to see what those asterisks mean because there's one here too.
Right.
Michael Jordan led the league in steals 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
3 times is OD.
Okay.
Damn.
Blocks.
Michael fucking
Hands
Jordan.
down, that's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He led the league in blocks 4 times. Michael Jordan has never led the league in blocks, but I think he might be the all-time blocks leader
guard?
for a guard for at his position.
Not James? No, he's a small forward. Excuse me.
He's small forward. Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Sorry.
No, Defensive Player of the Year is awarded since 1982. Blocks and
And
steals
Kareem
started
came
to be
in in
recorded
1971.
in 1973-74. Okay.
Kareem came in as 1971.
Okay, so the
So
steals
it's
were
like-
being recorded.
That's like
The steals were being recorded.
11.
Okay.
That's 12 years without recording that
That's
Defensive
fair.
Player of the Year.
That's fair.
No,
That's fair.
no, there's no bounds to the Kareem. I would say would get 4 or 5 Defensive Player of the Year. I guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
Before
And then
recording
both of
that
them were
stuff.
rookie of the year.
Okay.
Now we're gonna talk about regular season per game stats, right?
Here we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
You about to get cooked.
Points per game. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
Actually, no, it's not that bad.
24.6 points per game. That's impressive.
Say that again. Excuse me.
24.6 points per game. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar
That's very impressive.
Yeah.
A game for his whole career.
per game. Yeah.
Okay.
Michael
Mind you, that's
Jeffrey
20.
Jordan,
That's 20 seasons though.
30.1.
That's 15 seasons.
My man averaged 30 points per game regular season.
Okay.
Rebounds, 11.6. Okay, hey,
That's a position
he's
thing.
7'2".
Yeah, it's a position thing. Yeah.
That is clearly a positional advantage.
I can't count that. Yeah, I can't count that.
But Michael Jordan, 6.2 rebounds at 6'6"
for
and
a guard. Yeah.
It's impressive. Assists per game, 3.6. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Michael Jordan, 5.3.
Impressive for
and
a
that's
big
more.
man.
For
That's more
somebody-
impressive for his stat. Yeah.
And-
Impressive.
And no, but assist that, and considering that he's still scoring 30 points, he's leading the league in scoring and still managing to get 5.3 assists.
Okay. That's good.
Steals per game, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 0.9. So we'll just say about 1. Michael Jordan, 2.3 steals per game. Blocks per game, Kareem, 2.6.
Can't count that.
Michael Jordan, 0.8.
didn't
So
count
he's
that
averaging
stat.
about a block per game at 6'6". Total points.
Oh.
Total points, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 38,387.
Most easy.
20 seasons. Michael Jordan, 32,292 in 5 less seasons.
Ultimizer, that's kind of OD, bro. Like,
All right.
5
Come on,
I
less
give you that.
seasons.
No, I give
Come
you
on.
that. I give you that. I give you that.
That's
I
a
give you that.
longevity stat.
I
These
give you
total
that.
stats are longevity stats. Total rebounds, Kareem 17,000,
Position.
Michael
That-
Jordan
That's
6,000.
way big. Yeah.
But that's his position. Total assists, Kareem
damn.
5,660. Michael Jordan 5,633. 5 less seasons.
That's OD. That's OD.
That's pretty. That's pretty good.
But I mean, I could put.
That's
I
really
could
good.
put that in the same category. It was it was a position.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Okay.
Michael Jordan steals.
Actually, no. Excuse me. That's longevity. No. you're
Total
right.
steals
Right.
for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar 1160. Michael Jordan 2514.
Positions.
Total blocks, Kareem 3189. That's his
And that's-
shit. That's his shit. Michael Jordan 893.
And that's positions. Yeah. We're gonna. Yeah.
Total games. Kareem played 500 more games than Michael Jordan. Can you imagine what Michael Jordan would have did in another 500
Bro,
games?
I swear. Look, and obviously this is all theory. I think Jordan would have been at least an 8-time champion. At least.
Now,
8 times.
okay, let's talk.
Okay.
Let's talk percentages, right? Field goal percentage. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 0.559, over 50%. Very, very excellent percentage. Very good. But you know what the story of that is? The high percentage shots that he's taking is high because he's right at the rim. Most of those are layups, dunks. You know what I mean?
But I mean, they did ban the dunk.
No, but he's taking high percentage shots. Most of
That's
his
why he
shots
had
are
it.
to the rim. He's
I
on the
mean,
paint.
true. But that's why he had to make the skyhook because of that rule.
Okay, fine.
That skyhook
Michael
is cheap,
Jordan,
though.
0.497.
And
cheap.
to get that shot, no
It's
one's
cheap,
ever
it's cheap, it's cheap.
replicated
You can't
that
block
shot.
it either. It's cheap,
Yeah,
cheap,
right.
cheap.
So Jordan,
Only one
Jordan
person blocked that
is Jordan is 50% for his career, and taking tougher shots, fadeaways, mid ranges. You know what I mean? Shooting from further away from the basket, a naturally higher percentage shot. 3-pointers, Jordan clearly has that category. Jordan 3.27% 3-point shooter. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is 0.056, whatever. Free throws, Jordan dominance. But Kareem is not bad. 0.72 is not bad. You know what I mean? It's not great, but it's not bad. Michael Jordan, 83% free throw shooter. All right. So let's talk about the best season. Best season, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 1972, averaged 34.8. That's some shit right there. His best season, you know what I mean? Averaged 34.8. Michael Jordan, 1987, averaged 37.1 points.
87. This is when he was a ball hog, too.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, best season, 16.9 rebounds. That's OD.
That's a position. That's a
Big man,
position
yeah.
thing.
But Michael Jordan still averaged 8 rebounds in 1989 as a 6'6"
That's really good.
guard.
That's really
That's
good.
terrific. That's
really good.
terrific. Assists per game, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, best season, 5.4.
For a big man, not bad at all.
Michael Jeffrey Jordan, 8. Steals per game. And then we talk about the best seasons, 1.7 for Kareem. Pretty
That's
good.
actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, that is
big man,
impressive.
yeah.
For a big
Yeah,
man,
for a
that's
big
very
man, that's
impressive.
pretty good.
But Michael Jordan, 3.2. Now, I'll give Jordan the positional advantage right there. 3.2, though.
Blocks per game, we ain't even gonna count that.
Yeah, blocks, Kareem, 4.1. Michael Jordan, 1.6.
Oof.
All right.
That's actually really good.
Oh,
so look.
For a shooting guard, that's really
That
good.
is good. And now,
Right.
all right, so that was a regular season, ladies
Right.
and gentlemen.
Here we go.
Let's talk about when it counts.
Okay. That's what I was waiting for.
Let's talk about the playoffs.
Playoffs. Offs to play. You're off to play. Yeah.
When it's win or go home.
Right. When it mattered.
You know, Jordan's already been in 6, but it's okay.
Stats per game. Playoff stats. Kareem
It's only been in
Abdul-Jabbar.
6.
24.3 points per game. Michael Jeffrey Jordan, 33.4 points per game in the playoffs. Stop.
Oh.
Rebounds. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 10.5. He got it. Michael Jordan, 6.4.
For a guard.
Yes. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, assists, 3.2.
Not his position.
Michael Jordan, 5.7.
Not his position.
Steals per game. And we're talking about when it counts. One steal per game for Kareem. Pretty good. Michael Jordan, 2.1.
Okay.
Blocks per game, Kareem, 2.4.
Naturally.
He got it. Michael Jordan, 0.9, about 1.
Okay.
Total stats in the playoffs, another longevity stat. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the playoffs, 5,762 total points. Michael Jeffrey Jordan, 5,987
Hold
points
on,
per
beloved.
game.
Hold on, beloved.
Talk to me.
So you mean to tell me in 20 seasons, Kareem averaged 5,762
Points per game in the playoffs when it counts.
for 20 years.
Yes.
Right. But you mean to tell me
Jordan did it less.
Jordan did it less?
He
with
did more and
he has
less.
5,987.
The man's did more and less. Total rebounds, 2481. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, we already know where the rebounds go.
That
But
is
Michael
a
Jordan,
big difference.
1152 as a 6'6" guard.
And doesn't have that many seasons. It doesn't have many seasons over Kareem.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, total assists, 767. Michael Jordan, 1,022.
That's actually super close. If you want to talk about position wise,
I mean,
that's
but
really
but
close.
he did it in less.
He
did it in less.
Yeah, but that's position though.
5
because
seasons
he has the
less.
ball more.
I mean,
he has the ball
He had
more.
5
Don't shoot yourself in the foot.
Come on, man. Michael Jordan has the ball more. Let's be honest. Michael Jordan has the ball more as a shooting guard.
Yo, he loves Kareem. You could tell.
Come on now.
Go ahead,
Come on
go
now.
ahead.
Let's go.
Total
Total
steals,
games, we can't count
189. Michael Jordan, 376. Okay.
Position. That's position advantage.
Total blocks, 476.
Position
Michael
advantage.
Jordan,
Position
158. Total games. So Kareem has played 237 playoff games. Michael Jordan only played 179, and he is outshadowing him.
Okay, let's go to that field.
Let's go to field goal percentage. Like we said, Kareem's shots
Making
are
more-
high percentage shots. So
making more half of his shots.
he's but he's taking easier shots. So Kareem,
It's true. No, it's true.
but
that's not the only thing he's doing,
He's
though.
closer to the basket.
true.
He is
That's the
closer
only thing
to
he's
the
doing.
basket. He's not just doing sky hooks. He's closer to the basket. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, his field goal percentage in the playoffs is .533, above 500. Michael Jordan, .487. We're making more baskets and outshining him. 3-pointers, Kareem has 0. Mike is an average 3-point shooter at .332. Free throw percentage, Michael Jordan clearly 82%.
I'll
Kareem
give him that.
74.
Michael Jordan
But Kareem
is
was
the
decent,
best
though.
free throw playoff player of all time.
All right, so
There's
here's their best playoff game. All right, points per game. Kareem's best playoff scoring, 35.2 points per game, 1970. That's pretty fucking good.
Oh, shit.
Pretty fucking good.
But what about Jordan though?
Michael Jeffrey Jordan, 43.7 points per game, 1986. 43.7 points per game.
Is that the year he dropped 50? No, he dropped 60
In
on
a
the Celtics?
playoff. He's averaging this in the playoffs.
But this is literally. Are we basing this off what year this was?
1986.
That was
got
the year
swept.
that
He
that
got
was the
swept
years
by
they
the
played the
Celtics.
Celtics, right?
He got
Because he
swept.
went off. I mean, he lost. He had a bum team.
He got swept.
But how you averaging 43 points and the 3 ball is not prevalent?
All right, so hold on.
It is straight bus ass. It's straight bus ass. You're averaging 43 in the playoffs. Dudes is not doing that now, and they taking way more threes.
I think they counted that straight off of the Celtics series, though.
That's crazy.
Right.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Go ahead.
Rebounds. Okay, we know Kareem 18.2. That's terrific. I'm not even gonna hold you. I ain't
That's
even gonna
a
hold
lot
you.
of rebounds.
That's a lot of fucking boards, bro. My hat is off. But Michael Jordan, 7.9 rebounds,
which
as
is
a
really
two
good.
Guard.
Which is
That's
really
terrific
good.
as a
90,
two guard.
What, less than-
97,
seasons?
which is 97, which is against
Oh no, this is
the
this
Jazz.
is based
Oh
on the
yeah,
game
yeah,
year,
97.
excuse me.
Yes, that was late.
Yeah.
Assists per game. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 5.1, 1972.
Impressive for a big guy.
Yes, it is. Michael Jordan, 8.5, 1985.
Of course.
They said Jordan can't pass. They forgot when he ran point guard, when he was asked to pass, he averaged a triple-double for 11 straight games. Just saying. When he was asked to do that. When he was asked to.
I
But
give
they
you
said,
that.
we don't need you to pass. We need you to score the basketball.
I give you that,
Steals per game. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 1.7, 1977.
which is really
Very
good.
Very impressive, yeah. For a
For
big
him.
man,
Michael
yeah.
Jordan,
his man.
1990, 2.8 steals per game. He probably led the league in steals that year, too. Playoffs. When it counts. Blocks per game, 4.1. 1979, Kareem. Okay. Michael Jordan, 2.3. Wow. Stop. What is his problem?
So what's the moral of the story? What's the answer? What's the end game here?
It's like I said,
Michael
Kareem,
Jordan has a better peak than
If-
anybody in the
If
history
you want
of
to
lesser
count,
seasons.
if you want to count NBA alone, that's great. But I'm saying that Kareem is the greatest basketball player from everything, from high school. all the way to NBA.
Okay. Yeah. He is more accomplished than Michael Jordan in terms of totality of basketball.
Because Michael Jordan did not become Michael Jordan until, like you said, Bad Boy Pistons, right?
Right. But his peak. No. Michael Jordan was always Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
No, he was always. He came in the
But
league.
he
But
play
he wasn't
the
like
ball.
that. He wasn't like that in
The
college.
Pistons switched it up to where
Right,
he has
right,
to play
right,
team
right.
ball.
Mike got
Okay,
it.
wait,
NBA
Mike has an
NBA
NCAA title.
Jordan,
Bro.
right? College
has a
Jordan is nothing like NBA Jordan,
No,
right?
but
But
he was still great.
Kareem was Kareem all the way till the end.
But I mean, he has some godlike players in the mix, though.
he
like
does. And
Jordan
Kareem-
had
listen.
bums off the
I mean,
rip.
I mean,
Listen,
no.
Kareem
But okay,
was here, right? Kareem was
In the
here,
first
but
year
Jordan
of-
peaked out higher than Kareem.
but other than Oscar Robertson in his first year of his career, because Oscar retired after they won the championship, right? He had bums all the way until he moved to the Lakers, and even in the first few years of the Lakers, he had bums all the way till Magic came on.
I think Kareem, what Kareem has over Jordan, literally, is that he won championships on multiple teams. Most of them obviously was with the Lakers. 5 was with the Lakers. 1 was with the Bucks.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Kareem has longevity.
but he had longevity. That's what I'm saying.
The same
Yeah,
thing
that's what I'm
LeBron
saying.
James
Kareem
has
was
over
already
Jordan is
winning
longevity.
from
That is the only
from
thing that they
high
can
school
have
all
over
the way
Michael is
till-
longevity.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was winning from high school all the way to
Right.
the professionals,
And
high
I will-
school,
I'll-
college, and professionals. You cannot
Right.
take away from that.
I
But I
always,
mean,
and I
speaking of
always give
Jordan,
Kareem
when he
that.
was- when
I
he was
always
in
give Kareem that. But
North Carolina, he got a chip with North Carolina.
listen, yeah. But
Right.
also,
Right.
if we look at when Michael Jordan played, right? Michael Jordan played in the 80s and the 90s, my man.
Those were hard eras. Yeah.
Shit was getting real in the 90s,
Physical, boy.
You had cats coming out with sick handles. You had Tim Hardaway's. You had your Allen Iversons. You had the age of the
Jason
centers.
Williams.
Your knees and
You had-
ankles was working a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You had
yeah.
Patrick Ewing, Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaquille O'Neal, David Robinson, Rick Smits. You know what I mean? Big man
Rick
was
Smits.
prevalent in the 90s.
Yeah.
Shout out to Penny Hardaway. Very, very.
Oh, yeah.
underrated.
He could have been that next guy, but injuries, Grant Hill,
Yeah.
same thing.
Grant Hill.
Mike was in some shit, man. He was in some shit. But nobody ate.
Okay.
People ate on Kareem's watch. Nobody ate when Mike was there.
Oh!
Okay.
Nobody.
I'll give you that.
Say? What you gotta say, bro? 'Cause
I got
on the money.
love for Kareem. I got love for, and I'm gonna give you my top 5 because you did ask that. I got
did.
love for Kareem,
Damn, who is my top 5? Fuck,
but
man.
I got a top
Michael
5. I
Jeffrey
want to ask your top
Jordan
5 too.
I'm gonna think about it on the
is
fly.
literally
Okay.
the Thanos of basketball.
It was inevitable.
But
He was inevitable.
But the Thanos got clipped by some Tony Stark, right?
Team effort.
Team effort.
Yeah.
Team
True,
effort.
true,
Did you
true.
not see the squad? Avengers assemble. But bro, did you not see the portals opening? That shit wasn't that shit wasn't no Tony by himself. That shit was militant.
So my thing about Michael Jordan is he's definitely in my top 5. There's no ifs, ands, buts. If Jordan is not in your top 5, there's something wrong with you.
This facts.
Something wrong with you. because
Very well explained. I see what you're doing, bro. What's this website? We're gonna have to bookmark this.
Land of basketball.
Land of basketball. That's.
That's.
I'm gonna keep this.
I've
up.
never seen stats like compared like that. Which is
Me
crazy.
neither.
You can type in any player, and they'll do a comparison.
If they do a comparison.
Well, I would do
That's
Iverson and Kyrie. See how that looks.
Oh,
No. Iverson is better than
so.
Kyrie. And that's my
I
favorite
will
player.
always choose Iverson over Kyrie because his mentality is always going to be way better than Kyrie's any day. All right, so that's where I stand with that.
Okay.
But when it comes to my top 5, Kareem first, Jordan second, LeBron is third.
Wow.
Yeah, I have to give credit where credit's due. LeBron has been.
Now we're talking about favorites as in like you watch them and they're
Now,
spectacular, or
I'm-
we're going by the statistics that you're impressed
I'm
with?
going from statistics.
Okay.
All right, and Wilt's gonna be 4th, and then Bill Russell's gonna be 5th.
Damn, my man, throwback with this shit. Okay.
Yeah, like I,
You're a fan of the big man. You're a fan of the
I
big
look
guy.
up when it comes to history. If you know me as a person, when it comes to history, I want to know my history when it comes to anything
Okay.
that I'm interested in. When it comes to hip hop, when it comes to FGC, when it comes to b-ball, anything, right? Because knowing your history is just prevalent of just bringing of a better perspective in the conversation, right? Because there's no 29-year-old in the world right now that's going to tell you that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the greatest basketball player of all time. No 29-year-old is going to tell you that. A 29-year-old is going to tell you either Kobe or MJ is going to be the best.
Hell, even LeBron. They wouldn't even think about
Even
it.
LeBron, right? And it's hard to say that Kobe's not in my top 5 because in perspective talk, like Kobe should be my Jordan of my generation because I watch more Kobe than Jordan. But honestly, like Kobe had Shaq. Like Kobe had Shaq. Like Kareem didn't have a Shaq. He had Magic, but that was later in his
Showtime.
career.
Man, showtime for sure.
Right? Jordan didn't have Pippen until later in his career. Right?
I mean, he had Pippen for a while, but Pippen,
Right.
Pippen was
But-
still coming to his own.
Bill Russell was the ultimate team player, and Wilt Chamberlain is the ultimate solo player.
Yeah.
So you have those two, right? So that already
Right.
rounds up my top 5. Sorry. And LeBron kind of like surpassed Kobe. Hate to say it. I give credit where credit is due, but LeBron kind of surpassed Kobe in a
In
way.
terms of what?
In terms of just playing the game and facilitating the game.
Okay.
All right. So, okay, we could go there.
Because
We go there.
when LeBron finishes, we see him as
I just look at like, you know what? Not even to cut you off, Ultimizers. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I gotta interject real quick. If we're gonna make comparisons, right?
But if we're gonna talk about accomplishments, of course, Kobe has
well, no. Well, we don't even. I'm not even talking accomplishments. It was
Right.
just more so.
impact. Or
Yeah, what they
mentality?
brought to the table, both. All right. So the thing about LeBron, damn, that's crazy. We really talk about basketball,
Right. Right.
But it's not a bad thing. We
I
talk about
love
whatever
it.
here.
I
We talk
love
about
this.
whatever. We talk
I
about
love
whatever
it.
here. No Frills
I
podcast.
love
You know how we get down. So
Word.
look. This is how I look at it, right?
Right.
LeBron. When I see LeBron, I see dominance.
Okay.
This is young LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
When I see Kobe, I see cerebral. The thing about Kobe is he was a psycho, bro. Like he cared so much about getting better that if his teammates wasn't showing that same level of
They had to go.
of engagement of how much you spend time of getting better in the game of basketball, he's not even gonna acknowledge you. That's why at one point people were saying, yo, Kobe's a ball hog, or people were saying, yo, Kobe's taking too many shots, and this is in the third. You know, there was a point in time people didn't want to compare Kobe to Jordan because he took more shots than Jordan, but he wasn't making as much shots as
Wasn't
Jordan.
as efficient.
Right.
He wasn't as efficient, but the reason being was because Kobe was really surrounded by bums in certain parts of his seasons. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, he had I think his best year. I mean, I wouldn't even say it's Froby.
Wait, what?
What?
Kobe was not surrounded by bums.
That's what I'm saying.
No. I'm talking about later in his years. Later in his years.
I mean,
I'm talking about 24
After-
Kobe.
you
24.
talking about-
He
you
was with
talking
the Young
about-
Bucks. We talking about when he was with the Young Bucks.
You talking about? You talking about?
Pau Gasol?
You talking about after Pau
bums.
Gasol?
After the championship, we talking longevity, right?
After the two-peat.
Kobe
right?
had
After
teams.
the
Kobe
Kobe
had
Okay,
Kobe
yeah.
had teams. Kobe had teams.
No, he had teams. No. I'm
Yes,
talking about end game.
right.
I'm talking about end game.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I'm talking
No. I feel you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
for
So,
sure. Yeah.
back to what I was saying, right? No, Chris, you're correct. You are correct, brother. You're correct. I'm thinking when he was with the Young Bucks.
When he was with the Young Bucks, that shit was
terrible. This
course.
this is just the comparisons. You know what I'm saying?
right.
But in terms of the most dominant, I would say James. In terms of the most cerebral, I would say Kobe Bryant.
Okay.
So I look at it like that. I can't compare
His
the two.
mentality is just
Yeah, I just can't compare the two. Just off of, I really compare positions. Like I compare.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like what they bring to the table. You feel me? Now this is why I try to make that comparison with Hakeem Olajuwon and Shaq. They're the same position, right? But in terms of who would I trust end game, I would trust Hakeem. We're talking end game.
100%.
Chris, you giving me that face like
Because
No, hold on, let me finish. This is me. This is me and my road dog. Hold on, let me finish.
Here we go.
I'm standing in the back.
I'm standing
When Hack and Shaq started getting serious, right? I mean, there was no stopping them regardless, right? But when Hack and Shaq was getting serious, that just exposed how much Shaq don't got a bag. He don't really got a bag like that. You know what I'm saying? He don't. Can you agree?
Get him.
Yeah.
Can you agree?
He was weak on the free throw area.
He was. But in terms of like a whole bag, in terms of who could finish and stuff like that, in terms of free throws and shit like that, of course, Hakeem had a bag. It was a better bag. But in terms of dominance, obviously Shaq was better. But I personally would give it to Hakeem.
Hakeem was one of the most skilled centers to
I'm
ever
not talking
play
accolades. I'm
the
not
game.
talking none of that. I'm not talking none of that.
I can agree. Hakeem Olajuwon is probably for me. He might be my number one most skilled center in the game that I ever played.
But better center is definitely Shaq.
No. I don't think that at all.
I
I think they're probably neck and neck.
if we want to talk about
Hakeem
top
is
five centers,
the leader
I
of
got
blocks.
a list for you.
Top three is definitely.
Hold on,
I got a list for you.
For who I watched. For who I watched.
What's
I
your
got a list
top
for
five
you.
though, yeah?
I got a list for you.
You gonna put me on
Top
the
five.
spot?
Yeah.
Are we talking accolades or we talking just my favorite basketball player?
No. Your top
Top
five basketball
five.
players.
Top five.
In no order?
Whoa, wait. Whoa,
In order.
we going to that?
In order? I can't
Top
do it in order.
Top five.
That's too obvious if I do it in
You
order.
named your top five.
Yeah, but he didn't do it in order. He said no order. No, he said he did. Kareem
yeah.
number one, Jordan two. I can't have an order, bro. I can't.
You gotta put them in order.
Jordan number one. Fuck, man.
Number two.
Okay, Jordan number one. Number two, I fuck with Penny hard.
Ooh.
Number
Wow.
Penny Hardaway. Okay.
He's not even top 10 though. I mean, I love Penny. Don't get me wrong. He was one of my favorite players, but he got injured.
But I know what could have been. That's why I'm
That's
like,
disrespectful. You can't have him top 10.
he's not my top five. Fuck, see, this is why it's tough. This is why
That's
it's tough.
why it's tough.
I'm literally thinking about who's my favorite to watch.
So
That's what I'm saying.
I think we have to we have to classify
Let's
this.
classify when we talk about top five.
So, all right, this top
No,
five
no.
that you're about to
You-
name, this top five, to your opinion, the best players to play the
Oh,
game.
nah, not ever. No. These are my
Ever.
favorite basketball players to watch.
Because we have our top five that we personally like to watch, but your top five that you think that personally played the game. How about that?
I just going by who I like to see. My top
Okay.
five.
Okay, who
that's
does your top
I got
five?
my top five that I like to watch.
Okay, so who does your top five personally that you like to watch the game? That got you
The game.
to watch
We're just
the
talking
game.
the game.
We're just talking
Okay.
the game.
Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Penny Hardaway. Steve Nash.
I like
Hold
that.
on. Hold on.
Steve Nash is underrated, but I like him.
Hakeem Olajuwon. Number five.
I'm about to give you a fucked up five after this.
Yo, fucking Indiana Pacers, Paul George. And fuck y'all if y'all hating. And fuck y'all if y'all hating. I'm talking about who I like to watch.
No. We're gonna talk about Paul George in a second.
No, we don't have to talk about Paul George.
Because I have a weight.
We don't
My
have
stream
to
knows.
talk about
My stream
PG.
knows
We
how
don't
I
have to-
feel about Paul
We
George.
don't have to talk about Paul George. We talk
All right,
about
Chris
watching.
Matrix, who is your five players that you love to watch, regardless of stats, regardless how they play the game? Who is your five that you love to play the game?
So this is not who I feel.
This is
the
a
top five
personal.
best.
This is a personal
This
list.
is personal, yes.
Okay.
To watch.
Number one.
Because
Kyrie.
I can gain a perspective of how you like
So
to
number
watch
one-
the game.
number one is Kyrie,
off
right?
The 5.
Number one is Kyrie Irving.
Okay.
See?
Okay.
He's my number one.
Okay.
All right. Number 2, Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson.
I did say Iverson, right?
You did not say Iverson.
He is definitely my top 5.
Okay.
Number
I know you love Iverson.
Number 3,
Dang, see, you had me on the spot. I fucking forgot
Mm-hmm.
about
Magic
it.
Johnson.
See, I didn't get
Showtime.
to see enough Magic Johnson. Obviously, I was too
Showtime.
young, so I can't really say. Hakeem, I actually got a chance to watch him play.
Number 4. Ooh.
Here we go.
I mean, the Knick fan in me is number 4 is Patrick Ewing.
Oh!
Number 4
I
is
love
Patrick
that.
Ewing. Yeah.
He's in my top 5.
Yeah?
So yeah,
Pat-
yeah, yeah.
Pat?
So
And-
yeah.
They ain't in my top 5.
Okay.
Number 5.
It's okay.
Number 5 would have to be.
Oh, this is a tough one.
Damn.
Is it MJ?
I hated MJ because I was a Knick fan.
Because you were a Knicks fan.
This Jordan fucking
I hated MJ.
He smoked us every year.
Yeah.
He smoked us every year.
He
Smoked us.
It's good. It's Steph Curry. Stephen.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, he's
Okay.
incredible. He's
Steph
incredible.
Curry.
He is very incredible.
Stephen Curry. Most
Okay.
entertaining to watch.
Okay.
Okay, you know what?
So
You know what?
I'ma
Fuck
give
it.
you-
Let
I'ma
me
give-
rephrase my shit. Hold on. All right. I'm gonna
Well,
rephrase.
okay, before I get my 5, I want you to
I'm gonna
rephrase your
rephrase
shit.
my shit.
Okay.
Okay. Fuck, man. These guys got me really thinking about this shit. All right.
Do you want me to go with my 5 before you go?
No, I got you. All right. So,
All right, here we go.
and mind you, I literally just threw those names because those are the names that were so influential to me. Like,
I see.
like that just came straight.
Impact wise,
Straight. Like, well, Penny wasn't. So Penny, if not
he
necessarily-
was impactful.
I know what could have been. That's why I'm such a fan of
the
Penny.
what if.
I know what could have
like
been.
a Brandon Roy, Greg Golden, something like
You know
that.
what I'm saying? Same thing with
Grant
D-Wade.
Hill.
If D-Wade was healthy all the way through, he would have been a fucking problem. You know what I'm saying?
OD.
And this is real shit. But you know what I mean?
They
But
would have
obviously
won
what
5
happened-
championships. Yeah.
You
for
feel
sure.
what I'm saying? Like it just go by of how I'm feeling, I guess, at the moment. I never really sat down and said who was my top 5. So I'm just literally throwing names out. I literally never said that, like, ever to myself, like, who's my top 5 favorite basketball players?
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm literally the whole time I'm rooting for PG to get a ring.
Spit.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
I'm gonna go with you know what? I'm gonna go with my top 5 skill players that I've seen ever.
Okay,
All right.
that's fine.
One of them is Kyrie for sure.
Okay,
Hakeem Olajuwon
Okay.
for sure.
the most skill center ever to play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm the player that I'm about to name right now. I go by principle and skill. You know what I'm saying? So it falls in the category.
Okay.
Damian Lillard for sure.
Ooh,
Because
Dame Dollar.
he was literally about the process, right? And he literally stood there year after year, knowing he could have went to any team that he wanted to after a while, and he stuck there and grinded it out. I like shit like that. You know what I mean?
I respect that.
It's not efficient though. It's not, because look what James did. He was with the Cavs for a while. He had a dip. I
Had
don't
to
even
go.
blame him.
He had to go.
I don't, but in Dame's case, you know what I'm saying? Time is running out. His Dame time is running out, so it's about time we make those decisions. You know what I mean?
Shit.
But it's
So,
but
so that's number 3,
right?
Yeah.
Number 4, of course, Allen Iverson. I literally have like 3 pairs of his fucking. He's literally the only. Well, besides Shaq, I have 3 Iverson jerseys and a Shaquille O'Neal Magic jersey.
Nice.
Right, and number 5.
Where he was averaging 19 blocks.
Number 5, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna have to say Shaquille. I'm gonna have to say Shaquille O'Neal. Number 5, and the reason why I say this is because when I was playing junior varsity basketball, I was the center of the team, and who I was using as reference, because I was a little big and husky, was Shaquille O'Neal. I wasn't as tall as him, but you know, in terms of just learning the moves in the low post, in terms of using your body how you need to learn it, and I was definitely throwing elbows because of Shaquille O'Neal. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? He was throwing elbows. He was coming in an angle boy like this. Them shit look like machetes. He was swinging in front of you. That shit look kind of crazy. You know what I mean? So I'll give you my top 5 on the skill side of things. There you go.
All right,
You know
so
what I'm saying?
my
Did I say Jordan?
no, you
And
did
the reason
not.
why I didn't say Jordan is because I've seen him midway. All right, so when I started understanding the game of basketball, I saw
Okay.
the second 3P. It wasn't the first one. The first
okay.
one, I was a little too young to really know how godlike he was. But on the second 3P, I was like, okay, this guy's a problem. You know what I mean?
I see.
So That's why I probably didn't name him in my top 5.
That was and the second three-peat was twice against the Jazz and Sean Kemp and
Seattle,
Gary
yes.
Payton, right?
Or was it?
Yeah.
No, the Suns was 93, right?
93.
They
Yeah.
beat the Suns 93.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was Seattle and
It
then the
was
Utah
said
Jazz
Utah
twice.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
First was the Lakers,
it was the Lakers.
then Portland Trailblazers.
The
That's with the shrug
Clyde
game,
Drexler.
right?
Clyde Drexler.
And then
yeah.
the Phoenix Suns.
and then
Really
the
sit
Phoenix
down, break
Suns,
it down
and
for
then
myself. I never
right.
even asked that question to myself.
So
No bullshit.
my top 5 is weird, right? Because it's like it's players that you know about, but it's just like not regarded, like they don't get their credit. So
Okay.
of course, Kareem is my 5. Patrick Ewing is in my 5. Bill Walton is in another.
He likes the big guys. I respect
You a
that.
center guy? Huh?
I
Bill,
respect that. I
I'm a
respect
center
that.
guy.
I respect
Bill Walton does not get a lot of credit because he got injured a lot. Because I think the first year he came in the league, he won with the Trailblazers, right? And then he just got a whole bunch of injury problems until he was 6th man of the year with the Celtics, and then he won the championship with them. So he only had 2 rings in the NBA, but like in college, he's a two-time college champion. He only lost 1 game, which was in the finals within his 3rd year, where he would have three-peated it right after Kareem. So like I was fascinated with like when the centers.
Ball. God
Yeah.
damn. I don't know shit about Walton.
Right. Bill Walton is actually nice. Like a lot of
is.
people say that if he didn't get injured, he would have been one of the best centers ever because he's a center with a jump shot. He had a jump shot.
Okay.
He had an unorthodox jump shot, but he had a jump shot regardless. You know, Ben Simmons can learn from him. But you know what I'm saying? Other than
I mean, you thought that there's talks about they sending Simmons to the Warriors, but go ahead.
other than that, so Bill Walton is one of them. I have to go with Penny Hardaway. I don't know why, but he was so unorthodox in his time.
He was.
He did a shuffle where it was just like, you know, when you do a shuffle, you go around, but he actually went inward. He did an inward shuffle and then he scored a 3, and I was just like, wait, what other player does that?
So the thing about Penny,
he did a lot of like irregular
yeah.
shit.
So skill. He had a good bag. What the first thing about Penny that I noticed? So this is what besides the sneaker, of course.
Right.
But in terms of basketball, this was the first time I seen an interaction with a big man like Shaquille O'Neal. So that's when I've really seen the 1-2 combo, like the first time where I'm really seeing like, okay, that's
Before
the guard.
Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah,
was
and
Penny
that's the
and Shaq.
center. That's what I was like, okay, I could see how good this could be for a team.
Right.
That's one thing that kept me locked with Penny, because I always wanted to see how he worked with Shaq. Now obviously Penny ended up in other teams, ended up in the Suns and shit like that, but he was already cracked by that time. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But we already knew what Penny could bring in the bag. You know what I'm saying? In terms of what he could bring to the table. So it is what it is. Yo, damn, y'all really got me thinking about it.
Right. And then I
never did it to myself. I swear to God.
And
I
so
never did
my last player that I personally love to watch, and he's not on the radar when it comes to like greatest of all time players, is Jay Cross over Jamal Crawford.
that. Jamal Crawford.
I love
Wow.
Jamal Crawford. Jamal Crawford, if you see this, I appreciate you. The man of the shake and bake, like what top 3 ball handlers of all time.
Pretty good, has he?
Top 3 ball handlers, I would say Allen Iverson, Jay Crossover, and Jason Williams. Like those are my guys.
See, I ain't even
Jason,
mentioned
white
my man,
chocolate,
white chocolate, bro.
White chocolate.
Wait,
I love me some
hold
white
on,
chocolate.
Hold on.
Oh, here we go. No, and notice that
Time out,
notice that
I'm
he
sorry.
said something because Kyrie's not in that.
Oh,
Top 3.
wait.
Yeah, here we go. I know. I knew I was gonna trigger something.
Say it again.
My top 3 ball handlers is Allen Iverson, Jay Crossover, and Jason Williams. White chocolate.
What you gotta say about that, Matrix? What you gotta say about that, brother?
Kyrie's in my top 5, not my top 3.
Wow. That's
Kyrie comes at 4th, and then Tim Hardaway comes at 5th.
So Jason Williams is better ball handler than Kyrie Irving.
He did more.
No. We're
ball
talking
handling.
ball handling. So he is a better ball handler than Kyrie Irving.
He was doing innovative shit before Kyrie even stepped on the
So
court.
overall package, the bag. When you look at the bag, Jason Williams is better than Kyrie Irving.
If we want to talk about who's a better player,
I'm talking
obviously
handling. I'm talking about the ball. I'm talking about ball handling bag.
ball hand white chocolate all day.
Kyrie Irving.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
The best ball
He was the reason
handler
why the Kings
in
had a
the
fan
NBA.
base in the first place, other than Chris Webber.
Kyrie Irving is the best ball handler in the history
Over
of the
Iverson?
NBA. Kyrie Irving is the best ball handler in the history of the NBA. If he is not at least in your top 3, that is sheer blasphemy.
I think I'm gonna have to agree with
Sheer
that.
and utter blasphemy.
If we talk, if we're gonna lay it down in
I
terms
gotta
of categories,
don't make me pull up the fouls. Don't make. Yo.
you want to show him the Lord of the
Yo.
Banks?
Yeah, oh, the Lord of the Bank. Yo, you don't know nothing about that, huh? Lord of the Bank. Bank.
We got you right here, Papi.
Gosh.
We got you right here.
Nah,
This
it's
one
just like.
We don't got to.
But it's
It's his opinion at the
But
end of the day.
it's a subjective thing. Yes, it's
That's-
just like Jason
I wouldn't even
Williams.
say it's subjective, my friend.
But Jason Williams just made me.
And
It's just
no
the passes that
disrespect
he
to Jay
made.
Will. And he, you know what I mean? White chocolate. I'm a fan.
I mean, they're both tied at one championship, so
But-
it's.
Oh, let's not go there
Kyrie Irving
because they both won it with James.
is the best ball handler.
No, actually, no. He won it
No,
with D-Wade.
Jay-
He won it with D-Wade.
Jay
Shaq.
Wilson-
D-Wade,
yeah,
Shaq,
I was about to say,
Pardon
like,
me.
nope.
Pardon, and Peyton. Yeah, Peyton was on that team.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
You're right.
It was Shaq and D-Wade.
But
yeah.
no matter what, though, regardless of the championships, I think Kyrie has 0 championships.
Is that the law?
That is the law.
I think no,
Sounds
the real
fair.
shit. He can have no accolades, like no Rookie of the Year, none of that shit, like nothing, like just nothing. You know what I'm saying? He's still gonna be a better ball handler than Jason Williams.
Okay, what about Jay Crossover?
I mean,
Jamal
not better than
Crawford?
Kyrie, man.
Jamal Crawford? No. Okay, Allen Iverson.
Chris, who's the best NBA ball
There goes my
handler?
call.
And just throw it in.
Kyrie Irving is the best ball handler in the history of the NBA.
Wow.
I agree.
Okay,
I agree.
and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Man, they might actually smoke you in the comments. Ultimizer, like
No. He's not
Sorry,
naming.
guys.
But
Sorry,
he's
guys.
naming. No. He's naming some good ball.
No,
handlers.
it is, but
So it's
he
a
said
debate.
Jay Will.
It's a debate. It's a
Jay
debate.
Will is over Kyrie Irving. Chris,
I honestly sometimes I put guys over like who came after. Sometimes I give priority to some guys who came after. Sometimes I do. Because the guys who came after have more to work with than the guys that came before.
man, but what that got to do with the ball handling though?
You're right.
Kyrie Irving is the best ball handler in the history of the NBA.
I can't say anything else.
There's no debate.
I'm
It's
not.
like,
I can't say I can't disagree.
He's the Lord of the Bank.
I cannot disagree.
He's the Lord of the Bank.
I cannot disagree.
So let me tell you my top 5 greatest players of all time, though.
Here we go.
Let's go. Talk to me. Break it
All right,
down.
number 1,
Jordan.
Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Right. I have to say,
Easy.
you know, I'm gonna have to say from
The
now
middle-
on.
the middle-
I gotta speak that
middle,
man's full
the
name.
name.
All right. Okay,
Michael
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey Jordan, MJJ.
That's number 1.
Number 2, LeBron James.
He's OD.
Wow.
LeBron. No, he's OD.
No. I'm surprised he put LeBron at 2, considering who.
I mean, true, but
Considering.
I understand in terms of the certain arguments he would have.
Okay.
So I kind
Number
Number
3, Irving Magic Johnson.
Wow.
So those are your top 3 players of all time in your
Yes.
book. Okay.
Okay. Number
Number
4.
4.
Number 4, Oscar Robertson.
OD.
Who averaged a triple double
OD.
for a majority of his career.
Yeah, Westbrook cooked that shit, but I mean that went from longevity though.
Mm-hmm.
And
Number
number 5 for me,
I gotta think about that. Top 5 of all time. I gotta think that. That's hard. I mean, number 1 guarantees Jordan.
it's
It's Kareem.
okay. I gotta give it to Larry Bird. I gotta give it to Larry Legend.
I respect that.
I have to.
I
I
respect
have to.
that.
Over Kareem?
have to. I have to.
I respect that.
I have to.
mind you, Larry Bird, one of the most skilled players to ever play this game, no matter what.
That man was telling people on the bench how much he was gonna score before he fucking did it, bro. Like he was OD.
Mind
man.
you, he went to a 3-point contest and said, "Who's coming in second place?" That's OD.
I gotta give it to. I gotta give it to them.
You ordered food?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I gotta get. It was, but listen. Like there's a few honorable mentions. Like overlooked a lot for this conversation is Tim Duncan.
Yes.
He is highly overlooked a lot for this conversation.
Yes, he is. I was actually no bullshit.
Five-time champion.
When I was thinking about my top 5 in terms of who I like to watch, Tim Duncan was up there as an honorable mention, 100%. So like, yeah, I can agree with that.
Because he's a big fundamental player, and he's an efficient player. A lot of people did not like watching him because he's an efficient player.
He knew how to adjust to the program, man. Popovich had him in a perfect fucking program. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that he could shine. Remember, this is around the time when the big man was the meta.
Right.
But he was just the glue to the team, man. Obviously, Parker and Ginobili came in the mix.
And he's coming in after David Robinson, who is also a beast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The Admiral? Shit.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
He's coming in after David Robinson, and he's taking the mantle. He gets Rookie of the Year and Finals MVP the same year?
Yeah.
Yo, not
That's
for nothing.
OD.
That is OD.
This is off topic, but damn, the Spurs did Shaq dirty, B. I don't know if you remember that. Remember, so Duncan Robinson was going on he won the scoring title that year. And Shaq had the lead in terms of the scoring title, but there was a game, I forgot who the Spurs played, but they literally just gave the ball to Robinson the whole time. I think he scored like 60 points, 70 points, just so he could go over Shaq to win the scoring title for the year.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
No, what's crazy though? D-Rob, he did get cooked by Hakeem Olajuwon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, yo!
He had a better bag though. That's guaranteed.
Hakeem, he did him dirty.
Hakeem did a lot of people dirty, bro.
Yo,
he had a better bag.
He was
Not only did he have the
boogieing
size,
on that man.
not only did he have the size,
But he had the skill.
and he wasn't greedy with the ball, but he had the skill. So it was just, of
The
course.
Dream Shake is just like impossible to read.
Hakeem's footwork is unparalleled.
For people that don't know, in terms of who improved LeBron James' footwork, it was Hakeem Olajuwon. I don't know if you guys know that.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what year that was. James.
Yeah, he worked with him. He worked with Dwight Howard. He worked with Melo. He worked with some people on footwork and back to the basket game and the post game. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So for sure. But that was damn wow. Interesting.
That was an interesting
talk
five.
on basketball. But you know what? I'm gonna hit you with a
Here we go.
You know, and Chris, you probably didn't write nothing down. I don't know if you did. Did you?
No.
It's
Here we
okay,
go.
but you're a man of freestyle, so you know you can bring some. So
Hey.
we have this beta game show that's coming up on the No Frillz podcast,
Ooh.
and it's called "You Know You From New York," right? So
I like this.
here are the rules.
Okay.
They ain't really no crazy rules.
Right.
Questions are obvious, but
Okay.
some of the questions are trick questions as well. So you really have to pay attention to what I'm asking.
Okay.
And it could be a true or false, yes or no. You could jump in however you like to interject on the question and answer it however the fuck you want to answer it, okay? But I will let you know if you're correct or incorrect.
Okay.
And Chris Matrix could jump in this too.
Okay.
As well. All right. So I'm asking you the first question. Are you ready for this? And mind
Right.
you, I'm asking you this. And mind you, it's not even many questions. I only wrote like 4.
Okay.
So, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
This is a beta test, guys, okay?
Okay.
All right. You ready?
Right.
You know you from New York when you have a bacon, egg, and cheese only in the morning.
That's true.
False.
I mean,
You fucking failed. You can have a bacon, egg, and cheese at any time. Chris, am I correct?
That is correct. That's
mean,
my shit.
You failed.
I mean,
That was
at
the trick
any time.
question there. A
I
bacon,
see.
egg, and
I
cheese
see.
only in
I
the morning.
usually get it in the morning. I think that.
But
I failed that.
I've had
You're
that
right.
in lunch,
You're right.
dinner.
You're right.
Chris, am I lying?
You're right.
No, you.
Whenever you ask Ak for a bacon, egg, and cheese, he always makes it.
Yeah,
You're right.
so okay.
You're right.
You like
As long
that,
as
right?
as
Chris,
long
you
as
like
the
the
grill,
idea we're going with here?
as long as the grill is on. Okay, now I get it.
You like that?
All right. I like that. I love that. Let's go.
You know you're from New York when you swipe your Metro card 1,000,000 times. True or false?
That is correct.
That is correct. True.
You have to. Yo, I swear to God, I swiped my Metro card 20 times before I got on my first Subway. First time.
And this is perfect for you because you know
I'm not
you
from
migrated
here.
From like okay,
Right.
Okay.
When I moved here from New Orleans,
Start doing it
11
extra
years
slow.
ago. 11 years ago. Right. And I'm like, yo, too fast, too slow, too this, too that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it already ate your money. You have to go to the teller.
Remember,
And
guys,
I'm
this
just
is
like,
beta.
C agent.
This is gonna be
C
staple.
agent. There you go.
This is gonna be staple if you guys like it. So please put it on the comments. Okay. Okay. Moving forward. You like
There
that,
you go.
right?
Yeah, love that.
Okay. So Ruby, you missed out. So the first question I asked him is, you know you're from New York when you have a bacon, egg, and cheese only in the morning. Is that true or false? That is correct.
That's not.
Because you can have it at any point in time. Correct. Okay.
As long as the grill's
That's what we're
on.
going with this. Okay. So
As long as
all
the
right,
grill's
here we go.
on.
Here we go.
Yeah,
Remember,
you're right.
rules. The questions are obvious, but there are a few that are trick questions. Okay. You know you're from New York when you eat a chopped cheese on a hoagie.
Hoagie. The fuck is that?
That is correct. What do we eat that on?
On a hero.
Thank you. See what I mean by trick questions? People wanna say,
Hoagie,
"Oh, man, I love
hoagie
a
is
chopped
that
cheese on a
Wawa.
hoagie."
Hoagie
Yeah.
is that Wawa shit. You get
All
that
right,
shit
all right,
out your
all right,
mind.
okay.
If you're in New York,
That is
roll
correct.
hero. That's it.
All right, this is my last question, and Chris, you can freestyle if you want to. This was just a bait on my side. You know you're from New York when you take a shower in a fire hydrant. That is false. Because we don't listen. We don't take shower.
do that.
No, understand. You're not a crackhead though.
I'm not. I'm not. But
Okay. Listen. So
Okay.
remember, it's trick questions, right?
Right. You right.
We don't call them shits fire hydrants. What do we call them? Chris, what do we call them?
The pump.
There you go. So this is why you have to pay attention to this because it's trick
Okay.
questions.
The pump.
We don't take showers in fire hydrants. We take showers in pumps. Just like how we eat chopped cheeses on fucking heroes, we don't eat
So
them on hoagies.
that one I got mixed. I actually truly didn't know because like I don't call them pumps. I call them fire hydrants.
Okay.
So that's just me.
Okay, just throwing
You
it
know,
out there, guys.
that's just my background,
I'm leaving it
so-
on leave it on the comments if you like that. That is just beta tests.
That's good shit. I like that.
Okay, so Chris,
You should
Okay.
you should do that.
yeah, I just wanted to try it out. See.
All right.
Okay.
Remember, you know you're from New York.
One. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Oh. Damn.
Oh, come on.
All
You
right.
had it.
Oh, don't worry, we got people for that.
Let me think.
We got people that live here that's not from here.
Hold on. Let me think.
Think about it. We got time.
All right.
Oh, here we
Go
go.
for it.
Okay. You know you're from New York
Uh-huh.
when a bad chick walk by,
Uh-huh.
and this is multiple choice, and you hiss like a snake. B, you try to grab her arm.
Uh-huh.
C, you say yo shorty.
Uh-huh.
Or D, all of the above.
D, all of you off.
Correct.
100%. I've seen it all.
So
I've seen all three of those examples.
Like,
I've seen people just look and just crack the neck.
Like, psst.
It's like, hey yo.
They be like, yo, come here, mom. What's up, mom? She start throwing elbow. Don't touch me.
D, all of you
I'm
off.
glad
That's
I was never that guy. I've
What?
seen it though
Yo.
plenty of times.
Yes.
plenty of times.
I've seen it plenty of times.
Same here. Like
Yeah.
I'm just never the guy to just be like like that. But like I've seen it and I'm just like, all right, if that works for you, that works for you. And be like that.
So I do have one question for you, and I want you to tell the people.
Okay.
What is the origin of the Ultimizer?
Yo, and it's crazy. I've known Ultimizers for plenty of years. Since
A lot
2010.
of
So
people-
I know you for 11 years.
Yes.
11 years. And I never knew the origin of your name.
A lot in it because it comes way before that. It actually came in when I was 12 years old.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
When I was 12 years old, I was playing a game called Halo 2. And Halo 2, I was going by my last name, Tyson. I was just playing by Tyson. All right. And then all of a sudden, in Halo 2, you can customize a whole bunch of your names and your colors, and you can make a whole bunch of names. You can be like Tyson this, Tyson Ultimate, Tyson Ultra, right? I said Tyson Ultimate as one of my, as like my final form, right? Whatever the fuck. I was 12 years old. I didn't know the mentality going behind that. And then all of a sudden, it's like, man, like this one random dude, his name was Adam, in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. He was like, yo, bro, just call yourself the Ultimizer. I was just like, what? He was like, yeah, you're Tyson Ultimate, right? You just be ultimizing everybody. Because I was like one of the nicest people in Halo 2. And I was just like, yo, you're the Ultimizer. You just ultimize people all day. And I was just like, all right. From this point forward, 12 years old going on, I'm the Ultimizer. And I never lost that name ever since. And truth be told, I looked up the Ultimizer on the Google like years later, and I was like, damn, this shit is actually a battery. So like when he said that,
That's
I was
really a
just
battery?
like, it's
No fucking way.
there's Ultimizer batteries.
No fucking
You
way.
can
That's
quote
a
me on
battery
that.
for real.
You can go on Google and you can find Ultimizer batteries.
Bro. Yo, Chris.
And mind you, he said that randomly.
Yo, I literally, so if we're either at an event like at Big E's or some shit, and I'm like on commentary, like shouting him out, whatever the case is, I was always make fun of his name, not in a stupid way, but just a funny way of just like using this shit as a segue or whatever the fuck it is, right? So we're playing Warzone one day, you know, I'm hammered, you know what I'm saying? That's how it was on the quarantine side of things, you know what I mean? Hammered playing Warzone, that's what it was. So like one time I'm just fucking being goofy as hell, and I was like, your handhelds ain't working. Get an Ultimizer, right? Get the Ultimizers. And then I was like, oh, your vibrator ain't working? Get yourself some Ultimizers. Yo, I was bugging the fuck out. I was just doing segues. That's for real?
Ultimizers are batteries.
Yo.
Wow.
I'm not
What's
even
that?
lying.
What's that? The Chinese knockoffs or some shit?
Something like that. And I'm looking at them and I was like, yo, this shit's for real. These are batteries. And I'm just like, yo, I'm looking myself up on Google and I'm just like, well, I'm just trying to find my gameplay of something. No, I'm actually running into batteries
I swear
online.
to God. Streep, I can't make
Crazy.
this up. I did not know.
He genuinely didn't know.
I swear to
And
God, I
he's
was
just
ready.
and I was just like, how did you know
That's
that?
crazy.
Because I knew that because I
know-
looked
I had no
myself
fucking-
up on
it just
Google.
sounds like batteries.
But he just knew right off the bat, and he's just like, yo, it just sounds like something that you just power
Yeah,
up.
you know, I wouldn't
And
even
it's
say,
just
yeah,
like-
right. I didn't say battery. Just like, yo, you could use that to power some shit up. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And I was just like, wow, that makes sense. And I was like, oh. But you are right. That is actually factually correct. There are Ultimizer batteries out there. And
Good shit.
But, you know, I've had many other different names, like other like nicknames and alter egos and whatnot, but I always come back to the Ultimizer
one
because
of
that's where it started.
Just throw one out there.
Jamal Jackson.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
Jamal
yeah.
Jackson, if anybody knows, Jamal Jackson is just like my troll name. I have it on my Smash GG.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm like, who the fuck
And,
is Jamal Jackson?
and it's like everybody's like, who's the fuck Jamal Jackson? Jamal Jackson is the blackest name you ever heard in your life. And that's why I use it as a troll name.
JJ.
There you go. Right?
right on.
So,
Okay.
you know, my B-boy name is T'Challa. You know, I'm
Oh shit! You know what? Speaking of which,
Yeah.
you are definitely a very cultured man.
Yeah.
You know, all right. So let me tell you, this is
Yeah,
like
we
a
gotta
turning.
have you talk with Fuji.
Oh, yeah.
Fuji's heavy in the
Oh,
B-boy world.
when I first met him at Battle of the Strongest, me and him clicked like no other because
Okay.
we're not even talking about Marvel 2. We were talking about breaks and music and all kind of DJ shit.
So I asked Fuji this, right? And I'm just curious. So your answer first, and I'll tell you what Fuji said. Who's the greatest B-boy of all time?
I think it's Crazy Legs.
No.
Well, I would say the original, one of the originals.
Let me hear.
No. I would say either Ken Swift or Quick Step.
Quick Step is nice.
Um,
You don't have Crazy Legs up there?
I would give him top 5, but he's not the greatest.
So
I would say
Fuji-
Ken Swift. I
so
think it's
Fuji-
Ken Swift. I think it's the Prince Ken Swift.
Fuji said the consensus amongst the community is Ken Swift.
It's Ken Swift.
But
100%.
he also said that a lot has changed, you know, with more modern times. So
100%. Yep.
could Ken Swift do a lot of the he couldn't do like a lot of the power moves that people are doing today. So, you know,
But it's subjective
hard to
because
say.
back
but
then-
he said the consensus is Ken Swift.
Right, because back in
Ken
the
Swift,
90s,
like he could actually dance.
right, that's the problem. Like now we focus on a lot of power and just power.
Yeah.
That is the main focus of today's era. back then Ken Swift was focusing on all 4 elements together.
Right.
And he can piece it. He can piece it together that no one else could ever do.
And make it into an art.
Yes.
Oh,
And that's why Ken Swift
I
is
see.
the greatest of all time.
So okay. So all right. So
Because the 4 elements, right? Let me clarify for him.
Go ahead.
School me shit.
The 4 elements is top rock, footwork, or down rock if you want to. Yeah. And then power and freezes. Ken Swift was so good at all 4, he can piece all of them 4 together. If you were to talk about the greatest, like if you were to talk about a top b-boy of all time, they're only going to talk about their power. A lot of b-boys don't talk about their actual dancing when it comes to top rock and footwork. Yes.
All right. So when I mention a guy like Crazy Legs, he's one-dimensional.
Crazy Legs is great. Don't get me wrong, he's great. He does all 4 as well.
Okay.
But he wasn't as good as it. He didn't translate it as well as Ken Swift did. And Ken Swift did it at an era when B-Boy died and it came back.
So he was at the pinnacle of the return. He was at the pinnacle of what it was and the return.
Right, because Crazy Legs was there from the start. And Ken Swift. They
Okay.
both started at the start. But Ken Swift brought it back to the forefront. Ken Swift and Quickstep, the 2 I mentioned, brought it back to the forefront back to where it originated. Because, in hip hop we get exploited, right? And it gets played out, right? How much I feel about music right now, but we'll get back, get into that conversation later. But like, B-Boy got so whack, and it's just like people gave up on it. And then Ken Swift and Quickstep brought it back to where it originally came from, and they brought it back to prominence. And Ken Swift was like, yeah, you should do it like this. And Ken Swift just translate it in a way that is just like transcended in the 90s, by the way. And in the 90s, in the early 90s, it was considered dead. In the later 90s, it came back to prominence because of those 2 b-boys. So it's just like, that's why I regard those 2 b-boys as the greatest, because it's like they brought it back from death, literally. Crazy Legs didn't do that, unfortunately, but Ken Swift did. He's the Prince Ken Swift.
I'm gonna look these guys up because I gotta get educated. My boy Kenny from the block actually mentioned him, and he's a b-boy as well. But I didn't know who the fuck he was talking about. Like, he just threw in random names. I was like, "Huh?" But he said Crazy. I was like, "Oh yeah, I know that guy." You know what I'm saying? But like, okay. So what I was trying to get into was one of the ways I got to know Ultimizer. I forgot what event it was. It had to be a Biggie event. We was all fucking hammered. We're at a bar, and we did this circle.
Winter Brawl 7.
It was Winter Brawl 7, right?
Winter
So
Brawl 7.
we're all jumping in the circle.
I already know what you're talking about.
We jumping in. I'm hammered. I'm doing some dance. I think I was doing this shit. I was doing this fucking shit.
I was like, yo, y'all just got some moves.
Yeah, I was bugging out. You know what I'm saying?
It was a
fun
random
shit.
select tournament.
Yeah.
So it was a random select tournament at the bar section of that the Holiday Inn, right? And there was a cipher, and I was just like, yo, there's a circle going on. People are dancing in the middle. I seen this guy get down. I see Big E trying to throw some moves. I was like, all right, cool. And I'm seeing a whole bunch of people throwing, and I was just like, all right, fuck it. Let me just go in there and just do what I do.
This motherfucker got on the floor started doing spins and all types of shit off his head and all that. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, Ultimizers, I didn't know you was down with this. She was like, yeah, man, I break. And I was like, okay. And then that's when I found out you DJ'd and shit as well. Right. I was like, wow, yo, so... All right, so this is one thing I always wanted to see. I always wanted to see a b-boy throwdown get together from the FGC, and the 3 names that I want in there, obviously Ultimizer. The other 2, Ryan Hart and James MK.
All right, so funny that you mentioned them. Me and Ryan Hart got down in a cipher at ESO1. One of the after parties.
I was there.
Right.
I was there.
I saw him do footwork like in front of my face. I was like, all right, this guy's for real.
He's for real.
Ryan Hart, for his age and what he can do.
Ridiculous.
Shout
out to Ryan Hart. I see you, boy.
And then Yipes showed me the video when James and K did the windmills at fucking
VXG.
At VXG.
So,
I did not believe that.
Yo, I was shocked.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, yo, did you know James MK can do windmills? I was like, no, he can't do windmills.
God, it's like seeing.
And then Yipes is in the back of the video.
I was shocked, bro. I'm talking. This was different, bro. Like, And mind you, James, I know James. Like, there was a lot of random shit going on in VHG.
I was like, what?
What you know about James MK busted his ass so hard in the pool, right? He was in mid-conversation with a drink. Yo, this shit is legendary, bro. I cannot forget this. He's mid-conversation, right? Me, Neo, a couple of people, we in the pool, right? Yo, James MK comes out the bar, right? He got a drink in his hand. He told us, like, hey, so what you guys are getting into? Yo, he slipped, right? He slipped and went mid-air, right? And he never let go of the drink. I'm talking both legs in the air. That shit said, shwink. And he landed on his back, hand on the drink, and he's just dead. No drink spilled. And all I remember is Neo, shout out to Neo, literally crying and laughter. And fucking James MK was so mad at Neo for laughing. He came up to me just like, hey, is that your boy? So, I'm not liking how he's laughing at me, man. Like, I could have broke my spine.
Oh my
and shit, like, yo, motherfuckers was hammered. This is at VXG, by the way. This was in St. Martin. Like, this shit was a fucking party. This shit was amazing. You know what I'm saying? It's one of my best experiences of my life. You know what I mean? And the shit that I saw that night, I was just like, there's no way. You know what I'm saying? There's no way that I'm seeing this right now. So first and foremost, this is how it started, right? We went to a VIP club, right? And anybody that went to VXG, they had this badge where it had the VIP access to literally everything in the island, which was fucking crazy. Shout out to Orlando. So any bar that I went to, I never had to pay for a drink because I had this badge. Shit was godlike, right?
What a luxury.
Yeah, shit was OD. So
Yes.
we all went to this one joint, very nice looking bar too. It had like a 3-floor. You could be at the top. There was like a middle and there was like a basement, but nobody was in the basement. It was it was on the second floor and the third floor. Third floor was the little balcony shit you could look over, right? So music was jumping. We was playing some hits. Right, the hard congos and bangos started hitting. And here comes fucking Ryan Hart, right? He started fucking stepping up. He stepped up to the middle. He went. And I was
The
like,
B-boy stance, yeah?
I was like, what the fuck is Ryan doing? He got on the floor, started murking that shit. I was like, ooh. Oh, he's doing windmills, flares, all types. He did a backflip, landed. He was looking clean. I'm like, damn, Ryan, you young. This motherfucker, James MK, comes through, puts his drink on the side. My man had 2 Coronas in his hand. My man dropped the boom, boom. Yo, he got on the floor and started doing windmills, son. Clean, like he was 20. He's literally like in his 50s. Clean, right? And he literally got up. He was like, I can't do this no more.
Oh,
Hey, Yipes in the back just like, I saw the footage.
Yo,
the footage. Yipes is
I gotta
like,
find this shit. Yo, I swear to God, I was shocked. I was like, I cannot
'Cause
believe I seen this white Caucasian male.
Because
do
he
this
showed
so
me
clean.
the footage, I think, at Summer Jam. That was like...
I was like, yo, Ultimizers.
He's
Look, I
like,
have it on my phone. I
James
have to find the phone.
MK did windmills, and I was like, I don't believe you.
I had to show it to you, bro.
I don't.
This shit was crazy.
I really don't. And this motherfucker showed me the footage. I was just like, I was shocked. You should have saw my face. I was just like...
I told you. I was like, I told you. I was like, yo, bro, I never seen
Hey,
that. And mind you, he was on the floor for a minute. He was causing a tornado. This shit was crazy. And then he got up so clean. He did his b-boy stance, and they started holding his back, walking. I was like, oh, no, I can't do this shit no more. But I guess it was the adrenaline because he was hammered and the vibe was good. But hey, he did it. It was one of the most spectacular shit I see. But yeah, if we would actually do a b-boy event, I would want you guys.
That's one of my that's like one of my dreams. What I want to do is like really bring together gamers that are dancers that are gamers into one concentrated.
I got
event.
you. I got you. I'm gonna talk to Fuji.
Funny enough,
He throws those
so that's the
too.
same
Right.
thing I'm doing, but with music. It's the same thing.
It's crazy because literally, you know, shout out to my job, Boogie Down Grind Cafe in Hunts Point, Bronx.
See you on
right?
IG repping the
Right? And so we literally just got sponsored by Red Bull, but we had a couple Red Bull dancers come there, that Red Bull dancers that are b-boys that get flown out all the time to do dancing events. And so they came there, and I'm just like, yo, if I can just get in touch with them and if I just keep in contact with them, the b-boy community and the FGC is just a lot more similar than we think. Like,
Okay.
there's a couple of b-boys that I met through FGC events, and there's a couple of b-boys that I met FGC events, and there's a couple of b-boy events that I met that are FGC. Vice versa, all the time, because I'm always on stream. you know, whether it comes to like commentating or playing or just like running into you, it's like, oh, I've seen your face before. Where have I seen you at? It's like, oh, well, you probably seen me at another B-Boy event or probably video games. He was like, yeah, that's right. I've seen you on Teen Spooky stream. And I was just like, okay, that's what's up. What game do you play? Oh, I play Marvel, or I play Street Fighter, or I play this, I play that. And I was like, oh, have you ever come out to a fighting game event? He was like, yeah. And it's just like, yeah, you have. And I was just like, well, I mean, whenever you see me there, we can link up and whatnot. And then it would be the vice versa, where I go to a FGC event and I see like top level B-boys, and I just be like, what the fuck are you doing here? And I'd be like, what?
That's a testament to like how universal gaming is.
Yeah,
man.
it really is, man.
And I'd be like,
really?
yo, and I know these dudes from like just top level B-boy shit, and I'm just like, they can do phenomenal joints.
Yeah.
Phenomenal moves. And I'm just like, yo, you're here? Summer
That's
Jam,
godlike.
I think it was just Summer Jam 9. I met, shout outs to B-Boy Domkey, Napalm, and one other guy.
Holy shit.
And
One of them was KIT, right?
that was another joint where
Yo, I seen y'all just made a circle. I was literally
Yep.
walking by with a drink in
that
my
was
hand.
after the
Y'all
event.
motherfuckers
That was after the event was over, right? So I met two top level B-boys from one of the best crews from the tri-state area, Summer Jam, and I was just like,
What the fuck you doing?
and I was like, what the fuck are you doing here? And they're playing Street Fighter 4. They're playing Guy, they're playing Cody, they're playing all these kind of characters, and I was like, all right, let me play them. And I was like, oh wow, they're actually good at this game. They just need actual pointers.
You had to make sure they was like really faking jacks and shit, right? Okay,
no,
okay.
they weren't faking. They actually wanted to get better, and that's how I met one of my good friends. Shout outs to Susie.
Oh, Susie
Queen Envy.
Uzi, I see you.
So funny how I met her. I met her at Defender North, the very first Defender North.
Yeah, that's where I actually met her
And
too, yeah.
mind you, we've always trained at the same space in Forest Hills, but we just never talked to each other. And then we actually met each other at DTN, and it's just like, yo, I see you at Forest Hills all the time. And I was like, oh, what you doing here? She was like, I actually like to play games, and I'm actually getting into Street Fighter 4. And shout out to Queen MV. She actually went to tournaments and actually tried to get better in Street Fighter 4.
Right,
it's
you
just
and
like,
shit, I remember.
right?
Yeah.
And so it's just like shit like that. It's like, yo, like there's a lot more cross platforming than we know.
You know who else, B-boys? Not to
Just
cut you off.
gotta gotta put yourself out there.
That's true. Craymore as well.
Yeah.
And I didn't know Craymore, Dyer,
Dyer too. Yeah.
because me and Dyer actually practiced together.
Yeah. Shout out to
And-
Dyer. I see you, boy.
And my man, Figure Crap Jago.
I ain't gonna lie. Compared to what I've seen, I always thought Jago was ass, but he was getting better at it though.
Jago.
Like I seen you, and then I seen Jago. I was like, yeah, Jago don't got it. You know what I'm saying?
The difference between
Man,
is
fuck that.
physically,
Man,
he's
fuck that. He ain't had that shit. I don't give a fuck how physically he was looking good. Man, he ain't had shit.
I ain't
Say
gonna
me
lie.
dissing him.
When
I'm
it-
not dissing him. Hold on. I'm not dissing
No.
him. Those shits was stiff. The movements were stiff. I saw what's going on. First off, let me tell you something. Yo, Jago, fuck, if you watching this, you watching it. First off, you was in the arc, acting all fucking hard and shit. Talking about, yeah, I'm brolic. I'm godly and all this shit.
He
You
is
know what I'm
brolic.
talking
He
about,
is
Chris.
godly. Yeah.
But hear me out, though. But he was so stiff because he had all that muscle on him. So I was like, I'm like, look at this guy trying to do B-boy moves. And you ass. But you know what, though? That's just me shitting on him because that's my homie. But I like the fact that he actually dedicated a lot of his time to actually get better at that
stuck
shit.
with it.
He really
And
did. He really
and I
did.
fuck with it.
So I'm shitting on him on some joking shit, but his dedication, he actually stuck with it. So I was like,
Yeah.
alright, you wasn't fucking around. You know what I'm saying?
So it was those three guys that I really talked to about dancing in the gaming community. I was like, yo, Craymore, Dyer, and Jago, and I was just like, yo, I would have never had taken them as dancers, never, right? And then Kramer showed me some footage from like back in the day. He was like, no, he was for real about that shit. And I was just like, damn.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
these three guys are actually really in shape, and they're really physical, and they really can actually learn the movements if they got into it. But they were so into the gaming, so it's just like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's hard because sometimes you can have it both ways, but like which one are you really concentrating on the other?
Yeah.
Because they were always better than me when it came to the gaming side.
I don't know, you
But
got some
I was
smooth
always
moves,
better
man.
on the dancing side because I concentrated on that more back in that day.
I will say
So
this.
it's crazy.
I will say this, bro. So I always, I'm a character. Period. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the FGC, I know a lot of fucking characters, and
Right.
they're all diverse. Like that's one thing I learned about the FGC. People are so diverse. In
Yes.
terms of everybody has hidden talents. Because obviously when we come in the same playing field, all we thinking about is fighting games. We're not thinking about other shit. Yo, dude, I remember I'd be in the front. This was around the time when I was smoking cigarettes heavy. I go on the front and motherfuckers have a freestyle cypher right in front. And I was just like, oh, then I just walk over. I'm like, what's going on here? Motherfuckers just spitting bars. And I'm like, oh shit. And then sometimes I just gotta jump in. Like they'll be like, yo, who's next? Who's next? I'll throw myself in. I'll be like, yo, I said, and then I'll just say my bars. But that's just, it's just a way to engage with your community. You know what I mean? This is a way to connect because they already had respect for me. You know what I mean? Like, no, this ain't like to like toot my horn and shit. But like when I go to a lot of events, people come up to me and say, yo, I'm a fan. It's love, blah blah blah, like the support and all this shit. But I never get a chance to really know the community. You know what I'm saying? Of those people that are coming up to me showing love. So when I see those same people in the front fucking dancing or spitting balls, I'm like, oh, I'm kind of getting to know you a little better.
Right.
Even though we really haven't had a fucking sit down and have a serious conversation. But just seeing how colorful you are with what you're doing right here, it's just letting me know who you are as a person just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Which is pretty fucking dope. You know,
And on top of saying that, that's why I fuck with this man a lot when it comes to his Power Ranger and anime knowledge.
Oh, all right. So you know what? We're gonna end the stream on that. And y'all probably gonna argue with me
Because
Yeah, both
here,
places.
so I hate to say it, Yipes.
It's a
but
loss. It's a loss for me. It's a loss for me.
Jason Lee Scott is the greatest Red Ranger of all time. I hate to say it.
Okay, that's a red. We talking red ranger.
Because
All right,
you know
all right,
why?
all right,
You
all
know
right.
you know why I say that?
Why?
Because there is no other Red Ranger to ever put Tommy Lee in his place, other than Jason Lee Scott. Tommy Oliver. Sorry,
I can't win.
I got my shit. No other person in Power Ranger history has sunned Tommy
That is
other
true.
than Jason Lee
That
Scott.
is correct. That is correct.
He was the only one that showed fighting skill.
I mean-
Well, no, but here's the thing, right?
Those are the two
because,
best.
here's you. Well, I'll give you that. But here's the thing, right? When Jason was on the scene, and he was Red Ranger, Tommy came as Green Ranger.
Yo.
We all recognize Tommy as that dude.
Yo,
He is that
Man,
dude.
scratch
When
all
he
that shit.
came in,
man, scratch
he-
all that shit.
Wait, hold on, wait. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Tommy was that dude, right? And he's like, yo, I want to be like Tommy. I want to be like him. He's that dude, right? He's the rebel of the group. Blah 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 blah. But when Jason says something, Tommy follows.
Facts.
It's true.
Right?
It's true.
Tommy follows.
I ain't gonna lie. But
when Rocky came on the scene and he gained the White Tiger Rangers, that's when Rocky was the bitch and Tommy was the leader. That's why Rocky, unfortunately, became a laughing stock, and that wasn't his fault because he was put in the position of failure.
Okay. All right. So what you're saying is,
Right?
overall,
Yeah.
Jason's better than Tommy.
Yeah. I hate to say it.
Chris.
He did beat him.
And mind you, I'm not gonna fake Jax
With no
here.
powers, by the way.
Listen.
With no powers.
I am not gonna fix Jax here
Right.
and say that I seen every season of Power Rangers. Dude, Chris will
Okay.
pull up to my crib and he's downloaded shit on my computer back in the day.
I
Fucking Ranger
think
seasons,
me and him-
I don't
me
even
and
know
him-
what the fuck.
me and
we're
him
about.
have
I was
seen
like,
every
wow,
single
Jungle Fury. I'm like, what the fuck they doing in the jungle? Like, this is shit that I just didn't know. But look, no,
RJ.
this is real shit. This is real shit. Look.
Yeah.
I stopped watching
Okay.
Power Rangers. Let me see.
After
I would have to say, not Mystic Force. You know what? Fuck, I'm gonna have to go even deeper than that. I would say after Turbo. After Turbo, I did not watch no more Power Rangers.
no space, no Lost
No, I saw
Galaxy.
Space. No, I did.
Okay.
All right, so I would
See,
say
now-
Space.
That's the second greatest Red Ranger of all time.
No.
Ooh, see that? See, all right. So
Hold on, let me finish.
Go ahead.
So, I can't argue with Chris because I only will argue with Chris with anything if we're on the same level of knowledge.
I see.
Right? So
I see.
when it came to Marvel 2, we could talk all fucking day. We're on the
Oh,
same
of
level
course,
of knowledge,
of
right?
course,
So we could
of
talk
course.
all fucking day. We debate.
I cannot
but I
dispute
would have
that.
to say a good 70-80%, Chris, we agree with what we talk about Marvel 2, right?
Right. Yep.
So when it comes to Power Rangers, I can't contest with Matrix because I didn't watch the other seasons. I can't. So I'm like, fuck, I gotta hold that. You know what I'm saying?
So
Until I
Lost
watch the
Galaxy
seasons.
is Lost Galaxy the last season?
I think that
you
was the last
say?
one. But in
Okay.
terms of paying attention, I would have to say Turbo.
Okay.
All right, so
Okay.
Chris, I'm talking to you because you are a Ranger master.
Turbo sucks, by the way. Go ahead.
Right.
last one I saw. I'm sorry.
A lot of people will agree with Turbo sucks.
I mean, think about it. That was my last season I saw, right? All right.
So he ended on
that
a great.
was literally my last season.
But then you missed. Well, you
I
watched
saw
Space.
I did, but I wasn't. This is when Billy was in fucking in the shit all the time, right?
Nah,
was,
Billy was
that
not
was
part
Zeo.
of Space.
That
was
was Zeo. Was Turbo after Zeo before?
Yeah,
was
Turbo
after
was
Zeo.
right
So
after
it was
Zeo.
Turbo. Okay,
So Turbo was your last season.
Yeah, it was
With
the
the,
time, yeah.
Turbo had the little kid Justin turning into a
Yeah. That was trash.
that was
That
whack.
was trash. But literally after that was the last Ranger season I saw.
Yeah.
I
Then
see.
I got back into Rangers when he came through with Mystic Force.
Okay.
And shit
Jungle
like that.
Fury, RPM.
Jungle Fury, that-
So
He
I was
started
showing
putting me
I
on.
was showing him Korag
Yeah, he was like,
and
cool,
Shadow
man,
and
eat
SPD.
no Catastros.
and SPD. I pulled up with the SPD
He
too.
said,
Showed him Shadow.
Centaurus Wolf Mega. So
So-
he literally kept showing that shit to me
when
on
it
the daily.
when it comes to Red Rangers, this man is literally identical when what I looked as to a Red
All right,
Ranger.
Tommy.
Right, because Jason's my greatest.
It's tough though. It's
Because
tough. It's tough. Shout
2
out
and
to Uchi
3
Games,
2 and
man.
3 is
Shout out
hard
to Uchi
because
Games,
Lord
'cause-
Jaden is definitely top 3 Red Rangers of all time.
Yo, good shit.
Put me on. Who's this guy from? Where's he from?
He's from
Samurai.
Super Samurai.
Yo, I tried
When
to
it
listen.
comes to actual leadership, Jaden is
Wait,
just
wait.
100%.
Yeah.
Samurai, not ninjas.
Power Ranger Samurai.
All right, Ninja Storm was Shane,
Yeah.
right? And I love
Watch some
Shane.
whack
He
shit.
passed away.
Right now,
Rest in peace, yeah.
shout outs to Pua. Like he passed away. He's one of my favorite Red Rangers. That was one of my favorite seasons. Shout outs to you. But he passed away. But you know, he's one of my favorite Red Rangers. But as in terms of like actual Red Ranger leadership, right? It's Mighty Morphin, Space, Samurai. Those
Yes.
Red Rangers are the top
Mitch,
three.
did you actually agree with this?
Yes, but
That's a first.
no, but I can't lie. And shout out to Uchi Games because Uchi Games had me on the stream.
Shout outs to Uchi.
and we
Battle for the
actually
Grid.
had a Red Ranger tier list.
Right.
Ooh,
and we
what
went,
was
like-
this?
Oh, it was a while ago.
This was like
it
a
was
month
during
or 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Was it during quarantine?
During quarantine, yeah.
I didn't see that. Wow, I gotta watch that. Shout out to
you
Uchi Games.
Shout out. I'm gonna have him on. We're gonna talk about this. But we did come to the conclusion.
I knew you didn't agree with some of it.
that
Oh, you watched
Because
that?
when I was in the chat.
man.
I was in the
Where
chat.
the fuck was I at? That's the type of shit I like to see.
Andros is
They put Andros number
He's the best
on number
Red
1,
Ranger.
right? They
Who's
put
Andros first though?
Andros
From
from
space.
space.
Okay.
So they
What
put
made him
him.
so godlike?
Look, he's the one who shattered Zordon's freaking containment tube and eliminated all the evil of the world.
So he.
I seen
So
that.
the reason
Yeah,
why
Andros
Andros
is
they
old,
put
man.
Andros
But
number one
that wouldn't tell
because
me he's the best.
out of all Power Rangers, he had to make the most difficult decision as the leader.
that he had to kill Zordon.
Because he had to kill Zordon to save his sister, to save the whole
I
two
remember that. I
universes,
remember that. I
to
remember
save
that.
two
I remember
universes. Jason never had to deal with that kind of like,
yeah, that
right?
Yeah.
But the reason why I put Jason as the greatest is because he set the standard. He's the first. He
Okay,
set the standard,
okay.
right? Because
I
Tommy,
can give you that.
Tommy was Red Ranger twice, and he was like, you know, he's
He was
not,
alright.
he was all right. He was all right as a Red Ranger, but he was better as a leader as a White Tiger Ranger than he was a Red Ranger.
Right.
But
Right,
he
that's
had
a
Rocky
fact.
as a lackey,
You
so
know,
it was like,
so I'm gonna keep it
fact.
up. I'm gonna keep it
That's
up back.
a
Hold on,
fact.
before y'all
He's
continue on Red
spitting
Rangers.
facts.
Look, this is so literally for a second, I had Jason over Tommy
okay.
only because
As a Red Ranger?
no, just period. That's right. I'm talking about overall.
Overall, wow.
I had Jason over Tommy for a split second
Okay.
when he was the Gold Ranger. B.
Yo, when
Gold Ranger.
That shit was ridiculous.
Come
Bro,
on,
stop,
son.
Bro.
I
I'm
didn't
not
even-
gonna lie,
mind you, I
that
didn't even
motherfucker
get
was
to
fire.
that part,
He was
right?
fire. He was fire. I can't even hold you.
Because
can't
when I
even
saw
hold you.
him, when I saw him running through the sand, I was like, "Yo, who's that?" She's
Word.
like, "That's the new Gold Ranger." That's the new Gold Ranger, and I was like,
Yeah.
Who's
We had
I'm
the
not
white
gonna
scarf,
lie.
I'm looking
the white
at him.
scarf,
I'm
the
not gonna
shades,
lie.
and the trench coat.
I'm
Yes.
not gonna lie, that shit was kind of godlike.
I was like,
obviously,
Jason?
my favorite always will be
Yo,
the
when he
Green
took
Ranger
off the-
Tommy.
when he
That's
took
my
off the
shit.
shades,
"Of course."
That's my shit.
I
I don't
said,
even. I don't even fuck with White Tiger. I don't fuck with White Tiger. My favorite fucking Tommy Oliver, Jason Frank is my guy, the Green Ranger. If you see me on the stream, you see those motherfuckers in the back all the time. From the fucking Zord to the actual dagger. That's my guy. You know what I'm saying? But when I saw the Gold Ranger, that shit was kind of legendary. I'm not even gonna hold you. I was literally, when I seen it, I was like, yo, Jason is better than Tommy. And for a split second.
And
Yo, he's
the
Gold
only
Ranger's
reason,
OD.
and the only reason why I would say Tommy Oliver is the greatest Ranger of all time because of longevity.
What he said? Watch out,
Yeah,
Rangers.
Because when he came as a Brachial Ranger, the Black Ranger in Dino Thunder, I was like, he was a beast in that. And he showed like, yo,
You know
I've been
when
here,
lightning strikes,
I'm
it's
still
Gold
here, and I can still do
Ranger.
it. And Tommy was like, all right, he gained my respect from that. I get you that. And that's why I don't bug out when people say Tommy is the greatest. I don't bug out. But at the same time, we tend to not give Jason Lee Scott his credit.
His flowers.
We never give his credit because we
Tommy would
always
not be
be
who
like
he is without
Green Ranger when it comes to Mighty Morphin. But I'm like, who beat the Green Ranger without powers?
Fact.
Jason Lee Scott.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Without powers.
Damn, look at this man. He's proud of this man's fucking answers. Look at you.
Yo.
Look at you. He loves
when
this shit.
When it's real
Right,
shit, all I
right.
can do is nah.
He
said-
he beat him without powers, and he was in a way worse deficit than anybody else. He was dealing with first. He had to deal with Goldar, then he had to deal with
You know
Tommy.
what, Ultimizers?
That's OD.
You gained your spot in the Roundtable No Frills podcast episode. Congratulations.
Right.
You're a cultured man.
I am very cultured, and that's why I'm gonna go to my second thing. Sasuke is not a bitch.
All right, so I can't speak on this. Ruby, you want to take over the microphone? No, I can't speak.
He's not a
on this.
bitch. I can't say Sasuke is a bitch. For me to say Sasuke is a bitch is just bad. It's just
All right, so
really bad.
we'll close out the show with that. Explain to me, because there was a lot of Sasuke hate, including the guy that handles our audio.
Well, other than Naruto, who also had a very bad deficit since he was born, Sasuke was born into a family, into a clan, and then literally overnight, taken away from him. How do you feel about that when you have everything that you know has been taken away from you from your own goddamn brother?
Preach.
Sorry.
Matrix, is this
Preach.
Is this correct?
Preach.
I'm sorry.
Preach.
And he doesn't know the reason why his brother did it until years later.
So, Ruby, how you feel about that? Is he still a bitch?
I think he's a dick. He's not really a bitch.
Okay.
He's a dick.
Now,
Okay.
him being a dick, that's different because in some ways he is a dick. He literally sacrificed his own team for him to beat this guy, Killer Bee. Like,
He was
If-
using them
if it wasn't-
as MP health
Right,
points.
right.
He was using those motherfuckers.
right.
He was.
and if it wasn't him, the fight between him and Danzo and him and Killer Bee can see why, yes, he is a dick. But as a bitch, I can't see him as a bitch. If he's a bitch, Naruto's a bitch too. If he's a bitch, Naruto's a bitch too. Because Naruto got things handed to him just the same way as Sasuke did. I'm sorry, but those two. I'm just saying, those two are not my favorite characters, but I have to call it what it is. Sasuke had a very, 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 very horrible upbringing. Sorry. And if you're
Shout
gonna
out to
go
Justin
against,
Wong.
yeah,
Oh,
Jay, I'm sorry. If you're gonna go against that upbringing and you're gonna say he's gonna bitch because he's a bitch because the way his upbringing is and the way his mentality goes from that upbringing, I'm sorry. I have to disagree with you with that because it's like he had, other than Naruto, he literally had the worst upbringing than everybody else on the show. Other than Rock Lee, who's actually my favorite character. But
I fuck with the humans.
yeah, but like think
I
about
mean, they're all
this.
humans, but you know what I'm talking about. He wasn't skilled.
Think about this. Think about having a family you're always chilling with every day. You are let's say you're like 4 or 5 years old, and then overnight, literally overnight, the person you looked up to the most The person you looked up to as a hero killed everybody that you loved and cherished. And it's just like, damn, your perception of your hero is actually a villain until you learn that he's actually not the villain. So you've been mixed all your life. So how is he a bitch because of that? He doesn't even know his own path.
Matrix is so happy that this man is preaching to the choir right now because, man, there's been multiple sources in the No Frillz podcast, multiple episodes, but goddamn, they put a fucking foot in Sasuke's ass. And mind you, I'm the innocent one. I'm not big on Naruto.
Right.
I'm not. So I'm just saying that. I'm like, damn, this is a
No,
serious
I'm
fucking thing.
teaching them the
Ruby
truth.
got in the mix. I don't know. I was like, yo, what the fuck
But
is going on?
it's
I don't know what's going on.
But it's the truth. Everybody who follows Naruto would know that Sasuke had the worst upbringing other than besides Naruto, had the worst upbringing in the show. I'm sorry. 100%. Because it's not like he taught himself how to use the Sharingan. He taught himself how to use the Sharingan quite a few times. Sure he had what's his name? Fuck. I'm forgetting names here.
Orochimaru?
Kakashi?
Nah, Kakashi Sensei.
Kakashi, okay.
Kakashi is that dude. Very underrated, by the way. But
Kakashi.
he's super underrated. But you know, he had him to teach him a lot of techniques. But Sasuke, his will to be stronger is just as strong, almost just as strong as Rock Lee's. Rock Lee's has the best will in the show. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, because Rock Lee literally went from nothing to something. But Sasuke was literally right there with him when it comes to will to being stronger, and Naruto, because that's the premise of the show. But he literally went from everything to nothing to something. Sasuke, he went to hell and back to try even avenge everybody that he knew to get back in his brother, to find out that his brother wasn't really the true enemy. Come on now.
Yo,
how is he a bitch?
This is how I know Ultimizers is a fan of the No Frillz podcast. But for him to bring that shit up out of nowhere, I wouldn't even say out of nowhere, but I just know that he's hip with the shit and he's been paying attention.
Yeah,
just
for
like
sure.
you guys at home. But you know what, Ultimizers? Listen, we at the end of the road.
Oh man,
we could talk more. Listen, you're gonna come back. There's a round table discussion that we're gonna have.
Okay.
Down the line, you are invited, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Congratulations.
I would like to say one last thing.
Go ahead.
So with that said, shout outs to these two guys because they are doing a tremendous thing for the FGC, because without No Frillz, I probably wouldn't have looked forward to something on Mondays for one, because I'm off on Mondays and you know I don't really do anything on Mondays, and for them to have something of a platform and something I can look forward to listen to, going to the gym, running, or just something to have on the side while taking in the history that they're giving us and all the entertainment that they're giving us. It's tremendous.
Thank you.
And I applaud you too.
Thank you.
Because you guys are doing something that the FGC needs to further do in this community. Like,
I appreciate that. Hey,
Appreciate it.
man. Thank you so much. And listen, man. Obviously, everybody's a captain on this shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? When it comes to the No Frillz podcast, obviously, this is something that me and Matrix want to do a long time. But definitely shout outs to BTM Productions. You know what I'm saying? That is our team. Definitely supporting this. That's why we actually in this spot right here. Cameras in front of us, microphones in front of us. They believe what we could bring to the table, and we believe of what they can help us with and further the growth of just everything that we're doing as a whole. So it's just pretty fucking dope, you know? And just you touching that, just first of all, I appreciate that you said that. You know what I'm saying? Because
of course.
When me and Matrix, we do things like this, we literally doing this naturally. Like, we're just here. It's unscripted. We're literally here just fucking shooting this shit with the people that decide to watch us every Monday.
And this was
You know what I'm
fun.
saying? And it is what it is. We just like having general discussions about anything. Look, we just literally just took, I guess, 2 hours of this show talking about who's the best basketball player. You know what I mean? And we just finished the episode talking about basketball. But when somebody has an opinion about it, and you got 2 folks that like basketball, well, 3 folks in this case, Chris Matrix, very knowledgeable of the game of basketball. I actually learned a lot from him in terms of learning the history. That's why when I'm saying certain shit, blah, blah, blah. You're like, oh, shit, Yipes knew that is because of Chris Matrix. You know what I'm saying? I pay attention. You know what I mean? Especially when it's something that I really like. So big ups to everybody at home. Big ups to everybody in the FGC. People that are not even part of gaming or gaming that actually follow the show. I actually got people in my hood that watch this that got nothing to do with the fucking FGC. You know what I'm saying?
That's love.
That actually watch this and like, yo, man, what's the new No Frills? They have no idea what the fuck we talking about, but they love stories and they love history and they just love, you know, that positivity of the show. So that big ups to you guys. Ultimizer, my man, thank you so much for pulling up, brother.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? We literally pulled up. You're actually one of my favorite guests. I don't know, Matrix, if you agree as well.
Absolutely,
You know
man. He
what I
came out here to spit that real talk. You know what I mean? He had to set the record straight on some things. I like woke people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This man is woke. His eyes is open.
Okay.
And I you know what? I encourage everybody who's out there, learn your history and just know what the fuck you're talking about, because when you go into a conversation not knowing what the fuck you're talking about, they ain't gonna look at you.
I ain't part of that conversation.
Right. That's why I always fuck with these
Right.
dudes, because they know what the fuck they're
Phil's
talking
guy.
about.
I
And
wish you was here when we had the girls on the show and I got jumped.
Yeah, I
Wait,
wish I
what?
could help because, you know, sucks that I was instigated,
Oh,
but I had no
man.
choice as a host. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I'm like, damn, Sasuke's a bitch. Like, and mind you, I seen his fights. He's godlike.
No,
so I'm like,
and I saw that segment, and I was just like, "What the fuck are they talking about?"
And then
like,
Ruby jumping in, he
and
agreeing and
no,
shit.
no,
You know what I'm saying? No hate, but it is what it
no
is.
hate to the girls,
But it
but
is
like
what it
you
is.
gotta understand, when it comes to Sasuke, he had the worst upbringing, other than Naruto, the person that they actually named the show after. You just gotta understand that,
Shit.
right?
Man, that's a lot of
And back to what you were saying before.
No, it's
Back
not,
to
no,
you were saying before.
Nah, so I'm giving you Ultimizer.
Guys, I need you guys to support these two as much as possible. Support everything that they do.
Thank you
Why?
so much.
Because support is gonna drive our community to the next level.
Yeah.
Right? If we want to talk about esports, we're on the bottom of the total poll, and I hate to say that because fighting games is the most skilled.
You ain't lying,
of
G.
Everything.
You ain't lying, G. Listen, and you know what? Just to piggyback on that before we go, that's why we doing things like this.
Right.
Exactly.
So for people that know, like, yeah, although we are very heavily favored in terms of the fighting game side of things, but we bring way more to the table, man.
Yes.
When it comes to that, but it's just this
And
is
we
just
were talking about that in the course of this this episode.
yeah. This is just, I would say, I wouldn't even say midway point or whatever
No.
the case is, but this is just us, I guess, if I would have to put it in a definition, bridging the gap
Yeah.
from just everything that goes on in the world that can actually coincide with
Mm-hmm.
gaming and the FGC. Because, man, in the FGC, we're so diverse and we're so cultured with a lot of the shit that we know
Mm-hmm.
that it just makes it that much beautiful. But Ultimizers, you know, we're going to sign over. Please, you have the floor. Shout outs and all.
Yeah.
Go for it, brother.
Shout outs to my mom and dad, David
Love.
and Regina. Without those two, I would never have gotten into gaming in general. With my mom playing Metal Gear Solid,
Oh,
her
lit.
first game,
What's up?
and my dad being a competitive COD4 and Modern Warfare 2 player and Gears of War player. My dad had me on my edge of my seat when it comes to like being skilled at those games, because if I wasn't as skilled as my dad, then he would talk shit and then blah blah blah. You already know how that goes.
As it should. As
So
it should.
I appreciate you too. Shout out to my sister who just recently got engaged.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to you, Davisha. Love you, and hope you're doing well. Shout outs to the FGC in general. Shout outs to these two right here, these two legends who always deserve their flowers because they put on a lot for you guys, and you guys take it as a treat, because right now I'm in a kid in the candy store right now. I'm taking all the candy right now.
Take all that shit.
I'm looking at stars, and I'm just looking at just like the galaxy right now. This is the best thing for me right now, and I've been, ever since he gave me the call, I've been looking forward to it. And as far as I go, you can follow me on social media, _Ultimizer for my Instagram, and all caps _Ultimizer V2 on Twitter. I don't really post much on Twitter because Twitter, is
It's a little toxic.
yeah. But Instagram, I'm always on there if you
And
want
you
to
stream.
contact me. I stream as well. _Ultimizer, straight like that. And I be playing Warzone with them. I be playing Tetris. I be playing Street Fighter. I've been playing Strive. I've been playing as many games as possible. I'm just trying to be the most ranged gamer there is. So that's my goal. And as top of that, as my goals, and I probably said it earlier, I just want to create a platform where I can help players become who they are. I want to do what these guys do and create a platform where we can speak our stories and we can speak our truth and we can talk that real talk and have these conversations, because the anime conversations, I love that shit. The basketball conversations, I love that shit. The gaming conversations, I love that shit. If anybody can argue to me that anything is more skilled than fighting games, come to me, because Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is one of the most skilled fighting games of all time. You can never get that out of my mind. What these two do and thousands of other players that do on Marvel 2 in a high skill level, you can never replicate that in the game ever again. I'm sorry. Like, there's no other game that comes close to that. Guilty Gear maybe, but no. Marvel 2 is probably like the highest skill fighting game of all time. Sorry.
If I would have to put another game next to that, will be Smash Melee. But you know what?
Right.
My man Ultimizer.
Yeah, there you go.
Man, give me a fucking hug, man. Thank you so much for pulling up, my brother. Thank you so fucking much.
Learn your history, guys.
That's fucking love. Guys, that was episode 43?
43.
43 and counting.
Yes,
Please
sir.
hit that like, subscribe if you don't know what's going on. Shout outs to BTM Before the Money Is This Movement. You already know what time it is. Thank you so much to the FGC, of course, Level Recordings, for letting us do this every single fucking week here. But yeah, shout outs to Ruby, our director, who pretty much makes this shit go online every freaking Monday, from the camera to the audio, etc., etc. Shout outs to Stats Harlem. Shout outs to JAS. Shout outs to the whole fucking team, man. BTM is the movement. FGC, you already know the vibes. We signing out. Peace and love.
Peace.